A man, due to a tiny moment of inattention, was dragged into the woods by a female demon afflicted with a love poison. Furthermore, he was incessantly praised by the demoness for his handsome looks. It turned out the man's name was Yun. After being reborn, he was sold to the Nine Nether Demon Hall at a young age, becoming a small mushroom-picking chef. He only needed to endure for another half-year to save enough money to redeem his freedom. At that time, the sky would be high enough for birds to fly, and the ocean wide enough for fish to leap. All the demonic cults could get the hell out of his life. As a transmigrator, he naturally possessed a so-called golden finger. However, no matter how many spiritual power beads he collected, the system always prompted him to keep trying. This made him quite despairing, seriously suspecting that this broken system was a product of some cheap knockoff factory. Just as he was crazily roasting the system in his mind, a rustling sound suddenly came from the grass nearby. He instinctively retreated repeatedly. "I am little Yun from the kitchen. Who is there?" In the next second, an irrefutable, cold female voice suddenly rang out. "Come here, or I will kill you." Although these words were forceful, Yun, in order to save his life, could only suppress his anger and walk towards the grass. But unexpectedly, a pair of jade-like hands suddenly reached out from the grass. The immense force left Yun unable to parry, and he was directly pinned firmly to the ground by the woman. Ian finally saw the woman's peerlessly beautiful face clearly. Seeing the woman's breathing becoming increasingly rapid, Ian hurriedly asked, "Which senior sister are you?" "I am only level 0. Dual cultivation will kill people. The demon hall does not allow killing fellow disciples." But the woman did not speak. Instead, she directly tore open the linen cloth on his body, then glared at him fiercely, using a commanding tone to signal, "Shut up, hurry up, and make your outer body avatar stand up." Ian, who was scared witless, couldn't get it up at all, so he could only shake his head repeatedly to indicate he couldn't do it. However, the woman spat a caterpillar out of her mouth and snorted coldly, "Then this seat shall lend you a hand. Swallow it. This seat grants you a memory you will never forget for a lifetime." Ian finally understood that the other party turned out to be a female demon from the 10,000 Insect Valley, so he hurriedly waved his hands. "Wait a moment, let me fiddle with it myself. I can definitely do it." But the woman directly stuffed the caterpillar over, shouting, "Do you think I have a lot of free time?" In the next second, the goo worm was forcibly stuffed into Ian's mouth. However, the power of this goo worm was truly remarkable. Ian immediately stood up. Only then did the woman finally reveal a satisfied smile. "It really is a bargain for a guy like you." Next, the two sides engaged in extremely intense hand-to-hand combat. It wasn't until the next morning that the woman leisurely woke up. She gently pinched her fingers, instantly collecting the clothes wrapped around her body. Her identity was none other than Wu Xian, the demon cult leader who terrified the orthodox path. Looking at Yun, who had long since fainted on the ground, Wu Xian stretched her waist in satisfaction, then glanced at Yun and praised, "Not bad. As an ordinary person, to be tossed about for a day and still be alive, he is a good medicinal primer. Pity his fate is bad. Meeting me, who is afflicted with love poison, he can only become medicinal dregs. Although the poison is not completely detoxified, it has at least been suppressed. I'll think of a way to deal with it later. The matter of this seat losing her virginity today must absolutely not be spread. Since you are a disciple of the Nine Nether Demon Hall, sacrificing your life for this seat is also a supreme honor." Just as Wu Xian was preparing to take action to finish off Yun, a light suddenly burst from her chest, emitting a humming sound. This sudden change surprised Wu Xian greatly. "What is going on?" The ever-bright soul actually had a reaction. Then, Wu Xian sat down on Yun's face and began to study it. Could it be that the ever-bright soul has some kind of resonance with this man before my eyes? Wu Xian tried to guide the ever-bright soul to Yun's lower abdomen, but unexpectedly, her natal magic treasure could completely blend with him, so she excitedly ordered, "Ever-bright soul, you watch over this guy for me for now. He isn't medicinal dregs. He is an excellent panacea." The scene shifts to the inner hall of the demon palace. Wu Xian endured the pain and dragged her injured, graceful body back to this place. Her heart was full of resentment. The so-called orthodox sects were actually so sinister in their methods. But then she discovered her body was beginning to shrink rapidly, and the spiritual power on her body was dissipating visibly to the naked eye. When she came to the water pool and saw her face, she realized she had shrunk a lot, reverting to the appearance of her teenage years. Wu Xian had no solution at the moment, so she could only wait until she went to exterminate their sects another day to make them cough up the antidote. Subsequently, she tidied up the loose clothes on her body a bit, but at this moment, the candles in the inner hall suddenly extinguished, and a person leaped down fiercely from the eaves. This is the cult leader's forbidden ground. Trespassers die. Although Wu Xian's cultivation had plummeted, her reaction was still sharp. With just one jump, she neutralized the subordinate's attack, and even moved around behind the subordinate with extreme agility, reaching out to firmly choke her neck, then saying word by word, "Fang Yin, can you not even recognize the seat?" Hearing the voice, Fang Yin hurriedly opened her eyes wide to carefully examine the person in front of her, only then realizing that the young girl before her was really the cult leader. Seeing Fang Yin recognize her, Wu Xian released her, then turned indifferently and walked towards the high seat. "Little Yin, do you still remember what I told you before I went into seclusion? I asked you to manage the demon hall well and not cause me trouble. This seat hates troublesome things the most." Facing this rebuke, Fang Yin felt very aggrieved. "Cult leader, Fang Yin is dull and did not understand your meaning." Hearing this, Wu Xian immediately lifted Fang Yin's chin. "You are dull, stupid beyond reach, foolish. Did you leak the location of this seat's seclusion? It seems I only told you alone." Fang Yin hurriedly hugged Wu Xian's feet upon hearing this. "I wish I could lock you up to admire you all by myself. How could I tell others your whereabouts?" Only then did Wu Xian nod in satisfaction, looking at the move used. "It should be the Grand Void Firmament. The matter of my exit from seclusion must be kept strictly confidential. In addition, find an opportunity to give the ever-bright soul to a boy named Hyun in the kitchen." Fang Yin was instantly stunned. "The ever-bright soul is your most treasured possession, cult leader, and there are rumors outside that whoever obtains the ever-bright soul obtains the world." Wu Xian immediately waved her hand impatiently to interrupt. "Do whatever I tell you to do, don't talk nonsense. Also, prepare a set of ordinary clothes for me. I want to lurk beside Yun. As for you both side, you just handle it. Hearing this, Fang Yin instantly wailed repeatedly. Why are you leaving again? Wu Xiaoyan was very speechless about this. Act normal. Don't always act like a pervert. I'm just staying in the kitchen. Where am I going? Go to your work. Meanwhile, the drained Yin finally woke up leisurely. After struggling to climb up from the ground, he immediately recalled the terrifying memory from yesterday and instantly couldn't help but let out a wail. I'm not clean anymore. Just then, the system suddenly sounded a prompt. Congratulations, young Master Yun. Another point accumulated. Hearing the sound, he hurriedly looked at the panel in confusion. What's the situation? Where did the points come from? Then the system prompted again. Total points 100 million. Host target finally achieved. Now upgrading the system for you. The host can take off at any time. Meanwhile, at the 9 Nether Demon Hall's kitchen, the blazing feather chickens foraging for food were unaware that a pair of terrifying old hands were approaching them. While the blazing feather chicken was being roasted, Ian finally returned to the kitchen. Seeing Ian trying to sneak back to his room, the old man immediately asked, "Where did you go? Didn't see you all day. What's the situation? Where are your clothes?" Ian was silent for a moment, then said aggrievedly, "I was slept with by someone." The old man continued to season the roast chicken on his own. Just that, only then did Ian detail the sequence of events. "I went to the back mountain to dig for vegetables and met a senior sister from the 10,000 Insect Valley. I don't know if she went into chi deviation, but she treated me like a great tonic and took me for a whole day and night." After listening, the old man immediately revealed a complex expression, and only after a long while did he sigh. "You kid are simply a prodigy." Only then did Ian notice the roast chicken. Speaking of which, aren't blazing feather chickens offerings for the main managers of each sect? You secretly roasted one. Aren't you afraid they'll hang you up and beat you? But the old man didn't take it seriously at all. "If you don't say anything and I don't say anything, they won't know one is missing. As long as you keep your mouth shut, half represents you, exactly enough to make up for your yang deficiency." Ian unhesitatingly expressed that he definitely wouldn't tell. The old man suddenly remembered something and spoke again. "Go to town tomorrow to buy some spices. The kitchen stock is running low. Take it back to your room to eat, and rest early after eating." Seeing Ian's weak figure, the old man couldn't help but sigh. The child has grown up, can't keep him. After speaking, the old man remembered Fang Yin coming to find him just now. "I have a friend who wants to go undercover beside Yun. I need you to find any random excuse tomorrow to send him down the mountain." The old man spoke directly. Did the cult leader come out of seclusion? Heaven knows, earth knows, you know, I know, and the cult leader knows. But the cult leader was so old, yet she was truly hale and hearty, and brutal. Under his master's arrangement, Ian went down the mountain early in the morning to buy some spices. The depression of being drained had already been swept away. It turned out that after returning to the dormitory last night, he secretly swore, "Damn female demon, don't let me find you, or I'll make you unable to walk." After saying that, he fiercely stuffed that half of the roast chicken into his mouth. However, he didn't see the woman's face clearly and couldn't find her at all. Moreover, the small fries in the 10,000 Insect Valley were said to start at level 15. For him, a level 0 ordinary person, seeking revenge was undoubtedly a dream. Subsequently, he looked suspiciously at the roast chicken in his hand. Can this chicken really make up for yang deficiency? Just as Ian was numbly eating the chicken, a prompt sounded in his mind. System upgrade complete. To reward young Master Yun for collecting spiritual power beads day in and day out for more than 10 years, a small gift is offered with respect. Click confirm to open the treasure chest. Although Ian didn't know what it was, he braced himself and clicked confirm. As the virtual treasure chest exploded, the prompt sounded again. Congratulations, young Master Yun. Obtain 2 lives as a reward. From this moment on, additionally, you will obtain the Odd Encounter Fragment Synthesis talent function. Odd encounters are everywhere. Wishing young Master Yun an early ascension to bliss. Supplementary explanation. If you wish to level up, you can now consume the spiritual power points you have collected to level up straight to level 60. But Ian analyzed calmly. Leveling up to level 60 all at once is simply attracting too much attention. If only there were magic tools and cultivation methods to hide levels. Where can I get them? At this moment, cries for help suddenly came from not far away. Interrupting his thoughts, he saw Wu Xiaoyan, disguised as a little Lolita, being chased relentlessly by several bandits. Her target was obvious. She headed straight for Yun, constantly shouting, "Save me! Help!" Seeing Wu Xiaoyan being captured by several bandits like this, and looking at Yun with a hopeful face wishing he would take action to save her, Yun's sense of justice instantly exploded. Robbing a civilian girl in broad daylight. Is there still any law? But seeing the opponents all had 8-pack abs, Ian instantly felt his legs go a bit soft. But if he didn't save her, how could he join the orthodox sects in the future if word got out? But with his level 0 cultivation, taking action would only be seeking death. Things having reached this point, Ian could only choose to use points to level up. More than 10 years of stock was instantly cleared to 0 at this moment. Rage rose from Ian's heart. With great power comes great responsibility. Treated as perfecting the resume for joining the orthodox sects later. But unexpectedly, as soon as he landed, his foot slipped, and he immediately rolled down the stairs. But for the sake of face, he forcibly steadied his figure, which shocked the 3 people on the spot. Eager to save people, Ian shouted first, "Let go of that girl." The bandit said with a look of horror, "Are you a cultivator?" Ian asked back, "This is near the 9 Nether Demon Hall. What do you think I am?" As soon as the voice fell, the bandit immediately threw Wu Xiaoyan out, leaving only one sentence, "Taoist Lord, spare my life. This girl is offered to you." Ian was very speechless about this. What's the situation? That's it. Besides, I didn't do anything at all, so why did I consume 50 million spiritual power to level up? I didn't need to level up at all. Just stating my name would have been enough. Subsequently, Ian hurriedly opened up some distance. "Miss, you seem to be safe. Go back quickly." Wu Xiaoyan, however, threw herself into his arms crying, "My parents owed gambling debts and both hanged themselves. Now I am being chased by creditors and have no place to stay. Young master saved me. If you don't disdain me, I will promise myself to you. Of course, we can also have a bridal night right here. It is all up to the young master." Unexpectedly, these words hit Yun's sore spot, miss, because I no longer have that function. The thing is like this. Last night I ate the blazing feather chicken roasted by my master. In the latter half of the night, I suddenly had a majestic erection, just when I wanted to use my hands to solve it. The result was that as long as I performed the operation, my stomach would definitely suffer severe pain. I suspect it must be the goo worm placed in me by that demoness playing tricks. I am no longer suitable for Dao cultivation now, so miss, you need not think about repaying. Seeing you are so pitiful, follow me to the town first, and we'll think of a way. Seeing that Ian didn't drive her away, Wu Xiaoyan hurriedly nodded to indicate she would listen to him. After a day of walking, the two finally arrived in town, but it was already late, obviously not suitable for purchasing. So Ian spoke, let's find a place to rest. We can purchase tomorrow. But Ian's next operation stunned Wu Xiaoyan. He suddenly took out a straw mat, then generously said, I'll let you sleep on the straw mat. I'll just lean against the wall and make do for the night. I am here. Miss, go to sleep quickly. This made Wu Xiaoyan very annoyed. Is he a man or not? He can tolerate even this? At dawn the next day, Ian bought everything properly early on, then indicated he was prepared to find a decent family to entrust Wu Xiaoyan to. Hearing this, Wu Xiaoyan hurriedly grabbed him pitifully. Is the young master driving me away? Helpless, Ian had to pull Wu Xiaoyan into a small alley. You heard it yesterday too. I am from the 9 Nether Demon sect. That place is not suitable for a girl like you who hasn't stepped into the world. I am thinking of you. However, I am different from them. My goal is to redeem myself from the kitchen and then participate in the 9 Heavens Immortal Gates entrance exam at the end of the year. Although Wu Xiaoyan wouldn't let Ian run away, she still pretended to be pitiful. Young master, apart from by your side, I don't want to go anywhere. However, Ian firmly refused. People of the demon cult kill without blinking an eye. Every one of them is crazy. Even I live like I'm walking on thin ice there. But Wu Xiaoyan suddenly clamped onto his arm. Young master, I heard that fellow disciples cannot be killed within the demon cult. At least my life won't be in danger. I am burdened with external debts. Hiding in the demon cult is actually safer. I beg you, okay? Don't leave me behind. Ian really couldn't stand the girl's tears. This was too pitiful, too heartbreaking, and gave him too much guilt. Finally, Ian could only nod helplessly and agree. But ultimately, the manager of the kitchen has to agree. If he refuses, I can only send you down the mountain. Unexpectedly, the master agreed immediately and stated that the kitchen happened to be short of hands, so you will take her. After speaking, the old man left without looking back. This left Ian very confused. He didn't expect it to be so simple. After coming back to his senses, he spoke again, then welcome to join the 9 Nether Demon Hall kitchen. And Fang Yin, who was observing secretly, finally breathed a sigh of relief. The cult leader's infiltration operation is going smoothly. I should also proceed with the next step of the plan. Soon night fell, and the demon sect was silent, but Wu Xiaoyan quietly got up, then expanded her divine consciousness to begin sensing. After discovering snoring coming from every room in the kitchen, Wu Xiaoyan restored her 9 Nether cult leader body and leaped onto the roof. Elder Fang Yin had been waiting on the roof for a long time and stated that she had already spread the news that the ever-bright soul was in Ian's hands. Presumably, the undercover agents within the cult would soon be eager to move. Meanwhile, Ian suddenly walked out of his room. Although he felt very sleepy and wanted to continue sleeping, he had to go replenish some spiritual power beads. Having consumed 50 million all at once, he felt somewhat uneasy after all. After listening to Fang Yin's report, Wu Xiaoyan nodded slightly. Find an opportunity in the next 2 days to give the ever-bright soul to Ian. Don't let him get suspicious. I wonder if you both taught Ian cultivation methods. When he saved me from the bandits, he was clearly already at the late foundation establishment stage. But that day when I slept with him, he clearly had no spiritual power, just an ordinary person. Could it be that you both also taught him techniques to hide his cultivation? On Ian's side, for the sake of spiritual power beads, he was diligently picking spirit fruits. The noise he made picking fruits immediately aroused Wu Xiaoyan's alertness. She immediately sent the elder away and was preparing to quietly return to the dormitory, but unexpectedly, the toxicity of drunk spring breeze suddenly began to act up. She couldn't help but curse in her heart. Damn it, the poison acts up precisely at this time. In the next second, she felt her whole body go soft and fell heavily into the grass beside Ian. Seeing her, Ian immediately shook. F***CK. How come I met the female demon from 10,000 Insect Valley again? Without any hesitation, he directly took a step wanting to slip away, but he was easily handled by Wu Xiaoyan. This little friend, we meet again. Not sleeping properly in the middle of the night. Why are you wandering outside? Is it because you missed Big Sister again? Ian had also learned to be obedient. He directly lay flat and gave up resistance. Senior sister, aren't you awake too? Do you want to torture me again today? But Wu Xiaoyan just smiled gently, which made Ian very speechless. What are you laughing at? Are you laughing that I can't beat you and can only submit to capture? Unexpectedly, Wu Xiaoyan suddenly brought her pretty face close, then pressed directly onto Ian's body, chuckling. I'm just laughing that we are fated. But Ian didn't buy it. Stop jabbering. You don't have much time left. I am also late foundation establishment now. Don't force me to take action. Hearing this, Wu Xiaoyan immediately chuckled. Can't your outer body avatar fight a protracted battle today? But Ian said with a face full of confidence, I will soon surpass your cultivation. At that time, the person underneath will be you. After listening, Xiaoyan was stunned at first, then realized this guy was really interesting. Then Wu Xiaoyan directly grabbed Ian's clothes, violently tearing them apart again, then revealed a playful smile. Stinky brat, I'm waiting. After a full, intense battle for the greater part of the night, Wu Xiaoyan couldn't help but look at Ian with some surprise. You can still be awake after a night of cloud and rain. I really look forward to you surpassing me. Ian asked aggrievedly, can the goo worm in my body be taken out? Senior sister, just say directly if you want me to be a medicinal primer. No need to force it every time. But Wu Xiaoyan indicated that was not possible. I am a suspicious person. If I don't leave something behind, I always feel empty. As long as you keep yourself clean, that goo worm will sleep quietly. Taking it out or not makes no difference. At this moment, Ian finally saw Wu Xiaoyan's appearance clearly. He couldn't help but emit a heartfelt praise. Senior sister, you are actually quite good looking. Don't cover your eyes with your hair in the future. future. You look like a female ghost. Hearing this, Wu Xiaoyan couldn't help but blush, then suddenly turned her head away. Even if I slept with you, that doesn't represent you can push your luck. Don't tell others about matters between me and you, and don't say you've seen me. Dare to leak half a sentence, and next time I will let you ascend directly to heaven. After speaking, Wu Xiaoyan waved her jade hand and disappeared directly in front of Yun. Now Yun finally let out a long breath of turbid air, but then Yun was stunned by the scene before him. Feels not quite right. Why are there so many spiritual power beads here? Without hesitation, he pounced directly on the spiritual power beads. The systems exchanged spiritual power points refreshed constantly. This time, a total of 10,000 points were collected, and one odd encounter fragment was gifted. Yun couldn't help but reveal a smile. This counts as an odd encounter. Could it be related to her? Looks like I need to sleep with her a few more times. Pity I forgot to ask her name. Dawn the next day, the master hurriedly called Yun out. Come quickly and recognize the elder of our cult. Elder, this disciple of mine is best at planting vegetables. Let him do it. Fang Yin nodded indifferently. The cult leader is coming out of seclusion. This is the seed of her favorite vegetable. There is only one such seed in 100 years. After speaking, Fang Yin handed over the ever-bright soul taken from the cult leader. Yun was very confused and didn't dare to take it at all. Fang Yin didn't forget to issue a friendly reminder. You take good care of it and cultivate it. If it gets lost or damaged, you prepare to be honored. If there's any mishap, 10 of your lives won't be enough to compensate. Yun had to tremblingly accept the ever-bright soul. Yun ultimately didn't dare to be slow. He hurriedly chose the most fertile soil and planted the seed. And Wu Xiaoyan, switched to her juvenile form, suddenly walked over. Brother Yun, do you want to plant vegetables? Yun didn't dare to say much, quickly glossing it over. About this, with the elder's warning, how dare Yun say much? I'll loosen the soil for the vegetable garden, and incidentally take some soil back to cultivate new vegetables. Wu Xiaoyan couldn't help covering her mouth and snickering. Then I want to help Brother Yun too. Then the dignified demon cult leader worked together with the small chef from the kitchen. Soon the two filled a basket full of vegetables. Seeing it was about enough, Yun signaled, time to go back and cook for everyone. Unexpectedly, just as Yun turned around, he bumped right into a senior sister in green clothes. After reacting, Yun hurriedly turned and asked, fellow disciple, are you alright? His insides were already cracking apart. F***CK. How did I bump into a demon cult woman? She won't screw me over, right? Fortunately, this senior sister in green was obviously different from the masses. She gently gathered her hair, indicating she was fine, while Wu Xiaoyan, glimpsing Yun's dull eyes, immediately reached out and pinched his waist fiercely, then said with a smile that wasn't a smile, what are you looking at? Why use that kind of look on people? Yun laughed foolishly. She didn't hit anyone. This made Wu Xiaoyan even more speechless. Wasn't it just an accidental bump? Why hit people? But Yun warned solemnly, you just came to the Nine Nether Demon cult. You don't understand the terror here yet. I grew up here since childhood. I have seen fellow disciples fight to the death over a chicken leg, and some female disciples fight aggressively over cheap rouge. In short, remember, the brain circuits of people in the demon cult are not normal. They won't reason with you. They make a fuss over trivial matters. Anyway, as long as they don't beat you to death, it doesn't violate sect rules. Best to stay far away when you meet them. Remember, I brought you into the demon cult. I have to be responsible for you. Wait until I save enough redemption money. I will take you to defect to the orthodox sects. Hearing this, Wu Xiaoyan immediately pretended, really? Brother Yun, I look forward to it so much. You are really so reliable. Although saying so with her mouth, she sneered secretly. Want to run away as my male favorite? Can you run? Alive you are my person. Dead you are also mine. So after returning to the kitchen, she hinted, Master Jun, I have been here for several days and have been very idle, feeling a bit uneasy. If you have any work, just order me. These words immediately made Jun Yubo unable to stop swallowing his saliva. Then he hurriedly glossed over it. There isn't really any work. Wu Xiaoyan's face instantly darkened. Then am I not eating for free? He suddenly suggested, Master, how about letting little Wushan be my assistant? I've started to be the head chef recently. Someone always has to do the vegetable cutting work. Jun Yubo nodded repeatedly without hesitation. Let's do just that. This decision also made Wu Xiaoyan very satisfied. But at this moment, the woman in green suddenly walked into the kitchen. Master Jun, my master is treating guests tonight. Need to trouble you to arrange a chef to go to Joyous Tower to prepare dishes. Ian recognized at a glance that this woman was the one he bumped into at the entrance of the vegetable garden. While Jun Yubo pinched his chin and pondered, wait a moment, head manager Shin likes spicy food. Let me see who is suitable. The woman also discovered Hyun's existence by accident, so she suggested, Master Jun, why not let this little master prepare the dishes? Are you unwilling? Hearing this, Hyun immediately waved his hands repeatedly. It's not that I'm unwilling. I just started being a head chef. I'm not worthy of cooking for the head manager yet. But the woman directly made the final decision. It's him. I'll wait in the courtyard. Subsequently, Hyun and Wu Xiaoyan followed the woman to Joyous Tower, but the sounds of panting and screaming coming from the surroundings made him very speechless. Seeing this, the woman chuckled lightly. Joyous Tower mainly cultivates the art of union. Everyone in the sect practices dual cultivation in pairs. Doesn't the little master know? Hyun could only force a smile and respond, I've heard of it, but he didn't expect them to cultivate in broad daylight. Simply shameless. Soon, Hyun was brought to the back kitchen of Joyous Tower. Then she patted Wu Xiaoyan's head. Little girl, you sort the vegetables in the small kitchen. I'll take the little master to the wine cellar to fetch the wine needed for the head manager's banquet. After speaking, the woman turned directly to Hyun and smiled faintly. Little master, this way please. After the two left, Wu Xiaoyan couldn't help but sigh slightly, bumping into each other at the vegetable garden, then logically using that brief encounter to make Hyun the chef, and now wanting him to follow to fetch wine. Either it's really a coincidence, or it's genuinely too coincidental. The scene shifts to the underground wine cellar. After walking for a long time, the woman suddenly lifted the lantern in front of Hyun. Little master, can you help me hold this? Subsequently, the woman familiarly opened a door not far away. After Hyun entered, she neatly locked the main door. Hyun hurriedly turned and asked, fellow disciple Ding, there is so much wine here. How much should we take? But the woman suddenly used spiritual power to conjure a large number of butterflies and chuckled, "Little master, it's still early, don't be anxious." The moment Ian was touched by those butterflies, he instantly felt his legs lose strength. The woman also took the opportunity to lean in front of Ian, but then she felt something was wrong. He should have already fallen under my art of union, right? Why does the reaction feel wrong? Thinking of this, the woman unhesitatingly increased the output on Ian. Ian, feeling uncomfortable from the fumes, immediately cursed in his heart, F***ck, this woman is making me inhale secondhand smoke. Seeing Ian coughing crazily, the woman was instantly dumbfounded. What's going on? He wasn't affected. A person with a stable mind is indeed not easily controlled. Still missing a primer. Looks like I can only sacrifice a bit, as well as activate that primer. Thinking of this, the woman immediately pounced in front of Ian, then panted, "Little master E, only you and I know about this place. Why not ignite drywood with blazing fire?" Seeing the other party was getting serious, Ian immediately retreated repeatedly. "Fellow disciple Ding, I haven't practiced your basic techniques. I can't do dual cultivation. I will die suddenly. If I die here, you won't be able to explain it clearly then." But the woman acted directly as if she didn't hear, asking instead, "Am I beautiful, fellow disciple E?" Helpless, Ian had to nod repeatedly, but he completely lacked that intention. The demoness from 10,000 Insect Valley had already eaten him clean. He had long been devoid of desires, but the woman suddenly lay on his body. "Why is your body so stiff? Are you shy or do you dislike me?" Ian asked back completely unmoved. "Fellow disciple Ding, I want to ask, where's the wine?" These words made the woman very sad. The senior brothers and sisters of Joyous Tower only seek cultivation, having no true heart. "What I want is your true heart." Hearing this, Ian couldn't bear it anymore and directly flung her off his body. "It's not that I don't want to dual cultivate with you. I really don't have that function. You'd better find someone else." Subsequently, he hurriedly changed the topic. "Wine, wine. What wine does head manager Shin like to drink? Help me find it, and incidentally help me get a bottle of Wadiao wine. I need it for making soup." Hearing this, the woman couldn't help but issue a soul interrogation. "Little master He, are you a virgin?" Ian immediately looked lonely. This kind of question is too private. Forgive me for not being able to answer. The woman, however, pondered secretly. His legs went soft just now. He indeed seemed to have fallen under the art of union. I tempted him like that afterwards, yet he was completely unmoved. The art of union must have failed. Only a person with a truly pure mind will not be controlled by the art of union. Is he a great good person? At this time, Ian's attention was completely attracted by a golden light before his eyes. Hidden among those wine jars was actually a golden spiritual power bead. Ian felt this trip was simply a huge profit. He hurriedly stepped forward to collect a spiritual power bead, obtaining 5,000 points, and triggered an odd encounter reward, collecting 2 odd encounter fragments. After finishing, Ian immediately stood up and asked, "Fellow disciple Ding, where's the wine you mentioned?" Seeing the woman staring at him constantly, Ian hurriedly spoke again, asking repeatedly, "Aren't we here to find wine?" Helpless, the woman had to link arms with Ian, then randomly grabbed a jar of wine and explained, "My master has a good alcohol tolerance. You hold another 2 jars." Subsequently, the two left the wine cellar, but the woman's heart was full of doubts. Why was there sudden news that the ever-bright soul is in this person's hands? Could it be a smoke screen? This person is not controlled by the art of union. He must be simple-minded, completely unsuitable for survival in the 9 Nether Demon Hall. The more I think about it, the more strange it feels. I must clarify this. While Ian pondered secretly, now there are a total of 3 fragments. If I trigger an odd encounter one more time, maybe I can synthesize a talent. It seems odd encounters mean encountering things contrary to daily routine. Just now, this woman named Ding Ning definitely used the art of union on me. Otherwise my legs wouldn't have suddenly gone soft. This is a thing contrary to daily routine. Then I collected the golden spiritual power bead and triggered the odd encounter. In other words, if I stay in the kitchen all the time without opening new scenes and triggering new events, it will be hard for me to trigger odd encounters. Walking along, Ian followed Ding Ning back to the kitchen. After putting down the wine and water, she reminded, "Start serving the dishes successively at the hour of the dog. Don't forget." Hearing the noise, Wu Xian, who was preparing vegetables, hurriedly walked out. "Brother Yun, you're back." Seeing it was getting late, Ding Ning prepared to leave, but before leaving, she suddenly walked in front of Yun, then issued a sincere invitation. "I think you are a nice person. Let's go for an outing together in 2 days." Ian nodded and agreed without thinking. After all, an outing meant opening a new map. Although this woman was strange, as long as there was the iron law that fellow disciples could not kill people, his life wouldn't be in danger. Plus, he had been poisoned by that female demon, so the art of union wouldn't work on him. In summary, the pros outweighed the cons. Wu Xian on the side was secretly annoyed. "Little brat, don't want to live anymore, right?" Daring to agree to another woman. Seeing Ian agree, Ding Ning instantly beamed with joy. "Then it's settled. I'll come to the kitchen to find you in 2 days." Seeing Wu Xian suddenly puffing up and leaving, Ian hurriedly turned and asked, "Little Wu Shan, do you want to go together?" But Wu Xian directly grabbed the kitchen knife in her hand, fiercely chopped the carrot on the cutting board, and said coldly, "She didn't invite me, not going." After speaking, the kitchen knife in Wu Xian's hand began to dance rapidly. Ian's attention was immediately diverted. "In just a short while, you've prepared the vegetables. Didn't expect you to be quite amazing." Regarding Ian's behavior, Wu Xian was very annoyed. "Big brother, can't you see at all that I'm in low spirits? If it weren't that the time for revealing my identity hasn't arrived yet, I really would want to execute you right here on the spot." However, Ian didn't notice at all. He turned around and started cooking. After a burst of busyness, the two returned to the kitchen. However, the sound of Wu Xian slamming the door as she entered made Jun Yubo smell danger, so he hurriedly asked, "Disciple, what did you do to her?" Ian was very helpless. Who knows? On the way back, she was pulling a long face. Jun Yubo could only helplessly pat his shoulder. "Young man, pray for yourself." Wu Xian in the room was already angry beyond belief, feeling very helpless about meeting an idiot like Yun. Just then, the window creaked, and then Fang Yin let out a giggle. "Cult leader, I'm here." In the next second, she got stuck in the window. Wu Xian was very helpless about this. Dignified acting head head manager. Can you look a bit like an acting head manager? Fang Yin continued to act. Didn't I hear you calling me? So I came in a panic? Wu Xiaoyan hurriedly lifted the skirt hem stuck in the window and asked. No one followed you, right? Fang Yin immediately shook her head. Rest assured. What does the cult leader need me for? Need to kill someone? Exterminate someone's sect? Just give orders. Wu Xiaoyan asked back directly. Do you know Ding Ning from Joyous Tower? Fang Yin pondered slightly. Subordinate does have an impression of her. She is head manager Shin's favorite disciple and has entered the sect for at least 10 years. Is the cult leader worried that Ding Ning's identity is unclean? Wu Xiaoyan nodded slightly, but there is no evidence at the moment. You investigate thoroughly. I also happen to want to care about the situation of our 9 Nether Demon Hall. But Fang Yin worriedly said, the ever-bright soul is your most precious thing. Cult leader, are you really at ease letting Yin keep it for you? Wu Xiaoyan signaled her not to worry. Even if the ever-bright soul is snatched away, it is meaningless in the hands of others. The outside world doesn't know what that thing is at all, as long as it doesn't fall into the hands of that person from 9 Heaven's immortal gate. Meanwhile, Yin was very confused holding the ever-bright soul. He wasn't sure if this thing was a seed or not, but he still buried it in a flower pot according to the head manager's intention. But then he faced a dilemma. Where's a good place to put such an important thing? Can't just put it anywhere. But soon he had an idea. The most dangerous place is the safest place. It's very reasonable for me to put a potted plant on the window, right? Besides, who in the cult would be so bored as to steal the cult leader's vegetable? After finishing, he stopped thinking about it and went straight to sleep. At dawn the next day, everyone in the kitchen started getting busy early. Ding Ning arrived as promised. As soon as she entered, she greeted Yin enthusiastically. Master Jun, I made an appointment with little Master He for an outing together. Will you release him? Jun Yubo pointed directly at Yin. You ask him directly. Yin nodded unhesitatingly. Okay. Seeing Yin walking affectionately towards Ding Ning, Jun Yubo hurriedly whispered, are you not going? This was simply rubbing salt in the wound. Wu Xiaoyan replied very annoyedly, am I going to spoil their fun? After speaking, she turned angrily to leave. I'm going back to my room to sleep. The scene shifts. Yin and Ding Ning arrived at a secluded place within the sect. The scenery chosen by Ding Ning was pleasant, but Yin only wanted to gain something. Spiritual power beads. Where are you? However, Ding Ning could no longer hold back. Little Master He, aren't you tired standing? Come sit here with me. Yin felt very speechless about this, so he said straightforwardly, fellow disciple Ding, did you really ask me out for an outing because I'm a nice person? If you have any thoughts, just say them. I will cooperate if I can. If I can't cooperate, then I can't. Now Ding Ning didn't waste time anymore. She turned over and came in front of Yin. I used the art of union on you that day, and you had absolutely no reaction. This shows that little Master He is simple-minded. Our sect's art of union naturally exerts the greatest effect only when there is mutual affection. Only such dual cultivation is meaningful. Little Master He, I asked you out and you didn't refuse. Does that mean little Master He is also interested in me? Now that the gentleman has affection and the lady has intent, why not ascend to the clouds together with me and go to the world of bliss? But Yin looked lacking in interest. Senior sister Ding, this is too conventional. Are there any special ways to play? The kind you don't usually see. Hearing this, Ding Ning immediately sneered secretly. So he isn't some simple-minded person. True. How could there be good people in the demon cult? He must think the seller seduction before wasn't perverted enough and wants something more stimulating. But Yun's thought was completely opposite. Rare to come out once. Gotta seize the opportunity to get an odd encounter. Anyway, I don't have that function. Let her play however she wants. Ding Ning, who misunderstood, clearly couldn't wait. Junior brother He, however perverted you want it. Senior sister can satisfy you. Yin was instantly dumbfounded hearing this. I don't have much experience. It all depends on senior sister. Although Ding Ning was smiling, she had made up her mind at the bottom of her heart. Since you pursue stimulation, I will keep you company to the end. Thinking of this, Ding Ning stood up from the ground. Junior brother He, you are really humorous. I'll make some preparations. Wait a moment. Then Ding Ning reached directly onto her body and started fumbling around, then pulled out a wisp of long red silk thread. Subsequently, she wound the silk threads around her fingertips. Seeing this scene, Yin was instantly crazy with joy inside. This move is unusual. Looks like gold coins will definitely drop today. Seeing Yun's ecstatic expression, Ding Ning couldn't help but sneer secretly. Worthy of being a demon cult member, truly obscene and perverted. Then she quickly flung out the silk threads in her hand, tying Yin up securely. This scene immediately provoked Wu Xiaoyan, who was hiding in the dark to peek, to gnash her teeth. This brat became this seat's man, yet still thinking of cheating and playing so wildly. His crime deserves death. Unpardonable sins. Death by 1,000 cuts. Never to be reincarnated. After tying Yin up, Ding Ning squatted beside him and said coquettishly, Junior brother He, do you still want it more perverted? Hearing this, Yin nodded unhesitatingly. Senior sister Ding, I am ready. I decided to empty my brain and dedicate my whole body and mind to you. Come on. Which instantly made Ding Ning laugh so hard she couldn't close her mouth. You are really humorous. If I knew you liked playing this kind of thing, you should have told me that time in the cellar. Wu Xiaoyan, seeing Ding Ning constantly groping Yin, instantly looked terrible. Damn it. Starting so soon? What on earth are they saying? Can't hear clearly at all. Isn't that stink brat's expression too exaggerated? Even when making clouds and rain with me, I didn't see him being this shameless. Seeing the timing was about ripe, Ding Ning stood up and smiled faintly. Junior brother, I'm coming. After speaking, she began to activate the spiritual energy in her body and sneered secretly. Soft intestines 100 turns. Third move, sound of passion secretly guiding. It can make people with a lower level than oneself reveal their true hearts. As long as this ability is used, the other party can enter a state of absent-mindedness. In the next moment, a beam of purple spiritual energy shot suddenly towards Yin. After the purple spiritual energy entered his body, Yin instantly felt his whole spirit go into a trance. Then he opened his mouth with a dull look. Where am I? Hearing the voice, Ding Ning laughed instantly. We are in the world of bliss. Do you have secrets you haven't told me? If you tell senior sister your little secrets, senior sister has prepared even more special games. Yin responded unhesitatingly. Yes, I have many little secrets. I'll tell senior sister. My name is Yin. I come from another world. cult. Or maybe not. Anyway, I was born here and sold to the demon cult when I was young, but I have a red heart of justice. I want to strive for the upper reaches and join the orthodox sects. I am a good person. Ding Ning couldn't bear it anymore and shouted directly, "Stop. I don't want to hear this kind of secret. What a mess. I want something deeper, like the Everbright Soul or something." But Ian stated he had never been to Everbright Slope, which made Ding Ning very speechless. "Are you playing dumb with me?" Wu Xian couldn't watch anymore. Ledger, can't use the part below, so actually using other things truly opened my eyes. Just then, a sharp pain suddenly came from her chest. Even though she tried her best to endure, she couldn't stop spitting out a large mouthful of tomato sauce. Wu Xian couldn't help but go soft and slumped directly on the ground. Is it going to act up again? Grand void firmament's flower amidst moon drunken curse, plus drunk spring breeze, truly poisonous enough. Irregular timing, unknown triggers for the flare-ups. A bunch of old undying ones. Wait until this seat gets better. I'll settle accounts with you one by one. The piercing pain constantly coming from her chest made Wu Xian very uncomfortable, and Ian finally sobered up on this side. "Senior sister Ding, what happened just now?" Then he was stunned to find Ding Ning's face was extremely ugly, so he asked tentatively, "Senior sister Ding, what's wrong with you?" Ding Ning finally couldn't hold back and started questioning directly. "Who on earth are you?" Ian, shaken uncomfortably, immediately pushed her away subconsciously, but Ding Ning refused to give up and continued to pursue. "Where exactly is the Everbright Soul?" Ian felt very speechless about this. So annoying. Came out specifically to encounter odd encounters. Didn't expect to get nothing, and met someone who mistook me for someone else. So he stood up directly to say goodbye. "Senior sister Ding, we've been out for a while. I see our conversation is disagreeable. Let's each go back to our own homes." Seeing Ian wanted to return to the kitchen, and thinking this guy had already heard her mention the Everbright Soul, Ding Ning absolutely couldn't let him live. To pull up weeds by the roots, Ding Ning unhesitatingly flew towards Ian to kill him. But unexpectedly, a stone shot out from the dense forest, hitting Ding Ning's forehead with incomparable precision, forcefully interrupting her attack. Ding Ning immediately realized something was wrong. Is someone protecting him? Could it be that he wasn't affected by my skill just now? Everything was pretended. This brat looks like he isn't some kitchen cook at all. The news about the Everbright Soul being in his hands is absolutely groundless. Can't reveal my identity today. I'll settle accounts with him another day. Seeing Ding Ning suddenly disappear, Ian couldn't help speculating secretly. People from Joyous Tower are really snobbish. Can't dual cultivate to improve cultivation, so they give no good looks, and even leave so decisively. However, I can't go back empty-handed like this. I haven't explored this dense forest yet. Maybe there are quite a few spiritual power beads. Going back with nothing would be too much of a loss. Must gather a wave fiercely before going back. But just as Ian was full of enthusiasm, movement suddenly came from not far away. Ian, having suffered a loss before, hurriedly assumed a stance and slowly approached the grass. But unexpectedly, the person on the ground was his old lover. Seeing Wu Xian telling him to scram with a dark face, Ian instantly cried out inwardly that it was bad. This woman couldn't have been following me all along, right? Where I am, she is. Subsequently, Ian hurriedly squatted down and asked with concern, "Are you okay?" But this made Wu Xian even more unhappy. "I said scram. Can't you hear?" Afraid of being pierced again, Ian hurriedly stopped his steps. Okay, I'll scram. Since you are fine, then I'll leave first." Seeing Ian really leave, Wu Xian instantly felt aggrieved. "You leave just because I told you to. Otherwise, you would have been killed by Ding Ning long ago. In vain I helped you just now, bastard son of a turtle." But Ian was ultimately worried about Wu Xian being here alone, so he hurriedly turned and walked back. After helping Wu Xian up, he suddenly spoke. "If you die, what about the goo worm in my body?" Seeing Ian only cared about himself, Wu Xian instantly got angry. "Don't need you to care about me." But Ian still insisted on taking care of her. "We don't have any enmity or grievance. Apart from making me impotent, you didn't take any other advantage of me. I can't really leave you in the lurch. Come on, let's do it." Hearing this, Wu Xian immediately retorted, "Don't need your pity. I don't need you anymore. I'm tired of it." Rejected repeatedly, Ian stopped being verbose. "Since it's like this, then we part ways. I won't ask you to help me draw out the goo worm." Unexpectedly, just as Ian left, Wu Xian couldn't help spitting out a large mouthful of tomato sauce. The sound of her falling to the ground made Ian hurriedly stop his steps. Now Ian was completely speechless. "I say, can you make it or not?" Seeing Wu Xian lying on the ground playing dead like this, Ian had to speak helplessly. "Anyway, it's not our first or second time. Hurry up, a quick battle for a quick decision. I didn't want to care either, but my conscience can't pass. After all, you didn't really harm me. I can't watch you die here. At least not die before my eyes." Seeing Ian pulling her up, Wu Xian instantly got angry. "Aren't you afraid I'll get angry and kill you?" But Ian smiled shamelessly. "The person dying soon is you right now, not me." Things having reached this point, Wu Xian couldn't beat Sundara anymore. "Don't talk, do it if we're doing it." But Ian directly pinched her chin. "Since you are begging me, then move yourself." As the cult leader, how could Wu Xian stand this humiliation? But to alleviate the violent poison in her body, she still endured the humiliation and began to move rapidly. But Ian felt a bit unsatisfied. Why hold back and not make a sound? "Can you relax like this?" These words immediately made Wu Xian annoyed and ashamed. She unhesitatingly grabbed Ian's neck. "Shut up. One more nonsense word and I'll choke you to death." But Ian didn't panic at all. Instead, he let out a burst of bitchy laughter. "Didn't expect you like playing this game." After a fierce battle, the violent poison in Wu Xian's body was finally suppressed. But this time, she clearly felt Ian's physique had become excessively strong. Then she discovered that although the toxin was suppressed, her body began to shrink again. While roasting fish, Ian was somewhat annoyed. Delayed for half a day again. Must collect spiritual power beads overnight. Will I trigger an odd encounter today? When he came back to his senses, he found Wu Xian had slipped away without even saying hello. However, Ian didn't take it to heart and directly took a bite of the freshly roasted delicious fish. But unexpectedly, the system suddenly popped up a prompt. Gifted 2 odd encounter fragments. Currently, 5 fragments have been collected. Will young Master Ian synthesize the fragments into a talent? Ian didn't hesitate at all and clicked the synthesize button directly. Those few fragments suddenly floated out from the void, then quickly fused together. Then the system prompted again. Congratulations, young Master Yun, on obtaining the talent Corpse Explosion technique. Attack range 2 meters. This talent made Ian very speechless. This name sounds very demon cult-like. Is it unfavorable for me joining a famous orthodox sect in the future? But this skill is superb for destroying corpses and erasing traces at critical moments. It can also be used as an explosive pack. Forget it. Having many skills doesn't weigh one down. Let's see what things I have now first. Talent 1, 2 lives. Talent 2, Corpse Explosion. Level 20. Remaining points, 50 million. After reading, Ian stood up directly and stretched his waist. Can't slack off. Go continue collecting beats. Saying that, he released the flood that had been accumulating in his body for a long time to extinguish the bonfire, then entered the dense forest alone without looking back. As he went deeper, Ian's eyes suddenly lit up. Dense clusters of spiritual power beads were floating in the jungle. Ian immediately started crazy collection mode. After collecting all the surrounding spiritual power beads, Ian finally breathed a sigh of relief. System, summarize the harvest this time for me. Instantly the system sounded a prompt. Congratulations, young Master Yun, for obtaining 1 million points in one breath. First time obtaining 1 million points in a single instance achievement triggers an odd encounter, gifting 2 odd encounter fragments. Just as Ian was feeling complacent about the harvest of this outing, several fierce demon wolves had already appeared behind him. However, Ian was unhurried. I said bargains aren't picked up for free. No choice. I don't want to die here either. Level me straight up to level 60. In the next second, a surge of spiritual energy rushed out from his body, and his level instantly rose to 60. The demon wolves, at the moment they rushed in front of Ian, were already attacking his face in unison, but their movements were simply slow motion in Ian's eyes. With a casual punch, he exploded the head of one of the demon wolves. Then Ian retracted his arm and turned. These 3 demon wolves couldn't do anything to Ian, whose level had skyrocketed, resolving another demon wolf. He even blasted the demon wolf flying into the pack of wolves, interrupting their attack. Then Ian said word by word, Corpse Explosion, explode for me. The moment the talent activated, the demon wolf's corpse immediately exploded with a bang. As the number of corpses increased, Ian began to use the Corpse Explosion technique crazily. Now that his combat power had skyrocketed, this level of demon wolves wasn't worth wasting his time on. After he finished off the wolf pack, the system suddenly sounded a prompt. Young Master Yun used Corpse Explosion for the first time and exterminated 200 night wolves. Accumulated points 200,000. Triggered an odd encounter, gifting 1 odd encounter fragment. This harvest surprised Ian greatly. Didn't expect the system to be really good, liking it more and more. Just then, Ian suddenly sensed a powerful aura permeating from the dense forest. Looking towards the source, Ian immediately saw a huge demon wolf with a crimson mark on its head. The Comer was surprisingly the night wolf leader, whose level was as high as 30. As soon as the night wolf leader appeared, it used its talent skill, Roar. But Ian's tight heart relaxed when he saw the night wolf leader's level. If I were still level 20, I might have died here today. Pity your luck is bad. Brother is level 60 now. Superimposing 2 talents won't hide my clumsiness today. But the night wolf leader didn't know Ian's level and just wanted to tear him apart quickly on the spot. In the blink of an eye, the night wolf leader rushed in front of Ian and let out an angry roar again. With a huge gap of 30 levels, Ian didn't put the night wolf leader in his eyes at all. The moment he reached out, he suddenly made a flicking motion. Then Ian's finger flicked gently on the night wolf leader's head. For this strike, he didn't use the power of any martial arts, knocking the night wolf leader flying with purely physical strength. Moreover, the force of this strike was incomparably huge. The night wolf leader broke several giant trees in succession before barely stopping. Instantly, the system sounded a prompt. Congratulations, young Master Yun. Easily defeated the night wolf leader. I was very satisfied with this, then waited quietly for the system's reward. But unexpectedly, the system didn't give any indication or reward. Ian instantly cracked. Shouldn't you broadcast giving odd encounter fragments now? Really can't stand praise. Just praised you a couple of sentences. Forget it. I'll check the night wolf leader's corpse for rewards myself. But the spiritual power bead exploded from the night wolf leader was a red one he had never seen before. In an instant, the system sounded a prompt. Points increased by 300,000. Triggered an odd encounter, gifting 2 odd encounter fragments. Friendly reminder, will young Master Yun synthesize a talent? Ian was very speechless about this. Trouble you not to ask next time. Just synthesize it for me directly. In the next second, odd encounter fragments emerged from the void, then quickly fused together. This time he obtained a talent named Know-It-All, allowing him to query information twice daily. Learning that this talent could check anything, Ian nodded in satisfaction. The synthesized talents so far are quite practical. There are no other auras around now. Tonight should be safe. Dawn is coming soon. Better go back to rest. After returning to the kitchen, the sky was already fully bright. Ian was watering the seed bestowed by the cult leader, but he was very doubtful. By the way, can this thing really sprout? In the next second, the smell of decocting medicine wafted in the air. Subsequently, Ian discovered it was his master brewing medicinal soup, so he asked curiously, "Are you sick?" Hearing the voice, Yubo immediately turned around. "Not me. Since you're here, I'll leave the heat control to you. This is brewed for little Wushan. She is sick. Once the medicine is ready, serve it to her." Ian was instantly stunned. She's sick? What? What illness? Yubo said with his mouth that it was just a common cold, but he secretly roasted in his heart. Actually, it's drunk spring breeze acting up. The internal injury hasn't recovered. It's all your fault for not being potent enough. Kid, but this kid feels a bit different. Why does his complexion get better and better? Logically, being tormented by the cult leader like that, his glabella should have turned black long ago. Could it be that the cult leader had her Ian harvested to supplement his yang? Seeing Ian brewing the medicinal soup ready to deliver to the cult leader, Yubo couldn't help but sigh secretly. Looks like being young means being durable. If I knew earlier, I would have cultivated more when I was young. On the other hand, the door to Wu Xian's room was still closed tight. Even though Ian knocked repeatedly, there was no response. After waiting in vain, Ian helplessly pushed the door open and entered. As soon as he entered, entered, he saw Wu Xian, who had reverted to her juvenile form, still sleeping soundly. Seeing Wu Xian lying there motionless, Ian hurriedly put down the medicinal soup in his hand. After carefully feeling her temperature, Ian couldn't help but look grave. This girl seems quite sick. So hot. This is a damn fever. Wu Xian then slowly opened her eyes. Ian, my medicine. Hearing this, Ian was somewhat troubled, but this is medicine for treating colds. Will it work? Seeing Wu Xian constantly saying she wanted to drink medicine, Ian had to helplessly help her up and feed her personally. Whether due to shyness or the pain acting up, half a bowl of medicinal soup was spilled onto Xian's body. Seeing this, Ian immediately howled secretly, see no evil. Girls must protect themselves well outside, and boys too. Thinking of this, Ian hurriedly wiped her clean, then comforted, you rest well, I'll go gather some fever-reducing herbs for you. Looking at Ian's back, Xian couldn't figure it out no matter what. This kid's strength has increased quite a bit again. His aura has risen by at least 50 levels. What exactly is going on? Subsequently, Ian went to the back mountain. Finding various herbs was not difficult for him, but then he suddenly discovered a familiar figure. Seeing the comber, Ian immediately joked, it's you. Why did you leave suddenly yesterday? I wanted to thank you. These words immediately confused Ding Ning. What do you mean? Thank me? Remember to take me with you next time there's a fun place. Although Ding Ning felt this kid's brain wasn't normal, she still braced herself to inquire. The ever-bright soul is in your hands, right? By the way, Ian felt very speechless about this. Ever-bright slope should not be the slope I'm thinking of. Guess it's some magic tool or something. Asking for the second time. Thinking of this, Ian asked back directly, senior sister, what exactly is this slope you are talking about? Ding Ning thought Ian was playing dumb and immediately couldn't hold back. You are playing with me, aren't you? Ian also lost his temper and used know-it-all directly to check Ding Ning's information. Age, 18. Name, Ding Ning. Identity, Joyous Tower Disciple / Undercover. Affiliation, Grand Void Firmament Disciple. Level, 29. Talent, Soft Intestines 100 turns. Goal, finding the ever-bright soul. Ian didn't expect Ding Ning to be from the Orthodox sex. But why target me? Is it because of that magic tool? Ding Ning is only level 29. No threat to me. If we really fight, killing her by mistake wouldn't be good for developing in the Orthodox sex in the future. Thinking of this, Ian pretended not to know and continued, senior sister Ding, do you want to speak a bit more clearly? I don't understand your meaning. Unexpectedly, these words generated killing intent in Ding Ning. I've probed the vicinity. People are unlikely to appear. This kid isn't as foolish as he looks. Seems I have to use some extraordinary means. In the next second, Ding Ning suddenly attacked, directly reaching out to choke Ian's throat, then shouted with an ice-cold tone, Ian, stop pretending. Hand over the ever-bright soul, and I can spare your life. Ian spoke very cooperatively, senior sister, if I really hand it over, can you really let me go? Hearing this, Ding Ning instantly beamed with joy. Of course, as long as you cooperate. But Ian stopped pretending directly. Will a disciple of the Grand Void Firmament really let a demon cult member go? Is this word credible? As soon as this was said, Ding Ning instantly became restless. How do you know my identity? But Ian stopped wasting words with her and directly grabbed Ding Ning's wrist with a backhand. In the next second, a cracking sound rang out abruptly. The severe pain from her wrist made Ding Ning unable to stop screaming. Injured, Ding Ning hurriedly retreated quickly to open distance from Ian, then said incredulously, why is your strength so great? But Ian just smiled faintly. Didn't I say it? I have to thank you for taking me on the outing. If you hadn't taken me, how could I have encountered such a good opportunity to make a big profit? Seeing this, Ding Ning hurriedly raised her arm to block Ian's fist, but with the huge gap in cultivation levels, she was basically a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Hit in the chest by a punch, Ian's hand erupted with surging strength, directly piercing through Ding Ning's body. Then Ding Ning's body was pushed flying more than 10 meters by the spiritual energy before falling to the ground. After finishing, Ian found Ding Ning had stopped breathing, but Ian didn't plan to leave just like that. It was a perfect chance to try the corpse explosion technique he just learned. As the corpse explosion technique activated, Ding Ning instantly turned into powder and disappeared completely. Looking at the clean big pit in front of him, Ian finally revealed a satisfied smile. Unexpectedly, all this was taken in by Xian and the other. Fang Ying couldn't help asking doubtfully, cult leader, the subordinate just found out that Ding Ning was an undercover agent. How did he discover it? But Xian indicated this wasn't the main point. I care more about his strength and the cultivation method just now. This kid is a bit weird, but he acts like a member of my demon cult, decisive enough. Not only are his hands and feet clean and agile, but he also knows how to cover his tracks. Then Xian turned directly to leave. You go tell Yubo to teach him some real skills, and stare at him learning the scrolls in the library. Now that Ding Ning is missing, those undercover agents from Grand Void Firmament and the cult probably can't sit still either. Find them all out. Kill without mercy. Hearing this, Fang Yin immediately nodded. Understood, cult leader. The subordinate will definitely handle the matters explained by the cult leader well. Cult leader, don't walk so fast. Wait for me. On Yun's side, he seemed to hear someone speaking over there. He couldn't help but be secretly afraid. Done for. Wasn't seen by someone, right? Also, a pity about this Ding Ning. Hadn't taken me to more fun places yet. As soon as he returned to the kitchen, he found Wu Xian had recovered as before and was even working hard. Seeing Ian looking puzzled, Wu Xian explained with a smile. Drank the master's medicine. The effect was immediate. Fully recovered. I felt very amazed about this. Your ability to decoct medicine should apply for intangible cultural heritage. Looks like the herbs I just collected won't be used. Medicine for curing colds can actually reduce fevers. I'll dry the herbs first and keep them for next time. After Ian left, Wu Xian immediately signaled to Yubo. He is a good seedling. Teach him well. Just as Ian had spread out the herbs, several people suddenly walked in aggressively from outside. The leader was surprisingly the disciple of Joyous Tower, Tianshui. He shouted with an arrogant look, "Kitchen manager, come out for me quickly." Hearing the voice, Yubo hurriedly walked out with a group of kitchen disciples. After recognizing the comers, Yubo hurriedly flattered. So it's the little gentleman and little lady from Joyous Tower. What's the matter? Surely not that the kitchen food doesn't suit your appetite? Unexpectedly, Tianshui pulled out the sword at his waist directly directly, then placed the sword on Hyun's neck and shouted, "Hyun killed my junior sister Ding Ning. You should know the rules of the 9 Nether Demon Hall. Those who kill fellow disciples must pay with their lives. Manager, you be a witness. I want to execute him." Although the matter was exposed, Hyun didn't panic at all and asked back, "I'm just a cook. Can I kill a disciple of your joyous tower? You think too highly of me." But Tianshui didn't listen to his quibbling at all. "Junior sister Ding said she came to find you before leaving, but now the person hasn't returned. We searched the entire jurisdiction. It must be you who did it." But Hyun spread his hands directly indicating he was innocent. "Please, even if I really did something, it doesn't warrant immediate suspicion of murder, right? However, your suspicion of me is reasonable. After all, we are all demon cult members, and we indeed draw swords at each other over a disagreement. But if you say I killed senior sister Ding Ning, you have to have conclusive evidence, right?" Yubo on the side also hurriedly chimed in, "Little gentleman, where's the evidence? If no evidence, go quickly. Don't delay our cooking." However, at this moment, a languid female voice suddenly came from not far away. "My disciple indeed went missing. At least Hyun was the last person to see Ding Ning. He should accept investigation." The woman had outstanding grace. She was the tower master of Joyous Tower, Shin-Yik, and also Ding Ning's master. Subsequently, Shin-Yik spoke again. "How about letting Hyun stay at Mirror Terrace for a few days? Wait for me to investigate clearly, also to clear his name. But rest assured, this isn't confinement. Just give me 5 days. How about it? I will entertain him well." Yubo was instantly troubled. He subconsciously glanced at Wu Xiaoyan, only to see the cult leader had already clenched her pink fists, her face obviously extremely ugly. Seeing this, Yubo immediately turned and spoke. "What if I don't agree?" Regarding this, Shin-Yik just spread her hands and said with a casual tone, "Then I can only determine Hyun is the murderer, and you are harboring an accomplice. Immediate execution." Yubo was very speechless. "Even me together?" And Wu Xiaoyan secretly transmitted her voice to Yubo at this moment. "This person is extremely protective of her disciples. Just let her lock Hyun up. Anyway, she can't find anything. You go together too. Exactly the chance to teach Hyun some things." Hearing this, Yubo immediately said righteously, "Since it's like this, lock us up then. But if no clues are found, I will flare up then. In addition, I have to accompany Hyun. You are aggressive. I worry you will bully my apprentice." Hyun wanted to go alone, but Yubo shouted him down. "Say no more. Pack change of clothes. Let's go to confinement." Seeing the master insisted on this, Hyun had to nod and turn to pack. But suddenly he found something wrong. Could that Tianshui be in cahoots with Ding Ning? Otherwise, why be so certain I killed Ding Ning? And what exactly is the ever-bright soul Ding Ning mentioned? However, Hyun couldn't figure it out for the moment, so he had to go back to pack clothes first. Then he suddenly remembered the seed bestowed by the cult leader. Hyun wasn't stupid. He had already guessed this thing wasn't a seed at all, so he used know-it-all directly to query its information. In the next second, a system prompt popped up, identified as Ever-Bright Soul, not a plant seed. Ever-Bright Soul, legendary top-tier magic tool. Whoever possesses it is the strongest. In reality, this item seals the primordial spirits of Ever-Bright True Person and the Demon Lord. Hyun was confused after reading the introduction. "I understand the Demon Lord, but which great deity is Ever-Bright True Person?" Just then, urging sounds came from outside. No time to think more. Hyun had to put it away first and study it properly later. Although he didn't know why the cult leader gave such an important thing to him, confinement right now wasn't a bad thing. At least the Ever-Bright Soul would be safe for these few days. As for the matter of the True Person and the Demon Lord, wait until getting out to check slowly. After arriving at Joyous Tower, Hyun was somewhat confused. Why are there so many mirrors here? Yubo answered a few words without looking up. Otherwise, could it be called Mirror Terrace? Hyun was very speechless about this. Your explanation equals no explanation, so he couldn't help asking, "What exactly are these mirrors for?" Yubo responded without looking up, "Of course, to monitor us." Hearing this, Hyun secretly roasted. "So they are surveillance cameras. Then doesn't that mean eating, drinking, and pooping are all being watched?" Yubo seemed to see Hyun's concern and hurriedly reached out to pat his shoulder. "Rest assured, not every place has mirrors, not as perverted as you think." Before long, the Joyous Tower crowd brought Hyun to a room. After opening the stone chamber's door, a minion spoke slowly. "You two stay in this room." Upon entering, Hyun couldn't help exclaiming, "This prison treatment is actually presidential level." The decoration and environment here completely exceeded Hyun's expectations. While Yubo didn't forget to remind before entering the room, "Tower Master Shin, remember my words. If there is no evidence proving my Hyun is the murderer, I won't let the matter drop." Hearing these words, even Tower Master Shin couldn't help sweating a few drops of cold sweat and hurriedly indicated she remembered. After closing the door, Tianshui couldn't help being angry. Just a cook, daring to speak to master like that. Shin-Yik immediately signaled him to shut up. "Yubo is not a simple chef. Don't ask what shouldn't be asked. You investigate your junior sister's whereabouts first, and incidentally tell me, why did your junior sister go to find Hyun alone? Just a kitchen disciple. What interaction could she have with him?" But Tianshui shook his head. "I don't know either. She said she suspected Hyun was a mole and wanted to probe his background." Hearing this, Shin-Yik immediately frowned. "Nonsense. A mole? Could there be a mole beside Yubo? She probably has water in her brain. Besides, investigating moles isn't our Joyous Tower's job." Now Tianshui instantly became restless. Junior sister was also thinking for the 9 Nether Demon Hall. Isn't it said the cult leader came out of seclusion? Many people outside are coveting the ever-bright soul in the cult leader's hands. Speaking of the cult leader, Shin-Yi couldn't help showing a strange expression. Why didn't the cult leader show her face when coming out of seclusion this time? Strange. Meanwhile, Hyun and Yubo also began to tidy the room and arrange their daily necessities. Through observation, Hyun found there were no mirrors in the room. He couldn't help breathing a sigh of relief secretly. If I'm not outside, if that demoness senior sister has a poison flare-up, she won't turn to any doctor in an emergency, right? Why am I worried about her doing this? She isn't worried about screwing me to death. Just then, Yubo suddenly looked at Hyun with a solemn face, then abruptly raised his hand and blasted spiritual power at him from across the air. However, after his level skyrocketed, Hyun's sensing and reaction abilities had also improved drastically. After dodging, nothing. Hee-yeon got angry instantly. What are you doing? If I hadn't dodged, wouldn't I be meat paste? But Yubo stared at him extremely seriously. Are you level 60? Seeing this, Hee-yeon couldn't help muttering secretly. First time seeing Master reveal this expression. Seeing Hee-yeon silent, Yubo immediately exploded with spiritual energy and questioned. Not long ago you were just an ordinary person. What exactly happened in just a few days? This sudden change made Hee-yeon unable to stop swallowing nervously. He finally understood that his master was definitely not an ordinary cook. To not reveal flaws, he hurriedly pretended to be calm. It is level 60, but I really don't know what happened. Hearing this, Yubo immediately revealed a playful smile. Don't know the reason? This smile made Hee-yeon panic instantly. Ding Ning took me on an outing and threw me in the mountains. I stumbled into a strange place by mistake, fainted, and was level 60 when I woke up. Master, tell me, if a person suddenly skyrockets to level 60, who wouldn't be suspicious? That's why I wanted to hide it. Moreover, you can definitely tell I don't know any cultivation methods. But after listening, Yubo suddenly laughed loudly, then sat on the bed. Next time if anyone asks you again, say I taught you, letting you hide your clumsiness. Don't make up this kind of ghost story no one believes in the future. I don't care how you leveled up. Anyway, there must be a great opportunity. You kid have heaven-defying luck. The cult leader in Fangin said you killed Ding Ning. I didn't believe it yet. Hearing these words, Hee-yeon's face changed drastically instantly. Didn't expect the matter was actually exposed. Seeing Hee-yeon's panicked look, Yubo laughed out loud instantly. The cold sweat on your face can be wrung out like water. Weren't you quite brave when killing her? What are you afraid of now? Our 9 Nether Demon Hall is a demon cult, the kind that kills without blinking. The cult leader and acting head manager knew long ago. They were right beside watching you take action. Hearing this, Hee-yeon couldn't help slapping his forehead and roasting secretly. No wonder I felt like I was being watched back then. But Master seems not planning to punish me. And Yubo suddenly took off the ring on his index finger. In an instant, a powerful aura erupted from Yubo's body, causing Hee-yeon to uncontrollably feel a sense of oppression. Then Yubo threw the ring to Hee-yeon. Sorry, this old man hasn't taken off the ring for 100 or 200 years. The aura is a bit heavy. It will disperse in a while. This ring is a magic tool to hide cultivation. Wear it well. Continue pretending to be your silly sweet self. Looking at the ring in his hand, Hee-yeon couldn't help being moved to tears, then looked at Yubo with a grateful face and said coquettishly, Master, you are so good to me. Master, Yubo said grumpily, the cult leader treats you well. Don't forget her kindness. Remember to repay the cult leader when you rise in the world in the future. Hee-yeon was very puzzled about this and couldn't help asking back, Master, why is the cult leader so good to me? Yubo couldn't help blushing and coughing lightly. You kid really don't understand anything. Being thought of by the cult leader, it's hard to escape. Anyway, the cult leader thinks you are a talent worth molding and asked me to teach you some life-saving means. Besides, you've been calling me master all these years. It would indeed be unjustifiable if I taught nothing. Now I pass on the unique secret skill, Heartless Hand, to you. Hearing this, Hee-yeon immediately got excited. Good. I want to learn. Yubo nodded slightly and then activated his spiritual energy to explain. The Heartless Hand emphasizes heartlessness. This move attacks extremely fast, with ferocious force. Every palm hit weakens the opponent's chi and blood and spiritual power. After getting started, it can also be used alternately with the Heartless Finger. The so-called Heartless Finger is using fingers instead of palms, condensing the whole body's force at the fingertips. It can accurately hit acupoints, instantly seal meridians, and cut off the opponent's spiritual power for a period of time. When this Heartless Hand is cultivated to the extreme, it is the eternal Heartless Realm. Speaking of this, Yubo's expression suddenly froze fiercely. Hee-yeon couldn't help asking curiously, Master, why stop talking? But Yubo suddenly chuckled and signaled, just learn the basics of this kung fu. No need to pursue the extreme. The deeper the Heartless Hand is cultivated, the colder the nature becomes. Heartless to the extreme inevitably leads to regrets in the end. But Hee-yeon felt a bit strange. But I see Master's 7 emotions and 6 desires are very normal. Did you not cultivate to the ultimate level? Yubo immediately said with a complex face. Of course, being a teacher I cultivated to the extreme. As a teacher, I have extraordinary talent. Cultivating to the ultimate is no hindrance. Hee-yeon saw his look of wanting to speak but stopping, and knew he definitely had unspeakable difficulties, so he praised. I said Master is not simple. Turns out to be the sweeping monk hidden in the kitchen. But Yubo stood up directly and signaled, there is plenty of space outside. Let me demonstrate it once for you. Hee-yeon hurriedly followed and asked carefully, there are mirrors outside. Aren't you afraid of people stealing the art? Regarding this, Yubo just chuckled. Afraid they think their lives are too long? Stealing? Being locked in Mirror Terrace is actually beneficial without harm. This is a good place to concentrate on cultivation. Hearing this, Hee-yeon immediately snickered secretly. Maybe Master is only second to the cult leader and acting head manager. Domineering, a big thigh. I must hug tight. Soon the two came to an open place. Yubo moved slightly and signaled, I will demonstrate once today. Remember as much as you can. Form first, then intent. If wrong, I will correct. Hearing this, Hee-yeon hurriedly bowed respectfully to indicate he understood. Then Yubo began to urge the spiritual energy in his body, breathing in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. His true body was vigorous. Spiritual power flowed smoothly along the meridians, and the aura around his body climbed steadily. Everything stopped abruptly with a shout. After finishing, Yubo asked, how much did you remember? Imitate once. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. Unexpectedly, Hee-yeon's drill was simply perfect. Between raising his hand, compared to Yubo, he was even better. Even Yubo, this hidden big shot, was shocked by Hee-yeon's learning ability. He looked incredulous. Is it really your first time learning a cultivation method, kid? Hee-yeon scratched his head instantly. Indeed the first time, but starting at level 60, learning methods seems particularly fast. Yubo patted his shoulder comfortably. You really are a cultivation prodigy. The cult leader didn't mistake the person. With me here, I will definitely teach everything I know. Meanwhile, in the most secret room of Joyous Tower, Tower Master Shin was looking at the scene in the mirror with interest. Seeing Hee-yeon's cultivation talent was so strong, she suddenly revealed a smile. This little guy has good talent. If he really didn't kill my disciple, maybe I can snatch him to be my little apprentice. After After 3 days of practice, although still not comparable to the master, this level was enough for self-protection. Wanting to experience the heartless hand, he gradually forgot his roots and strayed from the demonic path. Yubo suddenly gave him a hand chop, then asked, "Stinky brat, what are you doing facing the wall? How is the practice?" He hurriedly pointed at the wall imprint and spoke, "Master, look, I can also strike a palm print." Seeing this, Yubo couldn't help praising, "Your cultivation talent is truly heaven-defying. I practiced for 10 years back then to get your effect. I am inferior to you." He couldn't help muttering in a low voice, "After all, I am level 60 now. If level 0 probably couldn't strike it out even in 50 years. I am taking advantage." But these words were still heard by Yubo. "Did you smear honey on your mouth, kid?" This was sent personally by acting head manager Fang Yin, asking you to learn well. But this method has no name, and the acting head manager didn't say either. She dropped the book and left. He took it and frowned. "Doesn't look like a martial art, more like a classic for cultivating internal breath." Subsequently, he didn't think much, opened the secret manual and began to read carefully. Then, full of passion, he put away the manual preparing to practice. This made Yubo very annoyed. Raised this kid for so many years, really didn't know he was so obsessed with cultivation. If I knew earlier, I should have cultivated him since childhood. However, he didn't rush to cultivate. Instead, he used the know-it-all talent to check the origin of this classic, ever-bright scripture. A method for cultivating true chi can replace the original true chi flow method, allowing power to flow unimpeded in the meridians. Now he was completely restless. Ever-bright soul, ever-bright scripture. According to tropes, there must be some connection between the two. Start practicing. Then he hurriedly calmed his mind, first trying the breathing method written on the first few pages. Instantly, he felt comfortable all over, as if purified inside his body. Breathing felt like bathing in a cool forest. Ears clear and eyes bright. Senses became sharper. This true scripture fit him abnormally well, as if written specifically for him. He immediately decided to ask Master to see what background this ever-bright true person had, and find a chance to learn from him. After coming before Yubo, he immediately asked, "Do you know ever-bright true person?" This question surprised Yubo. "You kid actually know of a peerless mighty figure from such a distant era?" Ever-bright true person was a peerless mighty figure 1,000 years ago, said to be half-step to becoming a god. Pity he fought with the demon lord, and both fell. He couldn't help being surprised. Is the demon lord our cult leader from long ago? Did ever-bright true person lose the fight with our ancestor? Yubo shook his head. "We are the demon cult. Although outsiders call him the demon lord I speak of is the lord of the demon race." He hurriedly indicated he had never heard of the demon race. Yubo explained for him. The demon race suddenly disappeared after that great war. No one has seen them since. Ordinary people naturally don't know clearly. I also heard it from my master. Hard to distinguish true from false. But they are all legends. Too distant. No one can say clearly. And the system prompt suddenly sounded at this time. Young Master Yin learned one of the clues to the truth of the world. Triggered an odd encounter, gifting one odd encounter fragment. This surprised Yin greatly. Truth of the world? The demon race master spoke of is actually true? This development is a bit wrong. Then Yin hurriedly indicated he wanted to go back and continue practicing that nameless classic. After reading carefully, Yin became more and more confused. Was this book written by ever-bright true person? How could such a wonder book be in the demon cult? But when Yin saw the last page, his pupils suddenly shrank fiercely. Gift to 2 disciples. Wish you an early breakthrough. This made Yin even more confused. 2 disciples? Which 2? Meanwhile, Tower Master Shin was looking at the mirror in her hand, murmuring, what were they chatting about just now? Voices were so small, but a female voice suddenly came to interrupt her. Aren't you afraid of seeing what shouldn't be seen? Little Quebec. As soon as this was said, Tower Master Shin stood up awkwardly. Acting head manager, what wind blew you here? The Comer was surprisingly Fang Yin, currently the acting head manager of the demon cult. There is a spy in Joyous Tower, yet you, the Tower Master, are completely unaware. The cult leader asked me to ask you, do you still want to be the Tower Master? As soon as this was said, Tower Master Shin was instantly shocked. How could it be? A spy? Fang Yin instantly revealed a meaningful smile. Then you have to investigate properly yourself. The cult leader just came out of seclusion and is busy with many things. Don't make her worry. Tower Master Shin hurriedly prostrated on the ground. The subordinate will definitely investigate clearly to put the cult leader and acting head manager at ease. And Tianshui brought a group of people and found the place where Ding Ning was killed. He couldn't help but despise secretly, hiding the corpse carelessly, truly losing face for our 9 nether demon hall. Then he signaled everyone to dig open this pit. Seeing 3 people preparing to use their powers, he cracked instantly. Do you want to destroy the corpse and erase traces? Dig with shovels. Hearing this, the few people hurriedly found tools and began to dig vigorously in this pit. However, after digging down 5 meters, everyone did not see Ding Ning's corpse. They couldn't help suspecting a mistake, but Tianshui stated decisively that there was no mistake. I smelled junior sister Ding Ning's scent. Although very faint, it is definitely her. She has definitely been here. Just then, to investigate the internal spy, Tower Master Shin also arrived here. After pouring the liquid from the bottle, she spoke. Our Joyous Tower disciples cultivate the art of union. There are special components in their body fluids, which will react with the 10,000 emotions water refined by this seat. If Ding Ning is really here, there will inevitably be a reaction. As soon as the voice fell, a cloud of purple mist suddenly rushed out from the ground, enveloping the surroundings. Meanwhile, Wu Xiaoyan was looking at the mirror murmuring, this kid is quite diligent in practicing kung fu. Just praised you. Why stop practicing? What is he doing sneakily? Seeing Ian suddenly open the door to a stone chamber, Wu Xiaoyan hurriedly switched screens to see what this kid Ian was planning to do. And Ian suddenly had a thought, planning to transmit Everbright True Chi to the Everbright Soul to see if there would be a reaction. Doing what he said, he began to pour all the Everbright True Chi he had just refined into the Everbright Soul. Next, a scene appearing that shocked Wu Xiaoyan extremely appeared. That Everbright Soul actually emitted a golden light and unexpectedly began to take root and sprout, growing into the shape of a tree. This made her feel it was unbelievable. I spent 1,000 years using the 9 nether soul devouring scripture to seize countless souls and spiritual power power, and couldn't make the ever-bright soul form a soul. He succeeded after only practicing for a few days. However, before she walked far, a familiar severe pain came from her heart again. At this time, Ian was very annoyed. Those outside who don't know Everbright True Chi can't do anything even if they get the Everbright Soul, and can't figure out how to use this magic tool at all. No, Atal's appraisal said fake mixed with real is the credibility at most half, but at this moment, a figure suddenly broke in, signaling Yubo not to enter the room. The Comer was surprisingly Wu Xian having an attack. As soon as she entered, she pounced directly on Ian, ignoring Ian's nonsense, directly indicating she had no time to explain. Seeing Wu Xian gradually becoming crazy, Ian hurriedly indicated he didn't bring many clothes. Wu Xian also sat directly on his body, then revealed an extremely painful expression, signaling Ian to hurry up and help her alleviate the toxins on her body. Listening to the endless sounds, the old master had to cover his face helplessly. Unexpectedly, the stonehouse door was kicked open. It turned out Tower Master Shin had found the murderer through secret arts. Everyone was aggressive. Now that the evidence was conclusive, the next step was to execute the murderer on the spot. Tower Master Shin entered and went straight for the room where Ian was. Surnamed he, come out for me. Today I must avenge my disciple. In the next second, Tower Master Shin's face became strange, because she saw the cult leader, who was said to be still in life or death seclusion, actually appeared in Ian's room and was staring at her with a cold face. She hurriedly closed the door as if she had seen a ghost. At this time, her brain was already overloaded. Did my eyes deceive me just now? The disciples underneath instantly had question marks all over their faces. Seeing the apprentices looking puzzled, wanting to know what happened exactly, Tower Master Shin hurriedly took a deep breath to calm her mind, then signaled them to move aside. Not a big problem, just a bit scary. Then she discovered Yubo squatting not far away, so she walked quickly to Yubo's side and squatted down. Why didn't you tell me the cult leader is also here? And how did the cult leader get together with Yun? Yubo instantly started making things up guiltily. How do I know? Maybe the cult leader was in seclusion too long, and then the first man she saw after coming out was him. So love at first sight, right? Then Tower Master Shin issued a soul interrogation again. How long have the two of them been dual cultivating? Yubo instantly blushed. Don't know. Anyway, this old man's legs are squatting numb. Why are you blushing? Doesn't your joyous tower dual cultivate from morning to night? Just then, a red light suddenly burst out of the door, disappearing into the stone chamber in the blink of an eye. The speed of this light was extremely fast, obviously wanting to avoid people's eyes and ears. The target of this figure was surprisingly the back mountain of the sect. Fan Yin, who had discussed with the cult leader, had already been waiting here with clothes for a long time. As soon as Wu Xian landed, she asked softly, cult leader wasn't discovered, right? Wu Xian nodded. Shinyeek ran into me in Eon's affair. She knows the technique I practice cannot easily lose virginity. Fan Yin immediately asked nervously, need subordinate to go manage it a bit? Wu Xian shook her head. Presumably she isn't stupid enough to spread it everywhere. But keep a tight watch on this kid Yun. Absolutely don't let him break away from my 9 nether demon hall. I'm going to see Xiaoshuang. Hearing this, Fan Yin's face changed drastically instantly. This matter absolutely must not be. 9 Heaven's Immortal Gate and my 9 nether demon hall do not interact until death. The subordinate won't let you go. You are injured now. Isn't this going to send yourself to death? Wu Xian helplessly broke free. Let go of me. Did I say stop touching me all day? Fan Yin hurriedly retreated several steps upon hearing this, afraid the cult leader would show her might. But Fan Yin still continued to persuade. Although Xiaoshuang is your biological sister, you haven't interacted for hundreds of years. Living to this age, I'm afraid there's no feeling left for blood relations. Wu Xian signaled her not to persuade anymore, and asked her to find an excuse to release Yun. She wanted to take him on the road. Fan Yin instantly looked jealous. Why take him? Taking me is fine too. Wu Xian was very speechless about this, grabbing her chin directly and asking back, do you have that function? Go quickly. Just do as this hall says. The flung away Fan Yin showed a flush of red. For the cult leader, I must strive to cultivate that function. After Wu Xian relieved the toxins in her body, she quickly left the stone chamber. But this made Ian feel somewhat strange. How did that female demon sneak into Mirror Terrace without being discovered? Could it be she isn't some senior sister, but an elder with extremely high status? But this status is a bit too high. This isn't a place one can enter casually. Just then, the stone chamber door was suddenly knocked. Although Yubo was puzzled why Ian was still hale and hearty, he still explained his purpose. Disciple, come out. Tower Master Shin came to question. Hearing this, Ian hurriedly leaped from the bed. He knew the other party must have found something to come find him. However, Ian didn't panic at all. Whoever questions provides evidence. Finding evidence counts as their ability. Just walking out the door, Ian saw Tower Master Shin and her apprentices already sitting in the main seats. Tianshui on the side was very angry seeing Ian. Don't think that you and the cult. Hearing the voice, Tower Master Shin hurriedly stopped him from saying the words cult leader. If a son is uneducated, it's the father's fault. Teaching apprentices to become talents is a teacher's duty. Must teach and educate people. Ian instantly felt very speechless hearing this. What is she saying? Only then did Tower Master Shin whisper solemnly, Tianshui, if you dare mention the cult leader again, I will crush your life roots on the spot. Understood? Seeing Tianshui took it in. Only then did Tower Master Shin speak slowly with a smiling face. That Ian, this seat has something to ask you. Although Ian was depressed that Tower Master Shin flipped her face faster than flipping a book, he still stayed calm. Tower Master, please ask. Unexpectedly, Tower Master Shin didn't mean to question. We found clues left by Ding Ning in the herb garden. Tianshui on the side suddenly chimed in fiercely. Speak quickly. Where's junior sister Ding now? But Ian said coldly, are you saying junior sister Ding was killed, or junior sister Ding is missing? What does the evidence produced now have to do with me? But Tianshui took up his long sword directly. No matter what she encountered, it definitely has to do with you. She went to investigate you before getting into trouble. Now there are clues in the herb garden too. You happen to have entry records those few days. How do you explain? But Ian asked back calmly, what do clues have to do with me? Even if I went to the herb garden, so what? Not a few people enter and exit daily. Why point at me specifically? I'm just just a kitchen servant, grew up in the cult since childhood. If I am a traitor, then what is my master? Yubo hurriedly chimed in to express. Ian was bought back by me when he was young, and has been taught by my side ever since, although not watched every moment. To say he is a traitor, unless he is a time management master. However, Tianshui was relentless. Master, it must be this kid. I dare to be certain. Look at him being so fearless, obviously prepared countermeasures long ago. If an ordinary person, they would have been scared to wet their pants long ago. His reaction is abnormal. However, Ian spread his hands. Better bring out irrefutable evidence before asking me. Yubo also hinted impatiently. Tower Master Shin, why don't you go ask acting head manager Fang Yin, see what advice she has. Tower Master Shin instantly understood, so she indicated today would be considered routine questioning. Tianshui, go back to cultivate with me. Tianshui wanted to say something, but seeing Shin Yi's severe expression, had to lower his head helplessly and respond, understood, master. Then Tower Master Shin came to the main hall and found the acting head manager. As soon as Fang Yin saw her, she ridiculed, little K, you better change your name to Missing Heart KXIN Yen in the future. Since you observed the matter between the cult leader and Yun, you should know that child is trustworthy. Still not releasing him? Are you going to disobey the cult leader's will? Tower Master Shin hurriedly lowered her head to explain. How dare the subordinate? But my apprentice Ding Ning. Fang Yin immediately scolded. Your apprentice was a spy planted by the Grand Void Firmament, lurking for many years. You were completely unaware. The cult leader and I personally investigated this matter. Evidence is conclusive. You don't need to ask more. Go back and reorganize Joyous Tower properly. Don't make the cult leader worry again. However, Tower Master Shin was still somewhat puzzled. The technique practiced by the cult leader requires maintaining virginity. But Fang Yin interrupted directly. Since you know, you should know how to act in the future. Little K, the woman the cult leader likes is an obedient one. Don't forget, not long ago, acting head manager Fang Yin issued instructions to release Ian to Tower Master Shin, so Yubo brought Ian back to the kitchen. However, Ian was somewhat confused. Master, are we released just like this? I have many more questions in my heart now. For example, who is the demoness treating me as a furnace? Why can she come and go freely in Mirror Terrace? Yubo hurriedly explained. This is the demon cult. Aren't there all kinds of strange people? And Xiaoyan patted Yubo's shoulder with satisfaction. Master, Ian, I'm packed. When do we hit the road? Yubo immediately smiled. Depart after eating lunch. Ian was very puzzled about this. What are we buying this time that requires Master to go out personally? Yubo just vaguely indicated it was naturally a big matter. He naturally wouldn't tell Ian that they were going to kick down the gate of the #1 Orthodox sect, Nine Heavens Immortal Gate. However, Ian only cared about who paid the travel expenses. Yubo directly took out a money bag. The acting head manager gave us a lot of coins. Spend freely. Ian instantly got excited. I decided to love the acting head manager starting today. Hearing this, Xiaoyan's face sank instantly, grabbing the door frame tightly. Instantly, the door frame let out a crack. Seeing Ian look over, Xiaoyan hurriedly covered the door frame damaged by herself. Seeing this, Yubo hurriedly smoothed things over. Estimate it's the chicken outside making noise. Seeing Ian was fooled, only then did Xiaoyan breathe a sigh of relief. The three quickly left the station and arrived at a small town at the foot of the mountain. Seeing it getting dark, Xiaoyan asked, where do we stay tonight? Yubo understood instantly. Going out on business, naturally stay as luxuriously as possible, eat as deliciously as possible. Hearing it wasn't sleeping in the wind and eating dew, Xiaoyan breathed a sigh of relief secretly. Good, good. This seat is at ease. This generous style made Ian very impatient. Next time I want to follow Master out to eat spicy and drink hot again. Subsequently, the three ate and drank gluttonously in the restaurant on the first floor. After eating and drinking enough, Ian returned to his room. Touching his bulging belly, Ian immediately decided to have a big sleep. On Xiaoyan's side, after returning to the room, symptoms of retching suddenly appeared. Just then, Fang Yin suddenly broke in through the window. I am here. Xiaoyan was instantly speechless. Where did you pop out from? Fang Yin hurriedly knelt down to explain respectfully. Subordinate followed secretly all the way to protect the cult leader's safety. Cult leader, are you pregnant? Xiaoyan was instantly speechless. Pregnant with what? Don't gasp when speaking. It's the second stage of the poison acting up. Where's the joy? Ian wants this seat to be pregnant. He still has to work harder. Just then, Ian's wailing suddenly came from outside, interrupting the two's conversation. Xiaoyan speculated, it's Ian. Mostly likely my nausea and bodily weakness just now caused the goo worm I planted in him to be restless. I'll go take a look. Fang Yin hurriedly dissuaded. Once that goo flares up, the person loses reason, in case he forces you. Xiaoyan was very helpless about this. Hurry up and scrub that bit of color from your brain clean. You return to the cult to preside immediately, and incidentally spread news to the outside that the ever-bright soul has been taken out of the Nine Nether Demon Hall. Fang Yin turned to say goodbye without hesitation. Cult leader, rest assured, you must be careful with everything. Seeing Fang Yin had a door but refused to walk, insisting on climbing the window, Xiaoyan was instantly speechless. What wind blew in my brain back then to pick up this silly girl? Unexpectedly, just as Xiaoyan went out, Yubo hurriedly reminded, I heard my apprentice shouting in pain. Xiaoyan immediately signaled, none of your business. Go to sleep. Then she knocked on Ian's door. What's wrong with you? I came to see you. After speaking, Xiaoyan opened the door, then quickly darted in and closed the door. Seeing this, Ian hurriedly gritted his teeth and spoke, don't come in. Back out quickly. I'm about to lose control. Helpless, Ian hurriedly turned to cover his shame. You go out quickly. My situation is very wrong right now. Seeing Xiaoyan wanting to approach him, Ian hurriedly shouted to stop. Seeing Xiaoyan's puzzled face, Ian had to explain helplessly, little Wushan, might as well tell you, I was planted with a goo worm by a demoness. Now this goo worm is restless in my body. My mind is full of nothing but dual cultivation right now. In order to see if Ian could suppress the desire, Xiaoyan said coquettishly, you saved me back then. Actually, I can promise myself to you. But Ian reprimanded directly, I only treat you as a sister. Don't talk nonsense. Besides, my body has been seized by that demoness. I belong to her for this life. You go out quickly. Once the goo worm calms down, I'll return to normal. Hearing this, Xiaoyan secretly rejoiced instantly. What, this seats person knows how to bestow titles on himself. himself, but Ian was cursing secretly in his heart at this time. Damn demoness, causing me to be like a monk. Next time on sale, must make her cry under me until she can't speak. Seeing me holding the pillar and wailing constantly, Cheyenne felt soft-hearted looking at it, immediately pinched her fingers to chant spells, and began to control the goo worm in Ian's body. The originally restless goo worm then gradually calmed down. In just a moment, Ian regained his sanity. Instantly, he jumped down from the bed fiercely, somewhat incredulous. The goo worm suddenly quieted down. Cheyenne immediately joked, "Then does brother Ian still want to dual cultivate?" Ian couldn't help blushing. "You are a little girl. Don't keep hanging this kind of word on your lips all day. I was just babbling nonsense because I lost my reason just now. Besides, a lone man and widow in one room is bad for your reputation. You have to marry in the future. Be mindful of this kind of thing. Wait a few years. Brother will find you a good husband's family." Hearing this, Cheyenne immediately cursed in her heart. "Still want to marry this seat to someone else? Hateful." Instantly, Cheyenne felt somewhat exasperated, then puffed up and walked directly out of the door. Seeing Cheyenne's appearance, Ian couldn't help muttering secretly, "Why suddenly angry? What exactly is she angry about?" And after returning to her room, Cheyenne cursed Ian for being annoying immediately. "Stinky brat. Even if he didn't recognize this seat, he can't say he'll marry this seat to someone else." In vain I had a moment of thinking about starting something with him. Just then, Cheyenne suddenly found her condition was a bit wrong. This drunk spring breeze second stage was surprisingly so fierce, first making one vomit and weak, then invading the body with lust, making one hard to control oneself. Subsequently, Cheyenne's body reverted to the demoness form again. The double torture of body and spirit made her very painful. If Ian were by this seat's side right now, why would I suffer like this? Then Cheyenne's gaze stared closely at Ian through the wall. Immediately she hurriedly suppressed this thought with her hand. No, this is not a solution at all. However, relying only on herself now, she couldn't last even a second. Cheyenne felt extreme pain inside. Seeing she couldn't hold on by herself, even at the risk of exposing her identity, she had to go find Ian. Forcibly enduring would only cause power to drain. Doing what she said, Cheyenne quickly touched her way to Ian's room, and even specially changed into the thin gauze she wore when seeing him last time. After closing the door, swaying her affectionate and graceful body, she called Ian's name softly. Cheyenne's appearance immediately startled Ian. "You actually followed me down the mountain?" After a night of bitter struggle, he found that the probability of obtaining fragments from exercising with that woman was the highest. Being able to go out this time, there should be new fragments soon. Even better, after finishing, he got more than 10,000 spiritual power beads back. Truly a huge profit. And Yubo took the opportunity to ask Cheyenne if she saw Ian to detoxify again last night. Seeing Cheyenne admit, Yubo hurriedly reminded in a low voice, "The 9 nether soul-devouring scripture you practice. Can't do it like this, right?" Cheyenne indicated she had no choice either. Forcibly enduring only makes power drain faster. Must find the antidote as soon as possible. Now my cultivation technique is damaged and irreversible. Can only make up for it as much as possible. I cultivate more than this one path. No need to worry blindly. Hearing this, Yubo hurriedly bowed and complimented, truly worthy of being the cult leader. But seeing Master and Cheyenne sticking so close, Ian instantly cursed in his heart. This old man wouldn't be thinking of hitting on little Wushan, right? So Ian hurriedly stepped forward to squeeze Master away. "Master, quickly look at what this paragraph says." "I practiced a few moves according to it but felt nothing." Yubo immediately said grumpily, "Don't read while walking. Careful of ruining your eyes." Ian hurriedly glossed over, "I study hungrily and thirstily. Aren't you happy? When I become famous in the world upon success, word gets out it's also your good teaching." Hearing this, Cheyenne suddenly interrupted, "Brother Ian, be careful of becoming a martial idiot. That kind of person is boring." Ian couldn't help muttering secretly, "Is she still angry? What exactly is she angry about?" And Yubo, catching a glimpse of the secret manual in Ian's hand, immediately said grumpily, "Did the acting head manager give you this? You aren't suitable to practice this book right now. Switch to the other red-covered one." Ian hurriedly put away the manual and asked, "By the way, didn't purchase supplies in town yesterday. Where are we going to buy things?" Upon learning they were going to Sky Continent, Ian instantly despaired. That place is all orthodox sects, like Songsan, packed densely with martial arts schools. "If we demon cult people go, can we return?" Yubo replied without looking back, "They are all orthodox sects. So what? We are a demon cult, not evil cultivators. The difference is huge." Ian, as an ignorant youth who hadn't left 10 miles of the 9 Nether Demon Hall since transmigration, didn't know the difference at all. Cheyenne had to explain for him. 9 Nether Demon Hall belongs to the demon cult, but not an evil cult. Orthodox sects and demon cults, like Taoism and Buddhism, each have their cultivation and rules, but different does not mean opposing. Everyone on the continent knows this. This made Ian even more confused. "Then are the goods for our cooking only available in Sky Continent?" Yubo hurriedly made it up. "Good apprentice. That stuff is indeed only available in Sky Continent. Wait until the relay station to change to a carriage. We can reach Sky Continent in about 10 days. Hurry up and travel." Then the three began a long journey, but Yubo maintained his identity on the surface, teaching Ian various basic moves, while secretly afraid of saying something wrong and angering this Tsundere cult leader. But after traveling for several days and nights, the three finally arrived at the main city of Sky Continent, Tianluo City. This was also Ian's first time seeing a true city. The impact brought by a first-tier city made him scream repeatedly. Then Ian secretly decided, "I will write my resume beautifully, submit it to the great Orthodox sect 9 Heaven's Immortal Gate, and land securely for this life." Cheyenne saw through his thoughts at a glance. This kid wouldn't be still thinking about joining the Orthodox sects, right? "Anyway, I have leverage over you. You killed Ding Ning. You have no road to take. Serving this seat well is the real landing." And Ian asked impatiently, "We have arrived. What exactly are we buying?" Yubo subconsciously asked Cheyenne, "What are we buying?" Cheyenne immediately transmitted her voice angrily, "You kid dare to joke with this seat? Hurry up and find an excuse to fool him." Yubo hurriedly spoke seriously to explain, "The thing we want to buy is at 9 Heaven's Immortal Gate." Ian didn't expect to step into the Orthodox sect he dreamed of so soon, so he secretly decided to take little Wushan with with him to the Orthodox sect, but they would never have imagined that a figure appeared around the corner. It was Tianshui, sent by Wu Xiaoshuang to go undercover in the demon hall. A sneer floated on the corner of his mouth. Yun, if you die in Tianluo City, no one will suspect me. And Yubo turned left and right all the way, familiarly arriving in front of a small courtyard, then took out a key and opened the main door directly. As soon as the main door opened, Yun revealed a look of surprise. Although this courtyard was remote, it was exceptionally clean and tidy inside, but clearly no one had lived there for a long time. And Cheyenne suddenly transmitted her voice to Yubo. Thought you sold this. Looks like you still haven't moved on. Yubo immediately turned away awkwardly, indicating he had moved on long ago. Cheyenne teased. Heartless hand produces a heartless person. I actually never saw it. On the contrary, seeing Master facing Cheyenne with a blushing face again, Ian couldn't help gritting his teeth and cursing in his heart. This old man wouldn't be having inappropriate thoughts about a little girl again, right? Dangerous, really dangerous. So Ian hurriedly called Yubo, hearing the apprentice call him over. The old man was just worrying about having no reason to stay away from Cheyenne, and Ian hurriedly raised his hand to ask, can I live in this room? Then Ian secretly decided to keep a close eye on this old man during this period. It would be terrible if he really did something bad to little Wushan. After all, he had a responsibility towards little Wushan. But Cheyenne ignored the two and spoke to herself. Then I choose this room. Is that okay? Seeing the cult leader chose the room next to Yun, Yubo immediately turned around sensibly. Quite a few rooms. Suit yourselves. I'll go back to my room to clean up. Don't know how much dust has accumulated. Although Yubo said so, after walking to the corner, he still couldn't help eavesdropping on the two's conversation from the dark, and Yun indeed called out to stop Cheyenne, who was preparing to enter the room, then spoke somewhat awkwardly. Little Wushan, I have something to ask you. That does Master have? Speaking of this, Ian couldn't help covering his mouth in embarrassment, and Cheyenne asked very confusedly, have what towards me? What do you mean? Hearing this, Ian immediately leaned into Cheyenne's ear and whispered, just having that kind of improper thought about you. If so, you must tell me. I will protect you with all my strength. Although he is my master, I can't watch you be subject to unspoken rules. These nonsensical words made Cheyenne very confused. What are you talking about? What unspoken rules? Ian patted his chest righteously. That's not important. Anyway, with me here, I will definitely find you a good husband's family, letting you marry out gloriously. Look, this is the dowry money brother saved for you. Hearing this, Cheyenne immediately glanced at Ian with disdain. This idiot wants to marry me off again. Then Cheyenne was so angry she slammed the door fiercely. Seeing Ian's dumbfounded expression, Yubo was very helpless. This kid's emotional intelligence is unparalleled. Immediately, Yubo revealed an expression of great interest, but seeing the cult leader's reaction, could it be she really took a fancy to this kid? How does the old saying go? What's this called? Old clam producing a pearl? Old tree blooming? Impossible. Impossible. Although the cult leader didn't cultivate the heartless Tao, her heart is ruthless enough. In the next second, Yubo suddenly felt an icy chill coming from behind. The coma was surprisingly Cheyenne. Yubo was instantly scared. Didn't you go back to your room? Cheyenne said deeply. Why don't you make your murmuring voice a bit louder? Let me hear more clearly. Yubo, this seat should have let you die in the wild back then. How old were you then? 5 or 6? Little kids' meat is tender. Wild dogs definitely love to eat it. Brought you back, taught you martial arts, gave you food and drink, taught you until you gossip behind his seat's back. Now Yubo panicked completely. I really know I was wrong. In the future, I will definitely say nothing. Keep my mouth shut tight. And Cheyenne dragged the old man into the room to teach him a lesson and set up a barrier to prevent Ian from hearing the movement. Conversely, Ian on this side was concentrating on gathering spiritual power, then emitting a gentle breeze to blow away the accumulated dust in the room. Subsequently, Ian nimbly made the bed. He always felt that coming to Tianluo City would collect many spiritual power beads and trigger many odd encounters, so he decided to rest a while before going out for a stroll. Having transmigrated for so long, he hadn't really left the territory of Nine Nether Demon Hall much. Unbeknownst to him, a person suddenly appeared on his roof and quietly lifted a tile. The coma was surprisingly Tianshui, who wanted to avenge Ding Ning. Then he gently blew away the powder in his hand. This powder was surprisingly the most evil Joyous Powder in Joyous Tower. After finishing, Tianshui covered the tile. Wait a moment and you will become poisoned and unable to control yourself. And Joyous Powder evaporates extremely fast, leaving no trace. If nowhere to vent the fire, you will explode and die after one stick of incense. Junior sister Ding Ning, I finally avenged you. However, Ian was unaware and was lying on the bed resting, but when his nose sniffed, the goo worm reared in his body suddenly produced excited movements. Instantly, Ian got up somewhat excitedly. What smell? So good? And Tianshui, detecting movement from Ian, hurriedly lifted the tile. There's movement, must have started. But after taking a peek, he felt something was wrong. Not right. Shouldn't be this reaction. He saw Ian walking left and right in the room with a face full of excitement, hands constantly waving in midair. It turned out Ian was constantly looting spiritual power beads that appear out of thin air, but he didn't know why so many suddenly appeared. How come an odd encounter triggered inexplicably? I just lay down. Didn't do anything. First the goo worm woke up, then smelled fragrance, closely followed by spiritual power beads appearing out of thin air. Feeling something was wrong, Ian immediately looked up at the roof. Seeing Ian was alert, Tianshui hurriedly covered the tile, then hurriedly turned and ran, afraid of being discovered by Ian. Hearing footsteps suddenly coming from the roof, Ian realized there must be a problem, and Tianshui didn't stop until speeding for a long time, but his face was already ugly to the extreme. Damn it, how could it be? He actually had no reaction to Joyous Powder. Then he suddenly heard footsteps coming from beside him. In anger, he directly took up his long sword and chopped over, but the man blocked it easily with a folding fan. Junior brother Tianshui, see clearly who it is. It's me. Only then did Tianshui calm down. Senior brother Baichen, so it's you. Didn't expect you came to Tianluo City too. Baichen smiled. Not only you are thinking of Ding Ning, seeing you leave the sect, fearing you would be impulsive, I followed all the way. Junior brother, you just went to where Ian lives. How is it? Tianshui shook his head immediately, wanted to use Joyous Powder to finish him off without a sound, but that kid is a bit weird, not affected at all, unless he practiced practiced our Joyous Tower's techniques. Otherwise one simply cannot resist the drug power of Joyous Powder. Bai Chen didn't seem surprised about this. I see Master treats that cooking you both differently. Afraid he has another origin. If attacking secretly might arouse suspicion instead. No plan for now. Stare for a few more days. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be defeated. To finish him off might not be better the more hidden it is. My high opinion is to be high profile, since we are out of the demon cult. Also, don't neglect Kung Fu. There's a brothel ahead with a good reputation. How about it? Let's go look. Meanwhile, after Ian finished tidying up the spiritual power beads in the room, he walked out and knocked on Yubo's door. I have some confusion, but Yubo asked doubtfully with a drooping face. Confused about what? What's wrong? Why are you staring at my face? Just got dirty cleaning up. After speaking, Yubo couldn't help roasting secretly in his heart. Blame the cult leader. Taste is too unique. But Ian pulled his hand directly and turned. I think there's a problem with my room. Come with me to look. One stick of incense ago, a particularly good smell suddenly wafted in, but now can't smell it. Your sense of smell is sensitive. Can you distinguish it? However, after sniffing carefully, Yubo shook his head. No smell. And Cheyenne also slowly opened the door at this time. Even separated by this distance, she sniffed out the mystery within. Of course there's still a smell. It's Joyous Powder. Little K shouldn't have been picked up back then. Can't even manage an apprentice well. Then Cheyenne knocked gently on the door. Yubo understood instantly. The cult leader means Ian indeed smelled fragrance. Don't know which fearless kid did it. Let out the bait first. See which fish will bite. Thinking of this, Yubo spoke. Ian, anyway there's not much to do these days. If you have time today, go stroll in the market. I'll investigate the fragrance matter in detail. With Master here, rest assured. Ian also felt it made sense, so he nodded. Just happened to plan to go out for a stroll too. Then trouble Master with everything. Strolling a bit in the city, Ian found the market scale was about the same as down the mountain from 9 Nether Demon Hall, but indeed livelier. After all, it's a big city. Suddenly, Ian was attracted by a very lively stall not far away. Seeing so many people surrounding it, he immediately stuck close curiously. Selling what? So hot? Driven by curiosity, Ian squeezed in unhesitatingly to find out. However, after looking carefully, he felt somewhat speechless. This guy sells mixed stuff, gods and Buddhists from all sects. Just then, a long-haired man suddenly asked, how much for that wooden guanine? The stall owner immediately picked up the guanine and quoted a price of 50 copper per found stones. The long-haired man nodded immediately. Price is okay. Wrap it up for me. By the way, has it been consecrated? The stall owner hurriedly packed while saying with certainty, the magic tools sold by my family have been consecrated by Master Ding Wang of Buddha Light Temple. If you don't believe, feel free to verify. Ian on the side was thoroughly shocked by this transaction. Just this thing is worth 50? Are you people in Tianluo City so rich? Then Ian secretly turned on the know-it-all talent, preparing to check what was the most valuable and best-selling item on the stall. Soon the system found Good Luck Charm as the easiest item to sell. Production method: 5 livestock blood, yellow paper, Good Luck Charm, and young Master Yun's blessing. Pasting at the head of the bed can increase luck value. Sales price of Good Luck Charm is 200 copper per found stones. Seeing the materials and production process were so simple, Ian felt this thing was simply an IQ tax. But feeling getting rich was right before his eyes. He had to earn this IQ tax. Doing what he said. By evening, Ian returned to the residence with a pile of materials. Seeing this, Cheyenne couldn't help asking curiously, Brother Ian, what did you buy these for? Are you planning to make Mao Shui Wang, spicy blood stew, tonight buying so much blood? But what are these yellow papers for? Ian said seriously, no, not for eating. I plan to write some charms to sell for money. Hearing this, Yubo watching the fun on the side also couldn't help being curious. Do you know how? Ian nodded. Learned a trick. Went to the market today and found this stuff ridiculously expensive, yet quite a few people buy it. Don't know what people in Tianluo City are thinking. Saying that, Ian arranged the materials and began to write charms seriously according to the production method stated by the system. He first dipped the brush gently in some blood, then wrote quickly on the yellow paper. Soon a good luck charm was written. Being so smooth made Ian unable to help snickering secretly. This charm actually glows. The little trick learned from know-it-all won't really have a buff, right? Premonition, I can make a windfall. And hearing Ian was making charms to set up a stall for money, Cheyenne looked helplessly at old you on the spot. Then she could only shake her head helplessly and sigh in her heart. Stinky brat. So short of money? Next time seeing my main body just ask. It's not like I won't give. Rather than working hard setting up a stall, better settle down and be this seat's furnace. Yubo was somewhat confused. I haven't starved him or made him suffer. Why so anxious to make money? Cheyenne said helplessly. Wants to save money and run to defect to the orthodox sects. This made Yubo even more confused. This kid grew up in the demon cult. How could he have such crooked thoughts? Although Cheyenne said she didn't know with her mouth, she understood in her heart. Wants to marry me out and wants to defect to the orthodox sects. Looks like the discipline isn't enough. If I turn back to my main body now, definitely must educate him properly. Then Cheyenne blushed again. I'm actually expecting drunk spring breeze to flare up in my heart. Suddenly feeling bored, Cheyenne stood up. Sleepy. Good night. I'm going to sleep. Continue tomorrow. Saying that, Cheyenne returned directly to her room. Seeing Cheyenne close the door lonely, Yubo looked at Ian who was passionately writing charms, then spoke somewhat helplessly. Ian, Master is also going back to the room. After Ian consumed all those materials, looking at the good luck charms filling the space, he felt he could absolutely get rich this time. Early the next morning, Ian went out early to set up the stall. He knew he couldn't lay out too much stock at the start, or the price would drop. Had to be good at using hunger marketing, and his stall soon attracted the attention of passers-by. Mother, look quick. Look if that charm is glowing. It was also the first time the woman saw a glowing good luck charm. Couldn't help rubbing her eyes. After confirming, she found these charms were actually glowing, so she couldn't help asking, Sir, were your charms consecrated by a master? Ian opened his mouth and it came. These charms were sought from the abbot of Fabian Temple in Yinchuan Continent. Hearing this, the woman unhesitatingly expressed she wanted to buy one to see. And Tianjue, silently watching this scene, whispered, this Ian is truly full of lies. Clearly never been to Yinchuan, speaking nonsense without even blushing. flushing. This person is hateful, full of lies. Keeping him will only add a disaster to the 9-nether demon hall. Squinty-eyed senior brother suddenly tapped his folding fan and spoke slowly. Junior brother Tianshui, I have an idea. Bai Chen directly stated his scheme. To make a person perish, one must first make him mad. Tianshui understood instantly. Understood, senior brother. Let him swindle and bluff here. The more he cheats, the better. Bai Chen nodded immediately. Junior brother is intelligent, understanding immediately with just a hint. In a few days, you and I will add fuel to the flames, and we will surely see results. Tianshui decisively praised his senior brother. What a great move of murdering with a borrowed knife. Senior brother is brilliant. Then the two looked at each other and smiled, then turned directly and walked towards the brothel not far away. After a few days, Ian indeed made a windfall by selling charms, earning a full 10,000 plus copper profound stones, more than he had saved in over 10 years at the 9-nether demon hall. If I can stay in Tianluo City, I will achieve a well-off life sooner or later. In a great mood, Ian immediately threw his harvest onto the pushcart, preparing to return to his residence to rest. Unexpectedly, an old woman suddenly rushed out and shouted at him, "Don't you leave. Stand still. Everyone come quickly. This person wants to ruin my family. Everyone look. He is a scourge." Ian was very confused about this. "Elder, did you mistake me for someone else? I don't know you at all." Hearing this, the old woman exploded instantly. "It's exactly that evil charm you sold causing trouble. What good luck charm? It's clearly for harming people. It must be a charm cursed by an evil god." Just then, the young woman who bought a charm not long ago also rushed over hurriedly and shouted that someone had died. She cried as she walked, looking extremely anxious. She hurriedly grabbed Hyun's cart and shouted hoarsely, "You killed my son. It was after buying your charm that my son lost his appetite and finally starved to death. Give me back my son's life." Seeing the woman crying so pitifully on the ground, Hyun felt increasingly helpless. "Big sister, I really don't understand what happened. My charms cannot harm people." Seeing Hyun being scolded by the crowd and being surrounded while unable to defend himself, Tianshui's group, in contrast, looked calm and composed. This scene made Tianshui very satisfied. Public clamor can melt metals. It is hard to explain even with 100 mouths. Simply wonderful to watch. Bai Chen also couldn't help chuckling. Now that a life has indeed been lost, let's see how he escapes. Tianshui praised immediately. "Senior brother has brilliant moves. I bow to your superiority." Although Hyun was tightly grabbed by the two people, he was certain that his charms would absolutely not harm people. Finding himself already surrounded by passersby, he hurriedly forced himself to calm down. He soon guessed that someone must be framing him, but who exactly was that person? Seeing things getting out of hand, Yubo indicated he would take a look. Unexpectedly, he was stopped by Cheyenne. "No rush. Let's see how he handles it himself. Treat it as a training experience to hone his character." Then Cheyenne nodded in satisfaction, calmed down very quickly. "Not bad." And Ian spoke very decisively. "You too. If there is a problem with my charms, I am willing to bear full responsibility, even if I have to pay with my life. But I believe they only bring good luck and will never harm people." The young woman was still relentless. "My son is dead. No matter how nice your words are, they are just words for self-preservation." Seeing that communication was impossible, Ian spoke immediately. "Then let us go report to the officials. Let the government investigate. I am also very pained by what happened to your son, but this was absolutely not my doing." Then he turned to look at the old woman. "What is the situation with your family? Can you take me to see? If you are not at ease, then let the officials escort me to take a look. You should be at ease this way, right?" And seeing Hyun's handling was so composed, Bai Chen couldn't help frowning and pondering secretly. "This Hyun is too composed. I believe more and more that the ever-bright soul is related to this person. Maybe it is really on him. The sudden release of the news may not be a coincidence. What exactly is his background?" And seeing the two women looking blank, Hyun couldn't help sighing lightly. Then he cupped his hands to the onlookers. "Excuse me, who can report to the officials for me?" And Cheyenne suddenly asked Yubo, "You went to the Nine Heavens Immortal Gate this morning. How was it? Did you see my sister Shashuan?" Yubo shook his head. "Sec Master Wu has left Sky Continent. I heard she won't be back until next month." Hearing this, Cheyenne curled her lips immediately. "She leaves as soon as I arrive. What a coincidence. Fine then. Then let's stay in Tianluo City for a while." Yubo asked somewhat curiously. "Then how should Hyun's matter be handled?" Cheyenne instantly revealed a playful smile. "Just let him go report to the officials," as he said. Yubo scratched his head and said helplessly, "You should know what reporting to the officials in Tianluo City means, right?" Cheyenne chuckled immediately. "It means arresting everyone first. Look at his innocent people are clear attitude. He really is just a child." Hearing this, Yubo couldn't help muttering, knowing clearly he is a child. After Hyun was arrested and imprisoned, Yubo and Cheyenne then came to the dungeon. The jailer knocked fiercely on the cage directly. "Ticket, your family came to see you. Hyun, trial in the afternoon. Be mindful." Hearing the voice, Hyun looked leisurely outside the cage. Seeing the comers were Yubo and Cheyenne, he perked up instantly, and Yubo joked, "Good apprentice. How did you make a fortune all the way into the dungeon?" Hyun's face turned black instantly. "Master, don't laugh at me. I was mostly likely pitted by someone." Yubo grinned. "Want me to give you a hint?" Hearing this, Hyun got excited instantly. "Do you have clues?" Yubo nodded. "A few days ago, you said a fragrance suddenly wafted in the room." Speaking of this, he couldn't help stealing a glance at Cheyenne's face, then continued, "That smell should be Joyous Tower's joyous powder. Logically, if one doesn't vent fire within a stick of incense after smelling it, one will explode and die. Perhaps that demoness who took you did something to you, allowing you to escape a calamity." Hyun understood instantly. "Must be the goo worm the demoness put in my body helped me neutralize the poison." So he secretly decided to repay that demoness doubly next time. Only then did Yubo ask, "Trial in the afternoon. Can you cope?" Hyun said somewhat seriously, "Can still hold on for now. Depends on the situation. If really not working, master don't abandon me." Yubo didn't want his legs broken by the cult leader, hurriedly signaling, "Rest assured, we are watching outside." With Yubo's guarantee, Hyun's suspended heart finally dropped. Master really treats me with nothing to say. One stick of incense later, it was trial time. Hyun was brought to the court by a group of soldiers. After Hyun entered the hall, the judge asked directly, "Which side do you want to check check first. Ian thought briefly, then stated straightforwardly to check the child first. After speaking, the judge walked to the young woman's side, whispered a few sentences, then turned to signal outside the hall, "Come here." Then a board covered with white cloth was carried in. Hyun's face instantly became complex. He couldn't help gritting his teeth and cursing. To frame me, actually using a child. Truly unforgivable. After lifting that layer of white cloth, he indecisively activated the know-it-all talent, querying the cause of illness for this child and the unconscious family in the opposite wing. Result: small child suffered silver needle entering the brain, inducing anorexia, leading to death by malnutrition. Same for others, but due to stronger constitution temporarily survived. Removing silver needles ASAP can save them. Having obtained the intelligence, Ian immediately raised his hand indicating he had a discovery, then pointed at the child's forehead. "Look, there seems to be a foreign object on his head." After confirming, the judge's face changed instantly. "Someone, go invite the coroner." After the coroner's careful examination, he soon extracted an extremely thin silver needle. The appearance of this silver needle shocked everyone. Ian thought secretly, Joyous Tower is most skilled at using silver needles to hit acupoints to control people, changing appetite and lust. Master said the fragrance was joyous powder. This needle also mostly comes from Joyous Tower. Sure enough, someone wants me dead. Is it still because of Ding Nang? My personal feud actually implicated innocent people. Thinking of this, Ian hurriedly reminded, the family in the opposite wing is also extremely likely to have been needled. Summon doctors and coroners for consultation quickly. Meanwhile, outside the court, Yubo and Xiaoyan were waiting quietly. A long time later, Xiaoyan stood up and ordered, "You go investigate which brainless person did it, and incidentally write a letter to little K. Tell her to cause me less trouble. Think I don't have enough trouble?" Hearing this, Yubo hurriedly cupped his fists respectfully. Understood. But Xiaoyan suddenly felt strong dizziness coming from her head. Then she hurriedly flew away from this place, saying without looking back, "You investigate the case. I'll go recuperate. See you later." Seeing this, Yubo was slightly excited. Is drunk Spring Breeze acting up? You wouldn't be thinking of. In the prison, this strong visual sense made Yubo unable to resist the urge to observe. The judge was surprised. Such a hidden method. You discovered it quite fast. Ian hurriedly cupped his hands and responded, "It is reasonable for my lord to still suspect me. This humble one knows a little medicine and identifies herbs. This method is easier for me to detect than ordinary people. If my lord doesn't believe, a check at the big market will clarify. This humble one has been selling goods these days, seen by people constantly. I had no time to commit the crime at all. Moreover, I am bent on money. Why would I harm customers, smash my own rice bowl, and jump into a fire pit beyond redemption? Contradictory. Makes no sense." As soon as this was said, the judge fell into thought. "Before the case is settled, still need to imprison you. Any objections?" Ian immediately indicated no objection. Everything at the lord's disposal. Subsequently, Ian was escorted back to jail by soldiers. After some thought, Ian roughly guessed the murderer, Joyous Tower. The one who hates me most now is that senior brother Tianshui of Ding Ning. Could it be he followed me to Tianluo City? Really idle. In the next instant, Ian suddenly felt a chill behind his back, accompanied by a wave of heat. So he turned quickly, seeing a cloud of black mist appear in the corner. Then Xiaoyan's hand reached out from the black mist, tapping the floor to signal Ian to come over. Hearing the sound, Ian's face changed instantly. Never expected to meet this fellow disciple here too. And Xiaoyan crawled out of the black mist somewhat impatiently, then spoke slowly. "Not coming over? Want me to take the initiative?" Ian was instantly speechless. "You come and go as you please in any place." Seeing Ian dilly-dallying there, Xiaoyan grabbed him instantly. "You have so much nonsense." Seeing this, Ian hurriedly shook his head crazily. "This place is really not suitable. I am still a guilty body. Do you want to add to my crimes?" Hearing this, Xiaoyan gradually calmed down, realizing this place was indeed not quite suitable. However, the toxin in her body made her extremely uncomfortable. She gritted her teeth. "But I am really uncomfortable now. I am poisoned. If detoxified, I definitely won't trouble you again." Xiaoyan's aggrieved tone, combined with that pitiful appearance, instantly melted Hyun's heart. He couldn't help cursing in his heart. Hateful demoness. This pitiful look is really heart-moving. So he whispered, "This place is not suitable for the full solution. I'll use my hands to give you emergency relief first. When I get out, I'll make it up to you." Hyun suddenly felt like he owed a debt. Xiaoyan urged constantly, "Cut the crap. What are you going to do? Hurry up. I've waited for you for a long time. Hurting all over now." These words made Hyun even more unhappy. "You really just treat me as a tool." Subsequently, Hyun stopped talking nonsense, reaching out directly to start working seriously with Hyun's magical hands. Only then did Xiaoyan gradually feel less pain. Soon Xiaoyan was immersed in Hyun's skillful technique, but when Hyun wanted to go a bit deeper to treat her, because it was too sudden, Xiaoyan couldn't hold back and let out a scream. Hyun hurriedly reached out to cover her mouth and said grumpily, "Don't make such loud noise. Prisoners and jailers are next door." Saying that, Hyun activated the know-it-all talent, wanting to query the most sensitive place on Xiaoyan's body and the easiest place to relieve drunk Spring Breeze. After query, the key point was the lumbar dimples. Waist eye pressing and rubbing could relieve briefly. Hyun smiled faintly. "Wait for me to give you a serious massage." Regarding this, Xiaoyan was very speechless. "What I need now is the relief art for drunk Spring Breeze, not a massage." But Hyun said toughly, "Anyway, just cover your mouth." Although not knowing what Hyun exactly wanted to do, Xiaoyan still hurriedly covered her mouth, then cooperated with Hyun to turn over and lie on the ground. But she still couldn't help roasting secretly. Didn't he say use hands? This movement, man's mouth, deceitful ghost. And Hyun attacked directly to start the massage, and told her to endure it. Then Hyun followed the method pointed out by Know-It-All, beginning to rub and massage repeatedly on Xiaoyan's waist. Moreover, the technique was extremely serious and seasoned. The toxicity of drunk Spring Breeze was also gradually suppressed. Xiaoyan was full of doubts at this time. He is actually really giving me a massage. Unbeknownst to them, the noise just now had attracted the jailer's attention. He seemed to hear a woman's voice, and quickly locked onto the source of the sound, wanting to go over to find out what was happening. This scared Xiaoyan badly. She hurriedly covered her mouth tight, trying her best to avoid making a single single sound. Then came the jailer's shout. What are you doing? Think this place is what? Make noise again and see if I don't deal with you. Cheyenne shuddered instantly. Hearing the sound, she subconsciously wanted to get up and run, but the numbness coming from her body next made her sink again, hurriedly gritting her teeth desperately not to let herself make a sound. Her eyes rolled back as she thought, how is it possible not to make a sound? Can't hold it. Tingly and numb. Fortunately, the jailer didn't discover their affair. The jailer's voice came again. Make noise again. I'll make you suffer the consequences. Even in jail, still gambling. Meanwhile, after Ian finished performing the technique, he leaned into Cheyenne's ear and joked. How was it? Relieved a bit, Cheyenne rolled her eyes at him immediately, asking what you already know. Hearing this, Ian grabbed Cheyenne up fiercely, then issued a soul interrogation again. When do you plan to tell me your true identity? You aren't from Joyous Tower, right? Nor 10,000 Insect Valley. Who exactly are you? Cheyenne didn't answer directly, instead revealing a playful smile and asking back. Who am I? Is it that important? Ian shook his head helplessly, then smiled faintly. Although indeed not important. You know me inside out, yet I know nothing about you. This is unfair. But Cheyenne suddenly stood up to tidy her clothes, then chuckled without looking back. Men don't cherish women obtained too easily. Guess my identity. After speaking, Cheyenne changed back to the high and mighty demoness posture again. Ian used up the know-it-all counts today, but he still couldn't help scaring. Coincidentally, I have a technique. Activating it will let me know who you are. Cheyenne didn't believe he had this ability at all. Then why don't you use it on me? However, Ian revealed an expression of having everything under control. Some questions are boring if you just copy the answer. Unexpectedly, Cheyenne slapped his hand away directly, then stood up disapprovingly. This question. Afraid you can't solve this question. See you next time. After speaking, Cheyenne glanced at Ian condescendingly, then turned into a cloud of pink smoke, whistling directly towards the window. Seeing this, Ian couldn't help sniffing his fingers and sighing. Humans are just such conflicted creatures, while suppressing the urge to use it, yet urgently wanting to know. But superimposed together, that's exciting. Then Ian stopped thinking, lay flat directly, and began to rest. Early the next morning, the court summoned Ian early. Verified Ian has no motive, no timing, soul charms verified. Ian, harmless, innocent. As soon as this was said, the two women broke down crying instantly. Who exactly wants to harm our whole family? Because what Joyous Tower did this time was too excessive, implicating ordinary people. Ian would absolutely not forgive them, so he promised, I will investigate this matter to the end, giving you an explanation. Then Ian left the court, then returned to the previous small hut. As soon as he entered, Ian shouted, Little Wushan, Master, I'm back. Master, since it's confirmed to be Joyous Powder, can't we let Joyous Tower punish the person who framed me severely? Doesn't our 9-nether demon hall prohibit harming fellow disciples? Yubo responded immediately upon hearing this. Of course can, just short of locking onto who did it. Ian gritted his teeth immediately. Then we must lure the snake out of the hole. They didn't succeed this time. They will definitely plan the next frame up. I can't sit and wait for death. Moreover, that mastermind isn't smart, only knows playing small tricks. I want that scumbag to pay the price for killing innocent people. After speaking, Ian felt something seemed missing. By the way, why haven't I seen little Wushan? And Yubo pointed to the room behind him. She's not feeling well, lying down right now. Meanwhile, Tianshui, learning Ian was released innocent, gnashed his teeth immediately. He escaped this easily? Where did the dog shit luck come from? Let those constables find the silver needle. That kind of fine needle, ordinary coroners wouldn't notice at all. Bai Chen on the side pondered for a moment, then tapped the table lightly to interrupt Tianshui's complaints, stating with a face of winning assurance that he had a new plan. Borrowing others' hands has too many variables, just like this time. Since we are all in Tianluo City, as long as Yubo is not around, you and I join hands to remove the roots directly. This place is where orthodox sects are entrenched. If a demon cult member dies, they would wish for nothing more. Sometimes being too cautious ruins things. A quick battle for a quick decision. Catch him off guard. Junior brother, what do you think? Although feeling what Bai Chen said made sense, Tianshui was still cautious. Senior brother, I still want an extra layer of insurance. Senior brother, don't act first. Openly, my conflict with him is greatest. You just need to be present as a witness. That I was forced to counterattack, accidentally killing a fellow disciple. Easy to explain afterwards. Hearing this, Bai Chen nodded repeatedly immediately. Junior brother Tianshui acts watertight. Brother truly admires. Seeing a consensus reached, Tianshui raised his cup immediately. Senior brother, a toast to you, to our immediate success. However, what Tianshui ignored was that a trace of imperceptible ruthlessness suddenly flashed in Bai Chen's eyes. Obviously, successfully fooling Tianshui to deal with, Ian satisfied him greatly. Meanwhile, learning Cheyenne was sick, Ian knocked on her door. Seeing no movement inside, Yubo explained she might have fallen asleep, but Cheyenne was still troubled by the toxicity of drunk spring breeze at this time, because although using techniques in the dungeon temporarily suppressed the toxicity, it could only relieve briefly. Didn't expect this kid to be released so soon. And Ian outside was somewhat helpless. Why do I feel little Wushan is always sick? Yubo interrupted grumpily. She's just sleeping, okay? Don't disturb her. Listening to the knocking sound constantly ringing outside, Cheyenne felt herself becoming more and more irritable. Grand Void Firmament's headquarters is in Tianluo City. Wait for me to recover a bit in 2 days. I won't spare them. So annoying. Stop knocking. I'm about to lose control. And Yubo, feeling the cult leader's state, secretly calculated how to send Ian in, but without making him suspicious. Half a while later, Ian turned around. Looks like little Wushan is indeed asleep. Then I won't disturb her first. Master, I'll go lie down a while too. Back hurts. Just then, Yubo suddenly had an idea. He picked up a head of garlic casually, then aimed at the back of Ian's head and threw it. Next, Ian let out an ouch, then lost consciousness directly. Yubo, prepared early on, steadied Ian with a flash, then murmured without guilt, good apprentice, wronged you. You are half my son. I am also half the cult leader's son. Son being filial to mother, only natural. Subsequently, Yubo thought about it, feeling the words he just said were contradictory and the relationship really messy, so he dragged Ian towards Cheyenne's room. Forget it, let's just count our own. Then he opened Cheyenne's door and threw Ian in directly. Unexpectedly, this throw happened to throw Ian onto Cheyenne's body. After finishing blushing, Yubo closed the door quickly and thought secretly, I am really filial to the cult leader, worthy of me. Time passed from early morning to dusk. It wasn't until approaching night that Hiyun was thrown out of the room by Cheyenne. He was still in a coma at this time, while Cheyenne, refreshed all over, finally regained her smile. Little Yubo, this seat is very satisfied with your performance today. Praised Yubo chuckled immediately. If you are happy, I am happy. Then Cheyenne ordered, this kid is indeed useful, can carry things even when comatose. Make some big fish and meat for him tonight. Put more 1,000-year ginseng in his soup. Call me when eating. I'll go rest a while. Really tired out. Seeing Cheyenne close the door, only then did Yubo roast secretly. From day to dusk, you aren't an ordinary person. This kid is even less an ordinary person. And Ian didn't wake up until night, but he felt uncomfortable all over. My back neck hurts so much, and my dantian feels a bit empty, feeling like being hollowed out. Was I in a coma? Yubo hurriedly explained. Seeing this, you were just wronged and jailed. Bad luck wrapped around your body. Also, they might have drugged you with something. The after effect was too strong, so you fainted. Waking up sore is normal, right, little Wushan? Cheyenne hurriedly echoed. Hearing this, brother Ian, drink quickly. This is specially brewed for you by master. Drink and you'll be lively as a dragon and tiger immediately. But Ian was very troubled. This soup smells bitter. Yubo was unhappy instantly. Good medicine tastes bitter. Cultivation requires medicine supplements besides exercise. Both approaches simultaneously to break through and advance. Now Ian couldn't say anything more, forcing himself to drink it down despite discomfort. Seeing this, Yubo and Cheyenne exchanged satisfied glances. Not until Ian was forced by the two to drink 8 bowls of ginseng soup to fill the deficit did Yubo return to his room cautiously, then complained somewhat helplessly. Cult leader, although you were poisoned by drunk spring breeze, you wanted too much. I took that kid's pulse while he slept soundly, slightly kidney deficient. Cheyenne raged on the spot immediately. Did I insist on wanting it? Just these few days I have to go to Grand Void Firmament to ask for an explanation. Daring to plot against me. Do they think because I was in seclusion and silent these years, they can ride on this seat's head? Seeing this, Yubo hurriedly persuaded, then go easy. Don't really exterminate the sect. Now orthodox sects are numerous, and they love forming alliances. Anyway, provoking public anger, our 9-nether demon hall won't handle it easily either. Cheyenne snorted coldly. If they obediently hand over the antidote pill for drunk spring breeze, this seat can consider giving them a way to live. Wu Xiaoshuang has been hiding from me. You go bring her back to Tianluo City for me. Hearing this, Yubo was helpless instantly. Sect Master Xiaoshuang isn't those trash of ordinary orthodox sects. She is your biological sister. You overestimate me. Unexpectedly, Cheyenne forcibly made him shut up directly. Beaten to death by me, and beaten to death by her. Pick one. Within 7 days, I want to see Wu Xiaoshuang. Otherwise, life better than death. Seeing Cheyenne got real, Yubo had to say resentfully, so fierce. Who dares to marry you in the future? However, Cheyenne smiled sinisterly, deliberately letting me hear you mutter, right? If no one marries me, I'll go chop that old lover of yours. Us living a lifetime of maternal kindness and filial piety is fine too. Now Yubo cracked completely. Master, isn't it just your sister? I'll bring her. Only then did Cheyenne touch Yubo's head with satisfaction. So obedient. This is the obedient little boy I picked up back then. Not until the next day when the sky was fully bright did Ian get up from bed, but he still felt his bones all over were falling apart. Back neck still painful. After looking around, Ian was puzzled instantly. Little Wushan, you got up so early? Where's Master? His old self. Cheyenne joked immediately. Brother Ian, the sun is 3 poles high. Not early. Master went out early. Said he went to purchase goods, taking several days to return. And Ian couldn't help yawning. I slept a whole morning. Why still a bit sleepy? Ian couldn't help roasting secretly. F***CK. Don't tell me it's because I was penetrated too much by that female demon, finally showing signs of yang deficiency. Clearly I was quite active after finishing those previous times. Could those times be terminal lucidity? Ian hurriedly threw this thought away, then pat things indicating he was going to set up the stall. However, facing Cheyenne's inquiry, he still indicated going to the street, just right to lure the snake out of the hole. Isn't someone trying to harm me now? To remove me? He even hesitated not to harm innocent people. This matter won't pass with me. He doesn't want me to live well. Then I'll force him out, making him not live well either. But when Cheyenne indicated she wanted to follow too, he indecisively refused. This won't do. In case it's really Joyous Tower people. But Cheyenne stuck close. Many hands make light work. I protect you. I can protect you. Don't you believe me? Ian could only smile helplessly at this. How can you, a powerless little girl, protect me? If you really want to go, fine. No matter what happens, you hide behind me. Saying that, he began to arrange the already written charms. Then the two came to the previous spot. Meanwhile, 2 figures were hiding around the corner watching the side. Tianshui despised. Truly a poor ghost. Just out of jail, not thinking of recuperating, still dare to come out and swagger through the market. Tianshui came to Ian's stall to retaliate, publicly saying he escaped after killing a fellow disciple. Seeing this, Ian asked back, Tianshui, you blindly pursue the truth for the traitor in the cult. Could it be you are also a traitor? However, Tianshui scoffed at this. Junior sister Ding Ning joined Joyous Tower for over 10 years. I know best what kind of person she was, and I am one of the disciples my master values most. If I am a traitor, then what is my master? Ian retorted immediately hearing this. I also said this paragraph. Why is it quibbling when I say it? Now Ian was certain Tianshui was the one framing him. I am accompanying my master to handle affairs in Tianluo City now. No time to babble with you. If you pick a quarrel because of Ding Ning, either go back and find the elders to judge. However, Tianshui was iron-hearted to pick a quarrel. He sneered directly. You, a demon cult person, who dares to buy your things? I insist on not letting you do business. Now Ian was thoroughly enraged. You mean you insist on going against me, right? Seeing Ian took the bait, Tianshui showed an even more beatable expression. Do you want to kill even me? Then Ian turned back to look at Cheyenne. Little Wushan, be a witness for me. I am forced to do this now. Cheyenne responded softly. Didn't expect this kid. Tianshui insisted on courting death. And Tianshui didn't put Ian in his eyes at all, drawing his sword first and shouting, Ian, you wanted to move first. Ian was indifferent. Fine. You said all the words. Seeing this, Cheyenne secretly decided, little K, settle with you and back. I have a pile of things to do, yet you can't even manage your own apprentice well, causing me trouble. Meanwhile, Tianshui couldn't wait to take up the long sword and kill towards Hiyun. He was obviously winning. Junior sister Ding Ning, I avenge you. Unexpectedly, Hiyun suddenly changed palm to claw. The speed was so fast Tianshui couldn't react at all, getting choked by Hiyun directly. As Hiyun's force increased, the weapon in Tianshui's hand fell immediately. He couldn't help looking incredible. How is this possible? He is clearly just a kitchen servant of the demon cult. Then Tianshui stared at Hiyun, gritting his teeth. You actually hid your strength. Sure enough, it was you. And Hiyun said very crisply, I give you two roads now. Either die, or go to the Yamen with me to explain clearly the matter of framing me. But Tianshui didn't panic at all. You dare kill me? Don't forget the cult rules. Cheyenne on the side was also very curious, wanting to know if Hiyun would finish Tianshui off. Unbeknownst to her, Hiyun was also a bit troubled now. With so many people watching, if he really broke his neck, it would really be hard to explain. Just then, people from the Yamen also arrived hearing the news, scolding Hiyun for what he was doing. Helpless, Hiyun had to let go, then looked down condescendingly. Your luck is good today, but next time, you won't have this good luck. The officer frowned immediately seeing Hiyun. You kid again. Hiyun hurriedly expressed awkwardly, just a little misunderstanding. That person overturned my stall. We had a little dispute. Then Hiyun discovered Tianshui actually sneaked away during this interval. The officer asked again, heard the reporter say you are a demon cult member. Hiyun hurriedly chuckled. May I ask which demon cult member has such big guts to run to a place where orthodox sects gather to set up a stall? Officer, what do you think? Seeing Hiyun fooled past, Cheyenne laughed secretly. Let Tianshui run just like this? Hiyun shook his head. He chased from 9 nether demon hall to here. Within a few days, gave me joyous powder, killed people to frame me, and just now deliberately targeted me with great fanfare. Estimate he will make a comeback soon. We soldiers block, water covers, deal with it as it comes. Moreover, even if he wants to do something, he isn't my opponent. Sister, don't be afraid. Cheyenne exclaimed immediately. Brother Hiyun, you are so amazing. And after sneaking away, Tianshui sneaked to an unmanned alley. He couldn't help feeling scared afterwards. That kid is actually so tough. I am already level 31 realm, yet clamped by him in a split second. What realm is he exactly? And what background does this Yubo have? Suddenly, Tianshui heard light footsteps coming from behind. Tianshui, shocked like a startled bird, then exhaled a breath of turbid air after seeing the comber clearly. So it's seen your brother Bai Chen. Scared me to death. Tianshui let down his guard. Unexpectedly, a sharp pain came from his body. Half a fan had already stabbed into his chest. Then Bai Chen laughed jeeringly. Junior brother Tianshui, you are deeply devoted to junior sister Ding Ning. Truly moves me. He is so strong. I'm afraid I can't beat him. So borrowing your true chi to use. Saying that, Bai Chen drove his own technique. Although Tianshui was extremely unwilling, he was powerless to resist. Finally thrown on the ground like rotten wood by Bai Chen. Feeling the vigorous true chi in his body, Bai Chen sneered immediately. Truly refreshing. Not bad. Junior brother Tianshui. Actually, I appreciate you as a person, but truly pity. Orthodox and evil do not stand together. I am a righteous person, destined to kill demon cult people. After speaking, he slowly withdrew the portable iron fan, then spoke again. But rest assured, our fake brotherly affection is still there. I will definitely remove Hiyun for you. Grand Void Firmament, as the #1 Orthodox sect in Tianluo City, boasted magnificent and imposing architecture. However, Bai Chen covered his face, fearing his tracks would be discovered. As soon as he entered the sect, he knocked on Elder Guan's door. Guan Jun was the martial uncle of Ding Ning and Bai Chen, possessing a combat power of level 41. Seeing that the visitor was Bai Chen, he cautiously looked left and right, only letting him into the room after confirming no one had noticed. But Guan Jun still asked, did anyone discover your tracks? After Bai Chen shook his head lightly, Guan Jun asked in confusion, why did you come back suddenly? Bai Chen frowned immediately, saying with a heavy tone, junior sister Ding Ning is dead. Guan Jun turned pale with shock upon hearing this. What happened? Dead? Does your master know about this? Bai Chen shook his head. I didn't dare to write hastily to inform master. Until now, junior sister Ding Ning's corpse hasn't been found, but 9 out of 10 she is doomed. The culprit is a person from the 9 nether demon hall named Hiyun. Guan Jun couldn't help stroking his beard upon hearing this. Why is the name Hiyun so familiar? It seems I've heard it somewhere. Bai Chen spoke again. Rumor has it that the ever-bright soul is on this kid. I didn't believe it originally, until I saw him fight with demon cult members. He is clearly a kitchen chore worker, yet he defeated a level 31 demon cult disciple in one strike. He must have been hiding his clumsiness before. The possibility of the ever-bright soul being on this person is very high. As soon as this was said, Guan Jun slapped the table and shouted, where's this person now? Bai Chen indicated that Hiyun was currently in Tianluo City. Guan Jun ordered unhesitatingly, capture first, question later. Ask clearly the whereabouts of the ever-bright soul, then avenge your junior sister. Bai Chen immediately responded yes, while a trace of ruthlessness appeared in his eyes. Before long, it was late at night. Only Hiyun and the girl were left in the small courtyard. Hiyun was certain Tianshui would come tonight. Since he deliberately chose the time when master was away to act, he definitely wouldn't delay. If not tonight, then tomorrow, to get rid of him early. However, Xia Yan didn't take it to heart. To avoid long nights and many dreams, do you say Tianshui will come for revenge tonight? Your guess makes sense. Brother Hiyun, I'm sleepy, going to sleep. However, Hiyun grabbed her hand and said with a serious face, you sleep with me tonight. I'm not at ease with you alone. Instantly, Xia Yan rejoiced secretly in her heart, but on the surface, she pretended to be reserved, nodding reluctantly to agree. She originally wanted to visit Grand Void Firmament tonight. Now it seemed she could only proceed with the plan after Hiyun fell asleep. Then Hiyun nimbly moved his bedding over. After making the floor bed, he spoke, master is not here. I will definitely protect you well. After speaking, Hiyun's hand movement suddenly froze, a bad thought floating up. By the way, if that demoness has an attack again tonight and comes to find me, that would be a bit difficult to handle. Why am I nervous about her? A loveless demon who only treats me as a tool. Seeing Hiyun lie down puffing with anger, Xia Yan couldn't help muttering secretly, what's wrong with this kid? Suddenly looking angry and awkward, but Xia Yan didn't look into it deeply. After all, she had things to do tonight, so she lay down, indicating she was going to sleep. Time passed quickly, arriving at late night. Outside the house, the moon was dark and the wind high. Bai Chen and Guan Jun also rushed to Yun's residence, seizing this opportunity. They planned to ask the whereabouts of the ever-bright soul first, then finish off Yun to avenge Ding Ning. Just as Bai Chen was preparing to go down, Guan Jun suddenly signaled him to wait first. Seeing Xia Yan come out of the house, he couldn't help asking doubtfully, "Who is that woman?" Bai Chen immediately seized the chance to smear Yun. Hateful. This Yun actually laid hands on his own junior sister. Worthy of being a demon cult person. Absolutely no sense of shame. Guan Jun gritted his teeth immediately. The Orthodox Alliance is already discussing a crusade against Nine Nether Demon Hall. Presumably, there will be action soon. This kind of unpardonably wicked sect should have been eradicated long ago. But why is she going out at midnight? As far as I know, she is a civilian woman Yun brought back. Hearing this, Guan Jun signaled immediately. That is indeed a bit strange. You follow her. Hearing this, Bai Chen turned decisively and began to trail Xia Yan. But Bai Chen appeared absent-minded at this time. Sorry, Martial Uncle. I have more important things tonight. You and Yun are both rare nutrients for me. I have to find a place to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Conversely, Guan Jun leaped down from the roof without vigilance. After landing, he quickly locked onto Yun's room, then stepped forward quickly, poking the window paper with a finger, then skillfully blew a tube of mist into the room. Seeing Yun in the room inhaling the mist without defense, only then did Guan Jun open the door. With progress so smooth, Guan Jun couldn't help being secretly proud. No defensive heart at all. Easy to succeed. Guan Jun injected knockout smoke into his room through the window, then entered after seeing Yun motionless. Little did he know Yun was just pretending to sleep. Didn't expect the goo worm the demoness put in me, besides making me nourish the stomach, impotent, can actually decompose knockout smoke. Footsteps lighter and more rhythmic than Bai Chen's. Who is the Comer? And Guan Jun was also pondering. Looks delicate and pretty. Doesn't look like a homicidal maniac. Demon cult disciples are too good at disguising. After thinking briefly, he decided to knock Yun out and abduct him. Unexpectedly, his hand chop was easily dodged by Yun. Taking advantage of Guan Jun's shock, Yun opened his eyes wide fiercely, then quickly backhanded to control Guan Jun firmly. With force in both hands, Guan Jun was smashed ruthlessly onto the stone bed immediately. Seizing this opportunity, he indecisively activated the know-it-all talent to check who the Comer was. Instantly a prompt box appeared in front of him. Name, Guan Jun. Age, 45. Identity, Grand Void Firmament Disciple. Relation, Martial Uncle of Ding Ning and Bai Chen. Level, 41. Talent, Grand Void Foot. Goal, Revenge an Ever-Bright Soul. Now Yun was completely speechless. Grand Void Firmament, Ding Ning's home. Dignified Orthodox sect. Why always doing this kind of sneaky stuff? Guess he's here to avenge Ding Ning. Is he about to act? Only level 41. Just beat him to death directly. Being in a foreign land and other world, whoever wants to kill me, I can only kill them. Thinking of this, Yun asked tentatively, Person of Grand Void Firmament, how would you know I live here? Guan Jun was shocked instantly. How do you know who I am? But Yun said coldly, I not only know you, I can even know who your 18 generations of ancestors are. Asking you a question, answer me. Because suppressed by Yun's powerful strength without power to fight back, Guan Jun had to answer truthfully. Sit or stand, I don't change my name. This humble one is Guan Jun of Grand Void Firmament. Coming this time is to avenge my disciple niece. Seeing what he said was no different from Know-It-All's display, Yun released his hand immediately, then said condescendingly, You are actually candid. I have no grievance or enmity with you. If you leave on your own now, I will spare your life. However, Guan Jun indicated tactlessly, You killed Ding Ning. As her martial uncle, I won't let the matter drop. Yun retorted, Who told you I killed her? Clearly she moved first. I acted in self-defense. But since you even know I live here, you should also understand, I am a person of Nine Nether Demon Hall. Even if I killed Ding Ning, it was just removing a traitor for the cult. She had other purposes to kill me. But if I killed her, this can't count as a private feud. If you have ability, go find Nine Nether Demon Hall. Finding me is just bullying the soft and fearing the hard. What kind of orthodox sect? What kind of enforcing justice for heaven? These words sounded really right at first listen. Guan Jun was basically powerless to refute, but he still said relentlessly, What are you saying? You killed the person. But Ian interrupted directly. You say I killed her means I killed her? Where is the evidence? However, Guan Jun indicated he believed the person who told him this matter. Now Ian was completely speechless. Uncle, you aren't young anymore. Do you believe whatever others say? Whoever questions provides evidence. If you can't find evidence, is your conscience clear killing me? With your level, you can't kill me either. Guan Jun was instantly angered to gnashing teeth by the intimidation. You person are too shameless. And Ian didn't want to waste more time. I have no enmity with you. Door is over there. Go out yourself. Otherwise don't blame me for being impolite. Because Ian had already used Know-It-All to check Tianshui. He wasn't a spy. Then who exactly told this old boy the matter of me killing Ding Ning? There must be another spy. How many undercover agents does Nine Nether Demon Hall have exactly? Unexpectedly, Guan Jun didn't mean to leave. Ian was also very helpless. Killing Ding Ning was originally an act of no choice. If he killed another orthodox sect person, that resume would be too ugly. Thinking of this, Ian cupped his hands to signal, I see you are not a treacherous person. One day, let us duel fair and square. Guan Jun also saw Ian had extraordinary heroic spirit, speaking and acting very particular, not like a person of the devil path. Could he be a vanguard sent by some orthodox sect to be undercover in Nine Nether Demon Hall? Subsequently, Guan Jun decided not to stay longer, indicating he would definitely investigate this matter thoroughly. Meet again another day. After speaking, he turned simply to leave this place. Meanwhile, the system prompted obtaining another odd encounter fragment. This surprised Ian greatly. Didn't expect being assassinated had such good things. Ian instantly regretted not being hit by Guan Jun's hand chop just now. Maybe could get one more fragment, but soon Ian felt somewhat strange. Speaking of which, is Tianshui really not coming tonight? Little did he know Tianshui was hiding in a noodle shop eating noodles at this time. He was very curious what the situation in the courtyard was now. When he saw Guan Jun leave, he couldn't help feeling somewhat surprised. Came out so soon? Did he succeed? But thinking again felt somewhat wrong. Marshall uncle looks unharmed. Is he actually not as strong as thought? However, just when he prepared to enter the courtyard to check, he actually stopped his steps. Sixth sense told him the situation inside was wrong. For the sake of safety, he turned decisively, choosing to leave. And Guan-jun returned to Grand Void Firmament soon. But the scene before his eyes made him feel struck by lightning. He saw the disciples outside the hall were actually all slaughtered by some demon. It turned out not long ago, a blood-colored red beam descended suddenly from the sky, landing in Grand Void Firmament. Seeing this, a crowd of disciples shouted instantly, "What thing?" Alert quickly, and the coma was surprisingly Xia Yan restored to demoness form. The purpose of her trip was exactly to avenge drunk Spring Breeze. After seeing the coma clearly, those disciples shouted immediately, "This place is Grand Void Firmament. Who is the coma?" One step further. Don't blame us for being heartless. However, Xia Yan ignored his warning, walking directly towards the inner hall. Surrounding disciples looked at each other. After confirming eye contact, the crowd of disciples picked up their respective weapons immediately, crazily circulating techniques to kill towards Xia Yan. However, facing the siege of the small fries, Xia Yan used only one look, and her body exploded with majestic true chi. With the explosion of true chi, those small fries were blasted flying immediately. Just then, 3 sect elders walked out from the inner hall. Discovering those beaten flying fellow disciples, their faces changed drastically. What happened? And Xia Yan pressed step by step. Grand Void Firmament counts as a century-old orthodox school. How come actions lately are not too bright? Feeling the killing intent emitted by Xia Yan, 2 men immediately thought of retreating. Should we withdraw first? This pressure, not good. And after walking up the main hall, Xia Yan spoke slowly. Where's your sect master? Let her come out to see me. Blue hair turned hurriedly, indicating he would go invite the sect master right away. After all, the coma was unkind, looked difficult to deal with at a glance. Unexpectedly, one of the women grabbed him. Elder Khan, no need to trouble the sect master for such a trivial matter. Seeing this, Xia Yan frowned slightly. Looks like have to beat around first to be obedient. The leading man had to brace himself to speak. Sect master is busy with official duties. Us 3 will take the move. But unexpectedly, in just one encounter, the 3 were easily beaten flat by Xia Yan. Now even Xia Yan felt very speechless. Don't tell me you are the elders of Grand Void Firmament. Actually really are. This seat secluded for a few years. You guys got used to quiet days, neglecting kung fu. You 3, who goes to call the sect master? Voice falling, the few people looked at each other immediately, then got up quickly in unison, running towards the inner hall. And Xia Yan's behavior also caused those outer disciples to start whispering. Soon Elder Kong found the sect master and kept begging the sect master to save lives. Seeing this, the sect master asked hurriedly, "You 2 also? What happened?" And the female elder stammered, "A little girl came to the front hall, wants to see you." Although the sect master felt very doubtful, she still stood up walking towards the front hall. The few elders didn't plan to follow. If they went, they would definitely get beaten again. But they were also curious about Xia Yan's background. Just then, the sect master turned suddenly, asking, "What are you staring for? Follow me to the front hall." But when the few people saw Xia Yan sitting on the main seat, the sect master got angry instantly. "Who dares disturb my Grand Void Firmament's peace?" Xia Yan said condescendingly, asking someone's name. "Report your own family first. No rules." The sect master drew her sword immediately. "Mere little girl, daring to speak wild words. No one at home taught you manners?" Xia Yan accused verbally, adding drunk Spring Breeze, flower amidst moon drunken curse. Since when did Grand Void Firmament also use such base means? No one in the sect taught you how to behave? Hearing this, the sect master's heart skipped a beat. How would she know these? Seeing the opponent silent, Xia Yan stood up immediately, speaking slowly. "These years this seat secluded, the outside really changed sky. Asking questions, sloppy. Doing things, not comparable to back then. Truly makes this seat disappointed." Scene shifts. Guan-jun, seeing sect disciples all beaten flat, hurriedly found a lightly injured one to ask, "What happened in the sect?" The small fry answered with difficulty. A very strong woman came, took sect master and elders to the backyard. Now Guan-jun was thoroughly restless. Did even the sect master lose? Xia Yan, restored to demoness form, easily took down the entire Grand Void Firmament, then spoke condescendingly. "Didn't expect you guys to be weaker than the next, but bones are quite hard. I admire this point. But speaking of which, hand over the antidote. I still have to go home to sleep." Unexpectedly, the sect master spoke helplessly. "Not that I don't give. It's that antidote was never developed. Flower amidst moon drunken curse paired with drunk Spring Breeze should have taken your life at the first attack. Who knew you demoness actually survived? This kind of certain death combination. Develop what antidote?" Xia Yan felt a headache about this sentence again. "I'm tired of listening." And Guan-jun, who just returned to the sect, was secretly shocked seeing this. Even sect master fell. This person is too scary. Just then, Xia Yan stood up from the chair, suddenly smiling lightly. "Since no antidote, then I ask you something else. Planting spies. Is it your handwriting?" The sect master gritted her teeth, answering immediately, "Not me. It's the previous sect master's 100-year layout." Xia Yan said with interest, "Besides Ding Ning, who else?" Unexpectedly, the sect master replied with extra backbone, "Kill or scrape. Do as you please. I won't say a single word." Seeing her so tough, Xia Yan revealed a smile immediately, then slowly raised her hand, beginning to condense true chi in her body. A point of cold light condensed suddenly in her hand. Then, giving the sect master no time to react, she stuffed it fiercely into her mouth. Now the sect master was finally not calm anymore. "What did you feed me just now?" Xia Yan smiled lightly. "Just a gooworm. Rest assured, it won't be fatal. But well, will make you like me. When acting up, extremely crave comfort. If no comfort, like poisonous ants eroding bones, cannot live." Hearing this, the sect master was scared to drastic face change immediately. However, Xia Yan spoke again. "The set planted in me has no antidote, but yours. I can trigger anytime, also stop anytime." Powerless to resist, the sect master had to shout angrily, "Orthodox sects will exterminate you demon cult people sooner or later, letting you be buried in yellow earth." Xia Yan smiled disdainfully at this. "Can you curse uglier? These few sentences of yours are like a mental arc. I hear it very comfortably. This demoness is simply perverted. Saying anything is like punching cotton. Seeing the sect master silent, Xiaoyan felt somewhat bored. Since can't bring out antidote, tonight I am too lazy to say more. After half a stick of incense, the goo worm and sect master Tianxin's body will act up on time. When acting up, think properly if there's antidote. Hearing this, Tianxin panicked instantly. Cold sweat started pouring uncontrollably, then hurriedly signaled the female elder aside. Ziqing, must lock the door dead for me. No one allowed to enter. When I act up, no one allowed to approach. But Xiaoyan ignored Tianxin and others, walking out of the sect without looking back. But before walking far, she detected someone seen to hide in the grass. Immediately she chuckled. This grand void firmament, small animals loving to eavesdrop are truly many. Guanjun was shocked hearing this. Did she see me? I clearly held my breath, but Xiaoyan didn't plan to continue wasting time here. Before long, Xiaoyan returned to the small courtyard and switched disguise back to white-haired Lolita. Unexpectedly, Hiyun was waiting at the door long ago. Seeing Xiaoyan, he couldn't help complaining. Someone just came to kill me, saying it was Ding Ning's martial uncle to avenge her. Didn't you say going to sleep? Why come back from outside? Seeing it was about to be exposed, Xiaoyan hurriedly made up. I couldn't sleep, just went out for a walk. Hiyun didn't think much, grabbing her hand directly saying seriously, for your safety, tonight you must sleep in my room. Don't stare. Who knows if that guy will bring rescuers? You alone are too dangerous. Hearing this, Xiaoyan muttered secretly. Bring rescuers? He probably can't bring any more. Hiyun detected something immediately. Little Wushan, what did you just say? Xiaoyan hurriedly smiled saying nothing, then changed topic quickly. Brother Hiyun, how do we sleep tonight? Hiyun moved out bedding on his own. Old rules. I sleep on the floor, you sleep on the bed. Brother here, sleep at ease. No one can hurt a hair of yours. Unexpectedly, Xiaoyan hinted suddenly. Is the floor too hard? Do you want to? Hiyun making the floor bed got energized immediately hearing this, and Xiaoyan thought Hiyun understood her meaning, lowering her head shyly. Unexpectedly, Hiyun said on his own. You are right, floor indeed quite hard. I go get 2 more quilts to pad it. Seeing Hiyun showed no interest in her, Xiaoyan complained secretly. To my demoness image one look, to juvenile me another look. Am I jealous of myself? Damn it. But Hiyun didn't know Xiaoyan's thoughts. Continuing to make the floor bed, just lying down, he indicated going to sleep. Xiaoyan couldn't help probing. Brother Hiyun, do you have someone you like? Unexpectedly, Hiyun indicated no without thinking. Seeing Hiyun answer so crisply, Xiaoyan was restless. No. Hiyun scratched his head saying helplessly, should be no. I treat you as a sister, so I tell you the truth. Now there's actually someone I have good feelings for, but we communicate very little, basically rely on body interaction. Reading minds from those actions is quite brain consuming, and I don't know what that person thinks of me. Seems only treating me as a tool. She comes and goes without a trace, disappears every time after finishing. No time to get familiar. Hearing this, Xiaoyan asked hurriedly, just good feelings? Aren't you curious who she is? Hiyun shook his head lightly. If I want to know, I indeed have a way to check clearly, but don't want to use that method on her. For someone with good feelings, exploring slowly is interesting. Wait till you like someone, you will understand. Time is late, sleep. Hearing this, Xiaoyan was sure Hiyun only treated her as a sister now. After all, she could only find him every time drunk spring breeze acted up. To recover early, now Xiaoyan had to get the antidote first. This is the best policy. Meanwhile, Grand Void Firmament, the female elder locked Sect Master Tianxin's door firmly, then signaled to a crowd of disciples. Sect Master was planted with goo by demoness, about to act up immediately. Guard the door tight for me, not a mosquito allowed to fly in. At this time Tianxin was also very apprehensive, but helpless. After checking the time, Tianxin knew not much time left before acting up. Sure enough, Tianxin soon noticed something wrong with her body. Whole face turned red with a swish. Even with mind firm as hers, couldn't help letting out a wail. Hearing the sound, female elder couldn't help pressing to the window murmuring, started already? Impact brought by goo worm flare up truly too strong, but Tianxin still gritted teeth wanting to endure. After all, she was Grand Void Firmament Sect Master, one of the 10 great orthodox sects. How can be controlled by demoness evil art? Man conquers heaven. Although her thought was beautiful, but discomfort from body made her unable to help rolling and rubbing constantly. Then she felt damp feeling on legs. Thinking goo worm caused body bleeding, she hurriedly reached out to investigate, but after seeing clearly the liquid on hand, she was stunned instantly. What is this? Before she understood, goo worm exploded with stronger shock again, making her let out wail more miserable than before. Even disciples guarding outside couldn't help blushing. After all, this scream was truly too loud. Out of tricks, Tianxin had to bite palm quickly, letting pain restore brain clarity, but emptiness from body made her can't wait to be filled. Now she finally experienced the bone-eroding suffering Xiaoyan spoke of. She couldn't help gritting teeth murmuring, this feeling, how long exactly to continue? Early next morning, Xiaoyan got up early, coming outside stretching waist, but she seemed to find she missed something. By the way, last night, did I forget something? Just then, Guanjun brought sect female elder, suddenly breaking courtyard gate rushing in. Seeing this, Xiaoyan exploded true chi immediately saying coldly, you actually dare smash my door. Guanjun assumed stance directly shouting, demoness, stop the goo worm in sect master's body immediately. Hearing the voice, Hien rushed out hurriedly protecting Xiaoyan. 2. You came uninvited, scaring my sister. Xiaoyan said secretly bad immediately, just now subconsciously released aura. Did he discover? Fortunately Hien only had Guanjun 2 in eyes now. Old boy, is this the rescuer you brought? This time I won't show mercy. Why found one weaker than you? 1 + 1 less than 2. Don't even know this math? Then he turned on know-it-all talent querying woman's info. Name, Luo Ziqing. Identity, Grand Void Firmament Financial Elder. Level, 40. Talent, floor fan. And Guanjun accused somewhat flustered. You killed my Grand Void Firmament disciple. Hien explained seriously. Was 9 Nether Demon Hall spy. Guanjun couldn't sit still instantly. You also framed our sect master. Feeling wrong Hien wanted to say something. Seeing opponent insisted it was him, so said indifferently. Fine. Just treat as me. What can you do to me? I am truly lazy to explain. And Xiaoyan was also enraged, transmitting voice to Guanjun decisively. Say one more word. I make Grand void firmament missed lunch. Now two people didn't know what to do. Demoness threatens us. This Demoness hid identity in front of this man. How about simply using this as threat? Obviously Xia Yan also saw through Luo Ziqing's thought. If let him know my identity, I can destroy Grand Void Firmament in split second. Don't believe? Feel free to try. Two people didn't suspect Xia Yan's words at all. After all, they personally felt the strength gap. Under helplessness, two people turned directly running away, leaving only one ruthless word. You two, wait for us. Ian smiled helplessly seeing this. Okay, fine. They dare not find me temporarily. However, Xia Yan knew, with Yan's current realm, impossible not to feel the aura she emitted just now. But Ian still acted like usual. Little Wushan, go to kitchen, help me move a winter melon over. We eat winter melon stewed meatballs today. Although Ian didn't say with mouth, he knew clearly in heart. Little Wushan's aura retracted very fast just now, but definitely far higher than me. Xia Yan was also full of tangles at this time. If he detected but didn't puncture, do I continue acting? Subsequently, Xia Yan seemed to make some determination, turning suddenly calling Yilin, because hiding every time transforming, she indeed felt troublesome. Might as well take this chance to confess. Seeing Xia Yan's expression, Ian also guessed she planned to confess to him. Thinking carefully, that day indeed too coincidental. However, just when Xia Yan finally thought of words, preparing to speak confessing, Yubo kicked open the main door suddenly, then said cheerfully, I'm back. Luck not bad. Met Tianluo City Caravan. Already bought needed supplies. Seeing this, Xia Yan had to sigh helplessly, since so, fine chance to say later, but letting him suspect identity, some things doing will be more interesting. And Yubo finally found atmosphere somewhat subtle at this time. Seemed he came back at wrong time, but he didn't think much. Yilin, help master move this basket of goods into kitchen, then store well. And when Ian passed by Xia Yan, couldn't help saying secretly in heart, she wanted to confess just now, right? Use know-it-all on her, but Ian vetoed this thought quickly. Forget it. Wait more. Thinking of this, Ian hugged basket into kitchen nimbly. Then Yubo hurriedly asked two people what happened. Xia Yan sighed helplessly. He realized I'm not ordinary girl. Just now Grand Void Firmament people jumped up and down, accidentally exposed. You go to Grand Void Firmament once, then bring their sect master Qianxin to me. Now Yubo cracked immediately. How do I bring? After all, people also sect master. Xia Yan sneered. I planted goo in her. Forgot to finish work last night. Her body goo worm still acting up now. You go bring her back. Simply easy as turning palm. After bringing back lock and secret room under your room first. Found Wu Xiaoshuang? Yubo nodded immediately. Found. Also explained situation to her. She said return to sect within 3 days. Waiting for your arrival. Only then Xia Yan revealed satisfied smile. Very good. I know. Because Tianxin deep in goo poison, easily brought back to dungeon by Yubo. But Tianxin didn't plan to submit. Demon cult thief. I won't spare you even as ghost. Yubo said grumpily. Can sit on sect master chair. Spirit indeed not bad. Advise you a sentence. Save some strength. Alive as turning point. Eat 2 bites later. Cult leader comes later. Unexpectedly Tianxin screamed suddenly. Don't come over. Yubo stopped steps immediately hearing sound. Old man abrupt. Forgot goo worm in your body still restless. Tianxin gritted teeth immediately. Obscene shameless. Yubo laughed out loud instantly. But when you dealt with my cult leader back then, didn't you also use similar means? Why do you here? Became obscene shameless. If you handed over solution earlier, wouldn't suffer this sin. However, Tianxin hard-mouthed. We were enforcing justice for heaven. Now you both thoroughly angry. This world is government. Laws. Registered as orthodox sect. Unregistered called demon cult. But tax to pay. We not a cent less. Where's your turn to enforce justice for heaven? Manage own door wall well. Reach hand less into others' house. Everyone naturally peaceful. These years are 9 nether demon hall didn't stuff spies into your sect. Really discussing means lower limit. Seems not on our side. Knowing wrong, Tianxin became angry from shame immediately. Clever words. Fawning appearance. Your demon set techniques mostly insidious poisonous. World knows. Yubo just sneered at this. Whether we are insidious or not, we closed door to cultivate. Didn't harm outside. You manage inevitably too wide. And Xia Yan just entering couldn't help joking hearing voice. You chat quite lively. Yubo hurried to explain. Sect master Tianxin telling me big principles. Unexpectedly Tianxin said coldly suddenly. Still say didn't harm outsiders? Murder case in Tianluo City few days ago. Wasn't it done by your demon cult? Xia Yan didn't answer. She was lazy to talk nonsense. Just snapped fingers lightly. Goo worm in Tianxin's body stopped restlessness immediately. Disappearance of bone eroding pain in body. Let Tianxin finally gain breathing time. And Xia Yan sat directly in front of Tianxin face gloomy. Cultivating to level 50 not easy. Suffered much bitterness right? Wanna keep this cultivation. Better think properly how to solve poison on me. Don't tell me no medicine can solve. Flower amidst moon drunken curse paired with drunk spring breeze. Created by your grand void firmament. Can think of mixing. Can't think of solution. Do you think this seat will believe? Also I heard your heart method requires guarding purity like jade. Voice just fell. Tianxin's face changed drastically immediately. What do you want to do? Seeing Tianxin's scared gutless look, Xia Yan raised corner of mouth immediately. This seat recently fancied a genius. Want to cultivate well. If let him. An unbearable Tianxin screamed sternly suddenly. Shut up for me. Xia Yan walked in front of her immediately speaking again. You just said we are insidious poisonous. Didn't say wrong. Truth. Tianxin turned head away unconvinced immediately cursing angrily. You will suffer heaven's punishment. Xia Yan laughed out loud instantly. Condescending indifferent. Heaven's punishment counts as what thing? Meanwhile, he in burning fire cooking in kitchen. But at this time he full of doubts. Why little Wushan hiding tucking? Could it be she also planted by orthodox sect? But there's too many undercovers. And she looks many years younger than me. But aura far greater than me. I have current realm because of system. But she relied on herself obtaining such achievement. Can be called genius among geniuses. After 100 thoughts no solution. He determined. No. Must use know-it-all appraise. Avoid long night many dreams. And Xia Yan just walked out of dungeon. Preparing return room rest. But suddenly felt drunk spring breeze probably acting up soon again. However she entangled very much. Didn't know later transform to Wu Xia and find Yun again. Or simply enter confess as little Wushan forget it. Coincidentally, Ian just walked out kitchen, bumping into entangled Xian, and Ian sees Chance using know-it-all talent appraise little Wushan's identity immediately. Name, Little Wushan. Original name, Wu Xian. Identity, 9 Nether Demon Hall cult leader. Level 90. Status, poison with strange poison. And Xian also spoke to him same time. Ian, I am that demoness. Now Ian thoroughly dumbfounded. Little Wushan is cult leader. Aren't you 10,000 Insect Valley senior sister? Seeing Ian's silly self-talking look, Xian interrupted immediately. Stop nonsense. This seat's toxin starts acting up again. Help me quickly. However, Ian retreated few steps subconsciously, then indicated own brain fell into chaos now. He couldn't help grabbing head face puzzled. You are Little Wushan? No, Little Wushan is you. I don't know what I'm saying. I always treated you as sister. You clearly two people. How can I? However, Xian interrupted his self-talk forcibly directly. I am Little Wushan. Also that demoness. I hurt very much now. Need you help me relieve toxin. Understand? Seeing Xian suffering toxin torture, even walking unstable, Ian had to pick her up. Only then Xian signaled him go to nearby woodshed satisfied. Ian didn't speak all way, just acting numbly according Xian's instructions silently. Subsequently, Ian put Xian carefully onto prepared straw pile. However, before Ian slowed thought, Xian urged, come over quickly. Still want the seat move self? Seeing Ian silent all along, Xian spoke again. Don't distract again. No matter which look. Isn't it all the seat? But Ian's still entangled. Shock of this matter too big. My brain can't turn. Hearing this, Xian smiled immediately. Since so, this seat help you sober brain. Although clearly same person in front, Ian didn't know why always had feeling of committing crime. Closely following Xian restored cult leader's strong power, turning suddenly exerting force, pushing Ian down, then condescending faint smile. Now Grand Void Firmament doesn't give this seat antidote, so future you have to get used to me finding you solve like this. After speaking, Xian didn't say more, beginning suppress toxin in body seriously, and in process of suppressing toxin, her look changed suddenly. Before long Xian's appearance had earth-shaking change, body shape and look restored to original form again. This battle lasted fully till latter half night ended. After bitter fight, Xian finally suppressed toxin in body smoothly, but she issued soul interrogation to Ian. Ian, this seat, and Little Wushan, who you like more? Hearing this, Ian roasted grumpily immediately. Shocked tonight enough already. I thought you 10,000 Insect Valley senior sister. Result you cult leader. Then cult leader is Little Wushan. You better don't ask first. I want quiet. But Xian joked. Get used to me in Little Wushan early. Future only more, not less. However, Ian roared secretly. I told Little Wushan take her join Orthodox sect. Words roasting demon cult. All heard by main owner. I have heart want die now. And Xian seeing Ian silent, raised eyebrows immediately. This seat talking to you. Still dare distract. Helpless Ian had to slap away her hand. Go through water fire for cult leader is my duty. Next second, I found whole woodshed covered spiritual power beads. Obviously system airdropped super gift pack. Closely following Ian drove Xian out unhesitatingly. No matter who you are, I serve future. You go out first. I do psychological construction. Not waiting Xian react. Ian closed door quickly, and Ian turned starting crazy sweep on ground. Obtained huge harvest at once. Then system popped prompt. Congratulations young master Yun. One-time collection 5,000 spiritual power points. Gift odd encounter fragment. Honest open with Wu Xian. Gift remaining fragments. Current odd encounter fragments. 5. Synthesize talent. Ian clicked synthesize button unhesitatingly. Closely following system sent glad tidings. Congratulations young master Yun obtained talent self-destruct. Can ignore opponent's realm. Perish together with target. However, Ian seeing this talent face black. But now Ian has 2 lives, so this talent can use once, but effect truly too ruthless. After Baichin gave up the thought of sneak attacking Ian, he returned to the Grand Void Firmament. However, he was very puzzled at this time. Martial uncle, did something happen in the sect? On my way here I saw fellow brothers all hanging their heads. Guan Jun said with a heavy tone. You don't know, the sect master has been kidnapped now. As soon as this was said, Baichin revealed a look of shock instantly. Guan Jun could only sigh helplessly. Done by that group of demon cult people. Your master has gone up Great South Mountain overnight to invite the Grand Sect Master out. Baichin didn't expect even the Grand Sect Master to be alarmed. He felt if this group of people were crazy, just a somewhat capable kitchen worker, merely 19 years old. Now Guan Jun also had a headache, not knowing why that demoness hid her identity in front of Yun, but he still signaled. Now the matter has exceeded control. You don't need to return to the demon cult either. I will restore your identity for you. Baichin could only helplessly indicate he understood, but he was very annoyed. In this case, isn't my plan going down the drain? Logically they should have hurt each other, and I reap the fisherman's profit. Now having no other way, can only seek another time to act. Meanwhile, the female elder of the sect ran all the way, finally arriving at Great South Mountain. After seeing that huge cave entrance not far away, the female elder immediately dismounted quickly, then knelt on the ground with an anxious face, shouting hoarsely, Grand Sect Master, save life. Meanwhile, Yun, after helping Xian suppress the toxins in her body, was taken by Xian to the dungeon inside the courtyard, and Xian suddenly spoke. This person is the sect master of the dignified Orthodox sect, Grand Void Firmament, Tianqin, who cursed and poisoned me. Seeing Xian speak her identity bluntly in front of Yun, Tianqin panicked instantly. What do you want to do? I would rather die than submit. Stinky brat, if you dare attack me, I will definitely break your life roots, ending your descendants. You can try. Hearing the voice, Xian revealed a satisfied smile. What do you say I want to do? 9 Nether Demon Hall has a branch named Joyous Tower. Disciples cultivate the art of union, building divine abilities together through dual cultivation. This disciple of mine is still short of a few cultivation methods. Teaching hand by hand takes time. Sect Master Tianqin happens to send charcoal in snowy weather for us, but Tianqin retorted firmly, if he dares touch me, I will bite my tongue and kill myself immediately. Xian just smiled disdainfully at this. If I activate the goo worm in your belly, let alone biting your tongue, it will be hard for you to even speak a neat sentence. sentence. Hyun, originally confused, finally understood what was going on. Hyun, treated as a tool, was very unhappy about this, turning directly to indicate he had things to do. Yubo also keenly perceived Hyun's gloomy face. Although Cheyenne also discovered Hyun was angry, she didn't chase after him. After leaving the dungeon, Hyun returned to his room. He couldn't help lying on the bed muttering secretly, "Looks like I really am just a furnace to her. Let me dual cultivate with Tianqin, absorb her cultivation, then transfer to her. Although facts are so, why am I so unhappy? True, she is the cult leader. I'm just a kitchen worker. Initially it was just coincidence dragging me in. I thought too much. People say one day husband and wife, 100 nights of grace. We had more than days and nights. Worthy of being a demon cult person. Truly cold-blooded animals. No emotion at all." Just as Hyun's thoughts were chaotic, Cheyenne suddenly patted his back. "Brother Hyun," angry, hearing the voice, Hyun asked doubtfully, "Weren't you interrogating Tianqin in the secret chamber?" Cheyenne smiled faintly. "I saw you left with a black face. Naturally came to ask a couple of sentences. However," Hyun said muffledly, "what's there to ask? I'm going to sleep." Unexpectedly, Cheyenne didn't plan to leave. "What time is it?" Hyun gritted his teeth firmly. "Do whatever you want to do. Anyway, I can't resist." Cheyenne explained on her own. "When you killed Ding Ning, I felt you suited the demon cult very well. Now I send a beauty to you, and you act like a gentleman again." "Why?" Hyun hated through his teeth. "The goo in my body makes me unable to perform with anyone except you. You didn't forget, right?" Unexpectedly, Cheyenne said softly, "Now, you can be a man in front of me. I allow it. I haven't had an attack. You already soothed me just now. Won't relapse so soon. What I said in the dungeon just now was only to scare Tianqin. You are this seat's furnace alone. How could I let others get you cheap? As long as this seat isn't bored of playing, you can only be used by me alone. This seat wants to make the best use of things because in this world, a furnace better than you can't be found. Are you willing to become this seat's slave?" Hyun, washing vegetables, detected the uninvited guest immediately. He saw the comber was a red shadow. As soon as the woman landed, she spoke slowly to Hyun. "This humble one is Tianqin of Grand Void Firmament." And Tianqin, tied to the pillar, hurriedly shouted, "Senior sister, save me." Tianqin frowned. "I came to take junior sister Tianqin back." Hyun spread his hands helplessly. "I can't make the decision on this matter." Tianqin said indifferently immediately, "Then please ask the person who can make the decision to come out." Just then, Cheyenne walked out of the room with Yubo. "Ouch, Grand Sect Master graces us." The small courtyard shines. Obviously Cheyenne was extremely wary of this person, looking not over 30 on the surface, actually over 50, knowing fate age. Surviving to become a force in martial arts in this era is indeed a rare talent. Tianqin also behaved extremely calmly. "My master divined for my junior sister long ago. She is destined to have a tribulation, which is this year and this month. Since you taught my junior sister a lesson, she has fulfilled the tribulation number. If you don't hand over the person, I can only rob by force." Seeing this, Hyun hurriedly explained, "Held hostage yes, taught lesson no. Don't spit blood on people." Tianqin snorted coldly hearing this. "Ziching told this seat you planted goo worms in my junior sister. When acting up, desire is endless, only wanting to cultivate with people. Isn't this you wanting to teach her a lesson?" Hyun could only sigh helplessly. "We were just a tooth for a tooth, scaring her." But Tianqin obviously didn't believe this explanation. "Could it be you also divined, deliberately not bullying my junior sister? Worthy of demon cult people, actually so insidious and vicious, destroying people's opportunities. Did you know, I sent people undercover in 9 Nether Demon Hall, finding chances to poison Wu Xian. All this planning was for my junior sister. If my junior sister doesn't pass this tribulation, her cultivation cannot go up another floor. For this I managed painstakingly for many years. You demons, why not humiliate her?" As soon as this was said, Hyun's worldview was overturned. Orthodox set people are so crazy. Even Tianqin was shocked beyond addition. "Senior sister, what are you saying?" Seeing the development of things becoming more and more interesting, Cheyenne untied Tianqin directly, and Tianqin ran to Tianqin immediately questioning, "Senior sister, are you crazy? What nonsense are you talking?" However, Tianqin said righteously, "Everything master and I planned was for you. If not for these demon cult people being insidious and poisonous, you would soon break through level 60. This was your only chance." This shocked Tianqin greatly. "Wasn't your painstaking planning to eradicate the demon cult?" Tianqin glanced at her coldly. "Eradicating the demon cult isn't a day's work." Now Tianqin was thoroughly angry. "Letting me break through means planning for people to humiliate me?" Cheyenne didn't expect to become the one incidentally plotted against. Secluded for many years, has the outside become this crazy? Even this seat has a day of not keeping up with the times. In other words, the person who really cursed and poisoned this seat is you. Tianqin nodded, cleanly admitting it. Cheyenne didn't plan to talk nonsense with her. "That's just right. I don't care what you planned. Now I need you to give the antidote to me." However, Tianqin exploded with spiritual energy directly, snorting refusal. "Don't think about it. Since I succeeded, how could I give up?" Seeing this, Cheyenne signaled immediately. "Given chance but useless. Go." The development of things gave Cheyenne a headache. What weirdos did she meet? Seeing you both stand out, Tianqin shouted immediately, "Those destroying my junior sister's cultivation. Today this seat wants you to pay blood debt with blood. Taishu sword." Saying that, the spiritual energy around her began to roll rapidly, shooting several blood-colored long swords pointing straight at Yubo. However, facing this fierce attack, Yubo didn't move a muscle. He flipped one hand rapidly, the heartless hand, after breaking the spirit sword's attack, clamped it with fingers. Seeing ranged attacks didn't work, Tianqin immediately killed towards Yubo, taking out a divine weapon. Tianqin shouted, "Old bumpkin, watch sword." For a time, the two began close combat blasting, fighting inseparably. Just then, a red spiritual power bead rolled out suddenly. This discovery made Hyun's pupils shrink uncontrollably. Big shots fighting, little brother picking up scraps, fight well. After tangling for a while, Tianqin found she basically couldn't take down Yubo, so she turned to question, "Tianqin, since you are free, why not help me?" But Tianqin's worldview had already collapsed. What seeing through heavenly secrets? What fate's inevitable tribulation? Even hoping I get humiliated. Is this still orthodox? Hearing the voice, Cheyenne ridiculed immediately. Righteous and evil, what is the difference? Tianqin Tianqin was completely anxious now. Tianqin, help me quickly. Sisters of same master united. Cut these 3 demons today. Unexpectedly, Yu Bo arrived in front of her with a flash. You can even be distracted. Truly a good seedling for cultivation. Why not join my 9 nether demon hall? The demon hall helps you climb peaks early. Tianqin stomped fiercely instinctively, wanting to pull distance. However, Yu Bo anticipated her action one step ahead. Anyway, your junior sister is also here. 2 sisters neatly together. Isn't it good? Xiayan on the side was already impatient. Yu Bo, hurry up time. Call it a day early. Hearing the voice, Yu Bo's expression changed immediately, obviously tired of playing this cat and mouse game too. Tianqin, who came to demand the person, was easily taken down by Yu Bo and imprisoned together with her junior sister. This made her very unwilling. You act so boldly in Tianluo City, sooner or later executed by the Orthodox Alliance. Xiayan was very indifferent about this. Execute then. Orthodox sects always have to find something to do to appear righteous. Satisfying younger sister's hobbies is also my compensation to her as an older sister. Tianqin frowned immediately hearing this. Don't understand what you're saying. Kill or scrape, do as you please. But Xiayan shook her head. You both are good embryos for cultivation. Pity to kill. Our sect has a branch named Joyous Tower, can send you for further studies. This seat thinks highly of you, opening a back door for you. Directly be eldest senior sister and second senior sister. Using drunk spring breeze mixed with flower midst moon drunken curse. Was it taught to you by Wu Xiaoshuang of 9 Heavens Immortal Gate? Tianqin retorted angrily. You actually call Fairy Shuangqian by name. Bold. Xiayan grinned immediately. She is my younger sister. What do I call her if not by name? As soon as this was said, Tianqin and Tianqin were dumbfounded. Didn't expect Fairy Shuangqian actually had a demon cult sister. Xiayan spoke slowly to explain. I am called Wu Xiayan. She is called Wu Xiaoshuang. Hard to connect. Answer me. Was it her instruction? Yun on the side was also shocked by this news. Exam for establishment/government job. To Orthodox sect definitely failed. Can I count as Fairy Shuangqian's half-brother-in-law? However, Tianqin, after silence for a moment, actually indicated no comment. Seeing this, Xiayan was too lazy to talk nonsense with them. Turning directly to signal. Call Shenyik to collect people. Arrange 2 strong male disciples for my new grand disciples to cultivate well. Xiayan with complex moods subsequently came outdoors to sunbathe, but she couldn't help recalling some past events with her sister. He sat aside pondering secretly. Knowing her sister plotted against her, she must be very sad, right? Righteous and evil opposed, sisters turning against each other. There must be earth-shaking matters in this. Should I say something to comfort her? Just as Ian prepared to say something, Xiayan spoke one step ahead of him. How is the ever-bright soul? Ian was stunned. Seems sprouted, but can't count as sprouting. This surprised Xiayan. What did you do to it? Causing chi mechanism change? Ian had to tell the truth. I practiced the ever-bright scripture acting head manager Fang Yin gave me. True chi and body replaced by ever-bright true chi. I fed it with ever-bright true chi. That's all. Subsequently, Ian stood up and walked towards the room, taking out the ever-bright soul to hand to Xiayan for inspection. But the ever-bright true chi Xiayan passed and had absolutely no reaction. Resultingly, the true chi Ian passed and caused fluctuations in the ever-bright soul. This strange scene puzzled Xiayan greatly. After thinking for a while, clueless Xiayan had to give up. You keep the ever-bright soul well first. Transmit ever-bright true chi to it daily. Day after tomorrow, I go to see Wu Xiaoshuang. Ian frowned immediately. You are poisoned now. Confident to win against her? However, Xiayan joked. If I lose, won't you have a chance to leave me? Maybe even defect to Orthodox sects. Fitting your wish. Now Ian was embarrassed. Didn't you say before, wanting me to be your slave? Xiayan joked immediately. What? Reluctant to part with this seat? Ian was very stiff-mouthed. You better take out the goo worm in my body. Otherwise, even leaving you can only be a eunuch. Xiayan laughed instantly, thinking beautifully. You, such a handy toy. Not used till old. How can I bear to let go? This seat is tired. Come serve this seat's nap. Meanwhile, a noodle shop outside the small courtyard. The female elder was very uneasy at this time. Grand Sect Master has been in for an hour, except for a few noises just now. Why no reaction? Should I go in to look? If Grand Sect Master is in trouble, me going in is useless fart. If Grand Sect Master already solved the problem, me going in has no meaning either. In summary, I don't need to go in. One day later, those elders invariably fell into silence, because the Grand Sect Master didn't come out of that small courtyard. The female elder said helplessly, result is Grand Sect Master also kidnapped. The other few elders despaired completely now. Guan Jun slammed the table first. This is a naked provocation by the demon cult to the Orthodox path. Must report to the Orthodox Alliance. If not, crusading against the demon cult will only encourage their arrogance. And Baichin standing outside the door suddenly revealed a proud smile. Fight. If you don't fight, how can I reap fisherman's profit? Just now, Xiayan arrived as promised, finding her good sister Wu Xiaoshuang. Xiayan questioned first. You truly are my good sister, actually instructing others to poison me. However, Xiaoshuang smiled coldly. I just don't want you to be obsessed. Master's soul scattered long ago. To revive a threat of him, you practiced 9 nether soul-devouring scripture. How many lives stained your hands? God demon great war is long forgotten. People live in peace in this world. No more demon race slaughtering. Isn't it good? If you wake Master, don't know what consequences will be drawn out. But Xiayan shouted. Didn't you love Master very much? Didn't you also risk your life because he fell? But Xiaoshuang remained cold. That battle left not even a legend. Dead exist no more. When we two woke up again, unknown how many springs and autumns passed. As for Master, my feelings have long been dulled. Ask yourself, do you still remember Master's face? As soon as this was said, the originally aggressive Xiayan suddenly froze. Seeing this, Xiaoshuang revealed a smile. You know clearly the demon lord's primordial spirit mixed into the ever-bright soul. Even if Master's remnant soul is retrieved, you and I are powerless to strip and suppress the demon lord. Once he returns, even our combined efforts are not his opponent. After silence for a moment, Xiayan didn't plan to talk nonsense with her anymore. Understood. This matter need not be discussed again. Give me the antidote. I leave Tianluo City immediately. However, Xiaoshuang drank tea on her own, speaking slowly only after a long while. Sister, to stop stop you from acting recklessly. I have no other way. Impossible for me to give you the antidote. Let this heart die. Hearing this, Xiaoyan narrowed her eyes instantly. You mean, wanting to be enemies with me, right? But Shashuang shook her head. I don't wish to have conflict with you. Seeing antidote unobtainable, Xiaoyan stood up immediately, snorting coldly. Since it's like this, then we have nothing to say. Bear the consequences yourself. After speaking, she left Grand Void Firmament directly, and Yun and Yubo were waiting patiently at the noodle stall outside the sect. Seeing Xiaoyan in there for a long time, Ian couldn't help asking gossip. Is the relationship between cult leader and her sister bad? Also, by the way, aren't you curious why the cult leader can live so long? Ordinary people living to 100 is already the limit. But Yubo told a shocking truth. The cult leader, she isn't human. This is a semi-open secret of 9 Nether Demon Hall, but only a few know. Now Hyun was completely confused, meeting night wolves in the woods, picking spiritual power beads. I wonder then, isn't this a pure martial Dao world? Why everywhere unreasonable? Just then, Yubo looked up at Grand Void Firmament, indicating the cult leader came out. Seeing Xiaoyan walk out expressionlessly, Hyun hurriedly asked, how was the talk? Will Reverend Shashuang hand over the antidote? But Xiaoyan's annoyed expression explained everything. We returned to 9 Nether Demon Hall. Meanwhile, 9 Nether Demon Hall, Shanique suddenly received Xiaoyan's flying pigeon message. Grand Void Firmament Sect Master and Grand Sect Master, both talents, must teach well. After calming the shock, Shanique hurriedly asked, still no news of Tianshui's whereabouts? The female disciple shook her head. No, last time was the dispute with Ian at the market. No news since. This gave Shanique a headache. After all, the cult leader asked her to arrange a few male disciples to help those two geniuses cultivate well. 10 days later, after a long journey, Ian finally returned to 9 Nether Demon Hall. He lay directly on the bed. Still own bed, sleeps comfortably. Then he opened his info panel. Level 60. Currency 14,000 copper profound stones. Remaining points 51 million. Then he recalled Yubo saying Xiaoyan wasn't human. Ever bright soul. Night wolves. Spiritual power beads. This world seems to have broken the path of immoral cultivation. Martial Dao existing alone. Otherwise where comes spiritual power beads? But spiritual power remains. This thing is deeply related to Everbright True Person. Could it be his soul hides in the seed? Little Wushan wants to urge it to change, wanting Everbright True Person to return. What exactly is the relationship between Little Wushan and Everbright True Person? Looks like have to use know-it-all on her. Does Little Wushan have a leg affair with Everbright True Person? Letting me use Everbright True Chi to revive your old lover. Better to strangle hope in the cradle now. Just as Ian prepared to act, Xiaoyan's voice came suddenly. What are you doing? Ian showed dissatisfaction. I want to be honest and open, naked, with you. This puzzled Xiaoyan. Honest and open? I haven't had an attack yet. Ian cracked instantly. Does your brain hold anything except sex? Tell me, does the Everbright soul hide Everbright True Person's soul? Do you want to revive him? Xiaoyan walked in front of him, immediately questioning seriously. Do you want to know the answer? If you can satisfy this seat will tell you. After finishing, Xiaoyan asked doubtfully, why still staring at me? Ian smiled badly instantly. This female demon, sometimes big, sometimes small, really fun. These words made Xiaoyan feel very speechless. Don't push your luck. Just then, Yubo banged on the door suddenly. Cult leader, acting head manager Fang Yin summons you for business. Appointment at the tea room on top of your library. Hearing the voice, Xiaoyan opened the door, nodding slightly to indicate she knew. Then turned to signal, follow your master into 10,000 Insect Valley to collect some herbs for me. I already gave him the list. If I don't have an attack, I can come find you in 4 or 5 days. Subsequently, Xiaoyan whispered instructions to Yubo. Don't notify Cui Qing, it's my arrangement. If Ian encounters danger on the road, you just watch first. If real danger, act again. Yubo indicated understood immediately. So you want to let him experience and train. Xiaoyan scolded coquettishly immediately. Big mouth. Subsequently, Xiaoyan turned beautifully to glance at Yun. Smooth journey. Scene shifts to 10,000 Insect Valley. The entrance sign of this valley was ostensibly very dilapidated. Ian followed behind Yubo with a face of disdain, walking in somewhat nervously. Looking at the surrounding gloomy environment, he couldn't help asking, I remember you said fellow disciples in 10,000 Insect Valley are a bit different. They seem to disown 6 relations. Kin, only dealing with bugs, right? However, Yubo responded without looking back. Right. But if you blabber more, overheard by bugs, your senior brothers and sisters might be waiting somewhere to beat you. Hearing this, Ian hurried to be tough. Joking, I am level 60. But Yubo raised eyebrows, joking. Although level 60, you are a crispy duck. Body not tempered, full of flaws all over. Moreover, Cui Qing of 10,000 Insect Valley is level 79. Her 3 beloved apprentices all above level 65. Most importantly, you kid accompany the cult leader to cultivate every day. Long been deficient beyond deficiency. Before long, the two walked to the edge of a cliff. Ian was puzzled. Did master go wrong? No road ahead. But completely ignoring Ian, jumping down directly, indicating jumping down is right. Looking at the mist in the valley, Ian scolded angrily if the old man had martial ethics. You didn't teach me landing. My crispy duck body probably can't withstand a landing crash. Are you going to catch me down there? Seeing no response below, I guessed secretly immediately. Is this old man unable to hear or ignoring me deliberately? Must be little Wushan explained something to him. Just then, a sweet voice passed suddenly from behind him. May I ask which senior brother of the sect? Ian understood immediately the coma must be from 10,000 Insect Valley. Had to brace himself to turn around. And the woman spoke again on her own. Remembered, must report name before asking others. I forgot. I am Lilan Jing, herb gathering child of 10,000 Insect Valley. Seeing no malice from the opponent, Ian hurried to introduce himself too. I am Ian from the kitchen. Hearing Ian's self-introduction, Lilan Jing was doubtful instantly. Kitchen, the senior brother providing meals for outer sex. Sorry, our 10,000 Insect Valley rarely interacts with other senior brothers. Also don't eat outside food. What are you doing here? Regarding this, I pointed helplessly below the cliff. My master just jumped down. I haven't found the way down yet. Lilan Jing smiled lightly hearing this. So that's it. Then I'll take you down. Although belonging to different branches, after all we are all members of 9 Nether Demon Hall, should help help each other. Seeing the girl so kind, Ian hurriedly cupped hands to thank, if so, grateful beyond words. Seeing the girl circulate energy slightly, waving hand a vine shot down from her sleeve. Soon hearing the sound, seemingly the vine explored to the valley bottom, the other end wrapped tightly around the giant tree behind. Finishing, the girl supported her waist, slightly proud. Okay, seeing your brother, grab the vine and can go down. Taking not long, Ian landed safely at the valley bottom. Looking up, unexpectedly found a piece of beautiful scenery. Ian felt extremely beautiful inside. After looking enough, Ian realized this was inappropriate. Everyone knows I didn't mean it. Unexpectedly at this time, the vine broke suddenly from the middle. The girl instantly lost weight. Ian took several steps as one, catching the big girl steadily in arms in the next second. Don't fear, brother is here. But Li Lanjing suddenly screamed, my back basket. Seeing the back basket smashed to pieces, Li Lanjing was speechless instantly. What to do? Basket broken. Ian began to look around. Old guy must have received orders. Didn't see anyone either. Forget it. Ignore him first. Thinking of this, Ian suggested, my basket is still empty. Let me help you carry it back. But Ian soon raised a doubt. By the way, herbs of 10,000 Insect Valley are the richest in 9 Nether Demon Hall. Why go outside to pick herbs? Lanjing, am I too suspicious? But this is 9 Nether Demon Hall. Not thinking much is inappropriate. Before long, Ian collected all scattered herbs into the basket, then said walking on his own, you lead the way, send Buddha to the west. Even if Ian felt a trap, he always felt able to collect many good things in 10,000 Insect Valley. Take one step, look one step. How no, it's not a blessing. Li Lanjing hurriedly led the way for Ian, indicating brother Ian, you are really good. Ian laughed, not considered free aid. I have some herbs exactly, need to ask you where to pick. After the two walked far, the vine slid from the cliff suddenly, then withered rapidly in a blink, appearing extremely weird. Before long, under Li Lanjing's lead, Ian soon arrived at a dilapidated medicine hut inside 10,000 Insect Valley. Li Lanjing said happily, first, come in quickly. I pour you a cup of water to drink. But Ian took out his own water bottle, shaking it. I brought water. No need to trouble. As soon as this was said, Li Lanjing's steps paused instantly, then asked with an aggrieved look, do you disdain my medicine hut for being dilapidated? Ian hurriedly indicated not this meaning. Although Li Lanjing looked obedient and cute, after all she was from 10,000 Insect Valley. Heart of defense cannot be absent. In case water has insect eggs, wouldn't I be unlucky? Seeing Ian not disdaining, Li Lanjing relaxed. Then why? Helpless. Ian hurriedly made up. It's my wife. She forbids me interacting too closely with other girls, and she is very cruel. Meanwhile, Cheyenne in the main hall suddenly started sneezing fiercely. Seeing this, the head manager hurriedly asked with concern, are you sick? Let this slave warm your body. Cheyenne immediately reached out to press her head. Disgust me again. I'll strip you naked and throw you on the square. Unexpectedly, the head manager said deeply, if cult leader insists on doing this to people, people have to follow to death. Words instantly made Cheyenne speechless. Didn't expect her subordinate to be such a weirdo. And hearing Ian had a wife, Li Lanjing's expression instantly became complex. So you married young. What a pity. Immediately Li Lanjing chuckled. But doesn't matter. Let's find herbs first. One herb on your list, evil face grass, is just nearby. Although Ian felt somewhat strange, he didn't say much, and Li Lanjing introduced while walking. Almost there. And Yubo hid in the dark observing secretly. Little Lanjing, personal danger index isn't high, but can cause not small damage. I remember Famin mentioned to me. Called her what? Seems to be crazy woman. Meanwhile, Li Lanjing learned in conversation Ian entered 9 Nether Demon Hall in childhood. So curious, why still responsible for picking herbs? Aren't you kitchen staff? Ian explained smilingly. For example, Tower Master Shin of Joyous Tower often needs some medicinal supplements, so besides ingredients, kitchen staff also prepare herbs. Li Lanjing realized suddenly, so that's it. Then she pointed to the woods not far away. Evil phase grass is behind there. Let's go over. Ian didn't think much, walking directly towards the direction Li Lanjing pointed. Taking advantage of Ian not paying attention, Li Lanjing secretly took out a dagger from behind, and Ian looked around a bit, then doubted. By the way, what does rotten blood devouring beetle look like? Li Lanjing responded smilingly. These glowing fireflies are exactly them. They have been hungry for several days. Li Lanjing suddenly took out the dagger, saying, then swung the knife down towards her own wrist. The moment blood flowed from the wound, surrounding rotten blood devouring beetles instantly rioted, surging rapidly towards her location. Seeing this, Ian immediately felt the coma was unkind, so he unhesitatingly turned quickly wanting to run. However, Li Lanjing stood still, but those rotten blood devouring beetles actually avoided her, surging straight towards Ian. This made Ian very speechless. This girl should have something repelling insects on her. Truly worthy of 9 Nether Demon Hall. Not a single good person. Careless. Seeing Ian wanted to run, Li Lanjing laughed instantly. Feeding rotten blood devouring beetles with humans is dozens of times better than with animals. Junior brother, don't blame senior sister for being cruel. This is all for 9 Nether Demon Hall. Hearing the voice, Ian exploded instantly. Demoness, you dare kill fellow disciple. Sect rules prohibit killing fellow disciples. However, Li Lanjing laughed sinisterly. Cult rules indeed forbid killing fellow disciples, but no one saw. Who knows I killed you. Helpless Ian had to continue running wild, leaving only one sentence. You will die a bad death. Seeing Ian chased relentlessly by rotten blood devouring beetles, Yubo instantly had difficulty. Is this situation considered critical? Need me to act? At this time Li Lanjing's expression gradually became crazy. When junior brother becomes pile of white bones, senior sister will think of you daily. As soon as voice fell, rotten blood devouring beetles caught up with Ian. However, Ian turned in time using heartless finger to disperse them, then decisively used talent skill corpse explosion. In an instant, rotten blood devouring beetle swarm began to crackle constantly. Dead beetles exploded abruptly. This scene shocked Li Lanjing greatly. What situation? And Ian ridiculed proudly. 10,000 Insect Valley senior sister. Sorry, damage of your little pets to me is 0. Li Lanjing screamed instantly. What move was that just now? Ian didn't say much, just responded lightly. Move specifically for treating pests. Moreover, through this trouble, trouble, he accidentally discovered one thing. These rotten blood-devouring beetles seemed not planning to hurt him. He could feel rotten blood-devouring beetles were very afraid of the goo worm Xian planted in him. Seeing Yun's strength so extraordinary, Li Lanjing gritted teeth immediately. How old are you? Actually having such skill. So you have been acting? Yan approached slowly, saying coldly, we are all disciples of 9 Nether Demon Hall. Everyone crawling in dark not just for a day or two. Why so surprised? Seeing Li Lanjing speechless by his rebuttal, Yan flashed directly in front of her, then unmercifully reached out, grabbing her neck. This amazed Li Lanjing. I actually have no power to parry against you. Who exactly are you? Yan smiled coldly. You what you? Don't speak if can't speak. Speaking more or less I will kill you. Save some energy. Just as Yan prepared to finish her, Yu Bo suddenly appeared, interrupting him. Yan, wait. Release little Lanjing. She just has a slightly bad heart. This made Yan very speechless. Do you want to listen to what you said yourself? This senior sister wanted to feed me to pets just now. Yu Bo hurried to his ear. I saw it all, but she doesn't have this capability. I tell you quietly, she is the illegitimate daughter of the Valley Master. She has people above her. Learning Li Lanjing was a person with background, Yan unhesitatingly released hand, then looked down, acting cool. Since my master spoke, I spare your life. Death penalty avoidable. Living sin hard to escape. Penalty is helping me collect evil face grass. But Li Lanjing turned, cursing. Then who compensates my hard-raised rotten blood-devouring beetles? Words made Yan click tongue. You demoness. Never seen such thick skin. Don't stop me. This damn girl needs beating. Early next morning, cleaned up Li Lanjing finally helped Yan pick evil face grass. Although Li Lanjing cried from beating, still stubbornly indicated she wasn't wrong. Hearing this, Yan rushed out angrily immediately, wanting to educate her fiercely again. Yu Bo hurriedly stopped him. Speak nicely. Don't forget she has people above. However, Yan responded unwillingly. How do I remember I also have people below? Not letting you kill her naturally has other reasons. Yan responded unhappily instantly. Then tell me. Yu Bo had to glance helplessly at Li Lanjing. Actually, we haven't entered 10,000 Insect Valley interior yet. This girl is the first checkpoint. Without her guiding, we can only circle in place. But Yan couldn't stand the opponent's arrogance. Look at her attitude. Yu Bo hurriedly comforted. Wait till inside. I surely let Valley Master Cui Qing manage her properly. Yan also had to speak helplessly. That whoever, lead the way. However, Li Lanjing accused. Killed my pets. Hit me. Still want me to work for you? Did you grow up reading fantasy novels? Just as Rain said, without me guiding, you can't enter 10,000 Insect Valley interior. Believe it or not. Seeing her arrogant attitude, Yan couldn't help roaring back. Fine, fine, fine. Too lazy to talk nonsense with you. Then Yan decisively activated know-it-all talent, querying Li Lanjing's soft spot. Instantly, the system popped up an interface. Age, 30. Identity, 9 Nether Demon Hall 10,000 Insect Valley Disciple. Secret, not Cui Qing's daughter. Level, 45. Talent, bug control technique, bug rearing technique. Weakness, needs large amount of food to maintain physical consumption. Once hungry, behavior will be abnormal. Learning the opponent's weakness, Yan started rotting directly, not leading the way, right? Then I live here. Seeing you are also a weirdo living by absorbing essence of sun and moon. Rice and water. Don't eat. Sleep. I also impossible let you sleep. Now Li Lanjing was restless. Even prisoners of war have a bite to eat. You actually treat me like this. Yan replied directly. We are all 9 Nether Demon Hall disciples. Treating me like outside orthodox sect people? Yu Bo also sighed helplessly. Mainly you were wrong first. How can you attack fellow disciple? If cult leader knows this matter, not just a problem of starving belly. So Yan wants to punish you. Hard for me to intervene. Seeing Yu Bo didn't obstruct, Yan stood up satisfied immediately. I go see what delicious food to make. You must watch her well. Don't let her eat. If I find you harboring her, I dare not guarantee not saying some treasonous words to the person below. Hearing this, Yu Bo responded, nodding immediately. You rest assured. Put 10,000 hearts at ease. Before long, Yan made a big table of delicious dishes. You don't say. This 10,000 Insect Valley is really a good place. Just went out randomly circling twice. Hunted several rabbits, wild boars, and deer. Also wild chickens. Wild vegetables and spices also have everything one expects. Yan raised cup immediately. Master, wish your heartless hand meets affectionate lady. Start family and career early. Watching the two eat spicy and drink hot, Li Lanjing looked dumbfounded. Originally somewhat hungry, looking more and more greedy, but she still turned around toughly, angering me to death. Delicious my ass. Not letting me eat. I have ways too. I let my little pets feed me. Unexpectedly, Yan blocked her with a flash. Where you wanna go? Wouldn't be thinking of going out to forage? Let me guess. Wanna find your little pets? Let them gather flower nectar or something? Finishing, Yan proudly shoveled a few mouthfuls of rice into mouth, then spoke smilingly. Yo yo yo, look at this expression. Could it be I guessed right? Only first meal. Don't rush. Also don't attempt to escape my sight. Time passed quickly. Soon came night. Not letting Li Lanjing steal food, Yan arranged her in his room for strict surveillance. However, Li Lanjing sneered secretly. Don't believe you won't sleep. But suddenly Yan bounced from bed fiercely, then spoke smilingly. Must practice before sleep. Almost forgot. Once I start practicing this kung fu, can't sleep. Knowing long bright true chi starts big circulation in body. Stronger kick than drinking 10 bottles of concentrated energy drink. Now her belly rumbled with hunger. Because Li Lanjing didn't eat all day, Yan noticed immediately, joking. Hungry? 3 meals not eaten. True, can't be not hungry, but we are all martial artists. 3 days not eating should be indifferent, right? This stinky brat determined to starve me. Li Lanjing also felt something wrong. Could it be knowing my weakness? How could it be? Except bugs knowing this matter. Even Valley Master doesn't know. No, must find something to eat, otherwise not good. Thinking of this, Li Lanjing bit silver teeth fiercely, seemingly made some determination, but now starved without strength, and side effects from hunger increasingly strong. Seeing Li Lanjing silent, Yan said grumpily immediately, if you lead us, why suffer the sin? Besides going to 10,000 Insect Valley not to set fire to burn mountain, going to pick herbs. Really don't know what you are stubborn about. To supervise you, I am really hard too. Simply make a supper to reward myself. Words fell. Li Lanjing cursed in heart immediately. Cruel person, simply pervert. I definitely can endure supper or whatever. I also won't eat. Before long, Ian walked into room with a steaming lotus leaf roast chicken. Moment lotus leaf opened, unique fragrance of roast chicken dispersed immediately. Originally extremely hungry Li Lanjing couldn't help sniffing wildly. The assaulting fragrance made already hungry her lose reason completely. Now she really couldn't hold. Ian saw this joking immediately. Didn't expect hungry you would reveal this expression. Want to eat? Ian knew clearly when a person's willpower is weakest. Placing most desired thing in front, yet reachable but unobtainable, is how cruel. Thinking of this, Ian tore a big chicken leg directly, then shook constantly in front of Li Lanjing. Really fragrant, marinated with various spices, surface coated with fresh honey, then wrapped in lotus leaf baking. Just saying cooking process. I drool. Famished Li Lanjing finally conquered by this roast chicken. Give me to eat. I promise you anything. However, Ian smiled coldly. Promise when trance. I don't believe. Li Lanjing anxious instantly. Give me a bite. Beg you. Ian satisfied. Only starved one day. Really no perseverance. Sober up a bit. Saying that, Ian pinched Li Lanjing's chin, then transmitted ever-bright true chi to her. The moment the true chi entered her body, Li Lanjing instantly felt extreme hunger, and her whole body felt like it was burning. Only then did Ian speak slowly. Looks like you are much more sober. Now I ask you, can you lead the way for us? I injected true chi into you, which is why you sobered up. If I withdraw the true chi, you will become very obscene again. Hearing this, Li Lanjing couldn't help gritting her silver teeth, obviously not wanting to submit. Seeing this, Ian immediately prepared to withdraw his hand. Li Lanjing hurriedly grabbed his wrist. I will lead the way. Only then did Ian pinch her cheek with satisfaction. That's a good girl. This is the right way. Since you are hungry, then please eat. Seeing Li Lanjing grabbing the chicken leg and devouring it ravenously, Ian couldn't help teasing. Sooner or later you had to agree. Why make yourself suffer? I'm going to sleep. Clean up and get out after you finish eating. Although Li Lanjing bowed her head, she swore secretly, wait until I find a chance. I absolutely won't spare you. Early the next morning, Yubo got up early and came to Ian's room. Disciple, are you awake? Yubo, originally sleepy-eyed, froze on the spot instantly after glancing at the situation in the room, his expression becoming extremely strange. He saw Li Lanjing actually sleeping in the same bed as Ian, and it looked like quite a few things happened last night. Then Yubo discovered the remains of the entangling bone chicken on the floor. The entangling bone chicken is the meat chicken favored by Joyous Tower disciples. Its meat is delicious and extremely beneficial for cultivating the art of union. Obviously, these two people slept together after eating that entangling bone chicken. Yubo felt the situation seemed rather not good. Just then, detecting Yubo's shout in the room, Ian woke up leisurely, originally wanting to see what time it was. He suddenly found an extra person beside him. This made him feel the situation was very bad, so he hurriedly lifted the quilt to check. Then Ian couldn't help holding his head and shouting, help! When Ian woke up and found Li Lanjing had run into his bed at some point. Shocked, he hurriedly jumped off the bed as if escaping. However, Ian's overreaction made Yubo very speechless. What are you screaming for? Aren't your pants worn properly? But Ian pointed at Li Lanjing and roared, how did she climb into my bed? What is the situation? Yubo smiled playfully. Did you eat entangling bone chicken last night? Isn't this very clear? Ian immediately slapped his forehead in annoyance. It was late last night and I didn't look carefully. Plus I was anxious to force her to guide us, so I was careless. Fortunately, he had the goo worm planted by Cheyenne in his body. Otherwise his innocence would definitely not be guaranteed. If Cheyenne knew he broke his kung fu, lost virginity, he would definitely be killed on the spot. And Li Lanjing was also woken up by Ian's shouting, climbing up reluctantly. When Li Lanjing saw clearly the clothes on her body, she was stunned on the spot for a full 2.5 minutes before recovering from the shock. Then she pointed at Ian and cursed loudly. Ian, don't you know I practice boy kung fu, virgin kung fu? You actually ruined my cultivation. Ian immediately gritted his teeth and retorted, if not for this young master's strong willpower, I really wouldn't know how to refute you. Rest assured, I am not interested in you. Seeing Ian's look of disdain, Li Lanjing had to grit her teeth secretly. I have no interest in you either. Ian was too lazy to waste time here with her, turning directly to urge, get up quickly, that whoever, time to lead us. Yubo heard this and was helpless immediately. Be gentler to the girl. But Ian despised secretly, just her, a girl, far inferior to the cult leader. Soon, Li Lanjing finished packing and signaled Ian and Yubo to follow. But Ian was still somewhat uneasy. She won't deliberately lead us into a ditch, right? Hearing the voice, Li Lanjing's face sank instantly. Then she replied with a face full of displeasure, rest assured, since our 10,000 Insect Valley made a promise, we will absolutely not go back on it. But Ian was still not quite assured. The prefix of 10,000 Insect Valley is demon cult. Am I unclear about the virtues of demon cult people? As the fog grew thicker, Li Lanjing signaled the two to just follow the light in her hand. Silent all the way, they soon entered the depths of the woods. But walking along, Ian stopped suddenly, then turned his head directly and walked towards another direction. Before Yubo could make a sound, Ian disappeared into the dense fog. Then Yubo turned his head hurriedly, finding Li Lanjing was also gone. Now he finally reacted. Turns out I got lost myself. At this time, Ian continued to follow the light, but the more he walked, the more he felt something was wrong. How much longer do we have to walk on this road? Then he discovered that Yubo was gone. When he reacted, Li Lanjing had also disappeared, and that beam of firefly light guiding the direction had also disappeared. This made Ian very annoyed. Just said demon cult people are all full of lies. Sure enough, not wrong. And seeing the two behind her were gone, Li Lanjing finally revealed a smile. Finally lost them, right? It's you guys who didn't pay attention. Can't blame me. You deserve it. Who asked you to have no interest in me? After speaking, Li Lanjing continued to move forward in the dense fog, not planning to retrieve the two lost people. Meanwhile, Ian walked and walked, finding the surrounding environment began to change. The dense jungle disappeared, replaced by a sea of purple flowers. Seeing this scene, Ian finally breathed a sigh of relief. This is the purple sea of 10,000 Insect Valley. Luckily didn't deviate too far. Subsequently, he began to move forward cautiously, even expecting if there would be some odd encounters today. But before walking far, he was tripped by a bone. Feeling the touch under his foot, Ian stopped decisively. He saw lying in the purple flower sea was a body that had already become a skeleton. Seeing this, Ian instantly became alert. This person died inside the purple sea. Then he hurriedly examined the surrounding purple flowers. Obviously, this flower sea must have problems. After careful observation, he soon found the clue. Bone surface smooth without cracks, shape complete, not like being heavily injured by external force. Then the cause of death is highly likely poisoning. Could it be this purple flower sea is poisonous? Thinking of this, Ian, deep in the flower sea, couldn't help his face changing drastically. When he realized this, he hurriedly began to retreat, but before taking a few steps, he found several strange flying moths suddenly appearing beside him. Looking around, these moths hid in the purple flower sea, their numbers extremely huge. Ian couldn't help being secretly shocked. Is the reason this purple sea is called purple sea due to these purple moths? Meanwhile, Li Lanjing also entered the purple sea. Walking along, a thought floated up. They wouldn't have barged headlong into the purple sea, right? But she didn't dwell on it much. Forget it. Life and death are fated. Wealth depends on heaven. Ian was very anxious at this time. The dense moths around made him very worried. Those moths were so bright in color they looked poisonous at a glance. Just as he was pondering, those moths suddenly began to riot. Obviously, the moths also discovered this uninvited guest, Ian, and rushed towards his location overwhelmingly in unison. Seeing this scene, Ian hurried to cover his nose and mouth. Still startled them. Bad. This powder is 10 to 1 poisonous. But without getting close, I can't kill one to detonate the corpse and trigger the skill. Although Ian ran fast, the speed of those moths was extremely fast. He couldn't shake them off at all. Ian also roughly guessed the cause of death of that fellow disciple. Likely died from these purple moths. Truly worthy of 10,000 Insect Valley. Poisonous bugs everywhere. Ian was already at his wit's end at this time. If only I knew some long-range skills now, I absolutely wouldn't consider the idiotic option of self-destruction. Walking along, Ian found the scenery ahead seemed to appear different. After pushing aside the fog, Ian surprisingly discovered a lake ahead. Seeing no road ahead, Ian had to stop. Looking at the dense moths behind him, he couldn't help letting out a wail of despair. Hiding in the water probably won't be useful either. If these purple powders dissolve in water, it's also a dead end. However, just as those moths were about to catch up with Ian, they seemed to sense some terrifying existence, slammed on the brakes fiercely, and turned around collectively to run. This strange scene confused Ian greatly. Why suddenly flew away? Soon he reacted. Could it be there are bugs more ferocious than moths in this lake? Now Ian had fallen into a dilemma, not knowing what to do for a moment. Just then, a female voice suddenly came from inside the lake. Little gentleman, don't be afraid. Hearing the voice, Ian became alert immediately. Must be some senior sister from 10,000 Insect Valley again, right? Closely following, a huge figure began to emerge from the lake, simultaneously accompanied by that female voice again. We are all fellow disciples. Could it be I would harm you? The first to appear was a giant bug, huge but covered in carapace. And sitting on the giant bug was a beautiful figure. Obviously, the one who made the sound just now was this senior sister. Ian hurriedly asked, I am Ian from the kitchen. Dare ask senior sister's honor name? Hearing this, that senior sister raised her eyebrows immediately, then responded lightly, Lan Ji. Then Lan Ji stepped down. Before Ian could react, Lan Ji landed in front of him with a swoosh. After examining Ian carefully, Lan Ji suddenly squatted down and murmured, you were planted with a goo worm. After speaking, Lan Ji used her unique technique, and the goo worm in Ian's body immediately began to be restless. Then Ian couldn't help letting out a scream. Not knowing what happened, he suddenly felt his stomach in extreme pain. Ian got nervous all at once. What exactly did this woman do to me? The abdominal pain intensified constantly, so much that Ian couldn't help spurting a mouthful of tomato sauce. Seeing this, Lan Ji hurriedly stood up to comfort. Such a strong goo worm, relying on yourself. I'm afraid you can't expel it completely. Let me help you. Seeing Lan Ji slowly reaching her jade hand to his mouth, Ian was scared to wet himself instantly. Lan Ji didn't give Ian a chance to react, stuffing her hand fiercely into his mouth completely. Closely following, Lan Ji's hand formed a fist and withdrew rapidly. Lan Ji didn't even look at the thing in her hand, throwing it directly behind her. What she just threw out was surprisingly the goo worm Cheyenne planted in Ian's body, and that huge monster bug flew up fiercely, swallowing that goo worm into its belly in one bite. This scene shocked Ian thoroughly. Then that giant bug turned and dived into the lake. Lan Ji smiled gently at Ian. The goo worm in your body has been completely cleared. No need to worry about being controlled in the future. Do you feel any discomfort anywhere? Why this expression? Ian hurriedly shook his head, then muttered secretly, should I tell her this is the goo the cult leader put in me? Better not say it for now. If I say it, maybe I have to explain why I was planted with a goo. Just right. Without the goo worm in the body, I won't be called a eunuch by people anymore. Thinking of this, Ian immediately spoke with a chuckle. No harm, just somewhat shocked. Mrs. truly bringing back the dying. Although Lan Ji looked harmless to humans and animals, Ian still held vigilance towards her. This woman's eyes looked devoid of calculation, but pity she is a person of 9 Nether Demon Hall. Absolutely cannot trust lightly. However, I can use her to do something for me. Just then, Ian's pupils suddenly shrank, seeming to discover something incredible. It turned out he inadvertently saw a huge spiritual power bead appear in the center of the lake. Then he hurriedly spoke, I suddenly want to go check the center of the lake. May I? Lan Ji couldn't help frowning. Miasma gathers on the surface of this lake water year-round, which will cause mental confusion. However, I can help you. Hearing this, Ian hurriedly bowed respectfully. Then many thanks, Miss Lan Ji. Ian knew such a big spiritual power bead would definitely trigger an odd encounter. Leaving aside how much spiritual power could be collected, even if she wasn't credible, he had to try. At worst, if deceived by her, he would execute her on the spot. Lan Ji didn't think much, calling out casually, little ding dong, come out. Voice falling, the monster bug that just dived to the lake bottom popped out fiercely. Lan Ji patted its head, ordering, young master, he wants to go to the center of the lake. You take him. Little ding dong raised its head immediately, nodding human-like. Seeing this, Ian leaped onto little ding dong's head with a fly, but Ian didn't relax his guard. Until now, now, she hadn't revealed any flaws. Soon, little Ding Dong took Ian to the center of the lake. Seeing the spiritual power bead right in front, Ian hurriedly signaled little Ding Dong to stop, then nimbly took action to collect that spirit bead. Instantly, the system sounded a prompt. Congratulations, young Master Yun. Collected 500,000 points. First time obtaining 500,000 points through a single spiritual power ball. Triggered an odd encounter, gifting 3 odd encounter fragments. Seeing he would soon collect full odd encounter fragments, Ian immediately snickered secretly. Sure enough, as I expected. Subsequently, Ian returned smoothly to the lakeside. Miss Lan Ji, thank you, my matter is done. What surprised Ian was that Lan Ji didn't wonder why he wanted to go to the lake center, just smiling gently. Good that I could help you. Just then, an arrow shot out suddenly. The target was surprisingly Lan Ji, but it was grabbed by Ian. Seeing the arrow stop in front of her like this, Lan Ji was unmoved, and Ian quickly locked onto the location of the sneaker, and quite a few figures appeared in that location. Obviously, someone was ambushing. This puzzled Ian. Although this is the periphery of 10,000 Insect Valley, it's not surprising for someone to sneak in, but isn't it too coincidental? Did she arrange it? Really scared by these demon cults, now seeing enemies in every bush, feeling not a single one is honest, and Lan Ji suddenly raised her hand to order. Little Ding Dong, go, find the killers who ambushed just now. Voice falling, little Ding Dong moved forward rapidly, swimming quickly towards the opposite bank of the lake. Then Lan Ji reached out to take that arrow away. She recognized at a glance it was done by people from the Sacred Heart sect again. Hearing this, Ian asked curiously, again, could it be they came before? Lan Ji dissolved the arrow casually, then said with an indifferent expression, they have come many times, always looking for a way to enter the heart of 10,000 Insect Valley. Didn't expect they have found their way here already. Hearing this, Ian hurriedly spoke, my master and I also plan to go to the Valley Heart to pick some herbs. My master has called you Bo. Picking herbs is to make medicinal cuisine. Hearing this, the always cold Lan Ji suddenly revealed a look of surprise, then leaned in front of Ian. Young master, he, don't mind, my sense of smell is very sensitive. I just want to confirm. Subsequently, Lan Ji looked up and smiled gently. You indeed have a close relationship with Mr. Yubo. Then let me lead the way for you. This confused Ian very much. No need to pay attention to the people of Sacred Heart Valley. Lan Ji shook her head lightly. Little Ding Dong will handle it. If it can't cope, outsiders wanting to enter 10,000 Insect Valley without guidance will only be trapped and die by miasma and poisonous bugs. Young master, he, tie together with me. Saying that, she took out a thin long red rope. Ian didn't say much, taking it directly then praising, Miss Lan Ji is truly thoughtful. Lan Ji smiled gently. The terrain of 10,000 Insect Valley is intricate and complex. Merely following, one will also be affected by various factors leading to getting lost. Ian couldn't help roasting secretly hearing this. Lan Jing must have known this situation when she agreed to lead the way, right? Dead girl, don't fall into my hands. With Lan Ji's lead, even entering the Purple Sea again, Ian wasn't attacked by the moth swarm. Seeing the journey was peaceful, Ian couldn't help being somewhat surprised. From meeting till now, she hasn't calculated against me at all. Or is she a person extremely good at enduring, planning to attack me after I completely dispel my doubts? Staying in this place too long, I'm almost getting paranoia. Forget it. Thinking too much is useless. Entering the valley to meet Master is the urgent priority. Just then, a disturbance suddenly occurred in the dense forest, accompanied by human screams. Lan Ji saw Ian was startled, so she comforted. Looks like little Ding Dong has found them. Subsequently, Lan Ji brought Ian to the foot of a mountain, but there was no road ahead. Lan Ji waved her hand casually, controlling a few purple moths. Then those moths pounced into the rock wall. In an instant, a huge hole was opened in the rock wall. Lan Ji explained to Ian, this is a shortcut into the valley. Let us enter from here. Ian didn't say much, following Lan Ji directly into the cave. Walking for a long time, Ian didn't find anything strange, because it was too dark inside the tunnel. Lan Ji summoned some glowing goo worms casually. Then Lan Ji couldn't help asking, young master, I have a question regarding the goo worm in your body. Who placed that goo worm in you? Young master need not be suspicious. I just feel that goo worm was placed extremely ingeniously. I very much want to make the acquaintance of the person who placed the goo. Ian hurriedly found a reason to gloss over. I probably have to ask for the opinion of the goo placer before I can tell you her identity. As soon as this was said, Lan Ji instantly revealed an awkward look. Looks like the young master and the goo placer are not in a hostile relationship. I removed the goo worm without asking clearly. I surely offended that master who placed the goo. What should be done? Seeing this, Ian hurriedly comforted that she will also enter 10,000 Insect Valley in a few days. I will speak well for you then. Subsequently, Lan Ji didn't dwell on it too much. After walking for more than 10 minutes, the two finally walked out of the tunnel. Looking at the beautiful scenery before him, Ian couldn't help praising, could this be the peach blossom spring people talk about? Just then, Lan Ji suddenly untied the red rope on her hand, then turned to say goodbye to Ian. We have entered 10,000 Insect Valley. Since the young master is Mr. Yubo's disciple, you can explore on your own. But Ian had a headache, but I don't know where master is right now. Hearing this, Lan Ji said crisply, you have my senior sister Lan Jing sent on you. Presumably, the young master and Mr. Yubo were with my senior sister before, right? I can take you to find senior sister. Hearing this, Ian smiled awkwardly instantly. So you knew long ago I had contact with Lan Jing. Then why didn't you ask all along? Lan Ji immediately revealed a meaningful expression. It is inconvenient for me to inquire about matters between the young master and my senior sister. After all, my senior sister's scent on you is quite strong. Ian was stunned at first, then reacted quickly. Did you misunderstand something? I have no relationship with Lan Jing. But Lan Ji obviously didn't believe it. Matters between men and women are truly normal. Ian instantly felt a headache. I really have nothing with her. Still trouble Miss Lan Ji to take me to find her. And Cheyenne also arrived at the outer area of 10,000 Insect Valley because she suddenly found she lost contact with the goo worm in Ian's body. This made Cheyenne feel a trace of ominousness, so without any hesitation, she flew directly into 10,000 Insect Valley. Under Lan Ji's lead, Ian finally entered 10,000 Insect Valley, but because he was unfamiliar with the place, Lan Ji took him to find Lan Jing, but after arriving at the destination, Ian found it empty, so Ian hurried to ask, Miss Lan Ji, why don't I see fellow senior brothers and sisters? Lan Ji explained for him, 10,000 Insect Valley has few disciples, all distributed in various places of 10,000 Insect Valley. Only when Master summons will everyone return to the sect together. Subsequently, Lan Ji slowly pushed open the door of the 10,000 Insect Valley main hall, indicating she would take Ian to Lan Jing's wing room. However, Ian was somewhat confused. Shouldn't I pay respects to the sect master first? But Lan Ji shook her head very crisply, indicating no harm. This abnormal response immediately aroused Ian's vigilance. She is unwilling to explain the reason for not needing to see the sect master. Better not pursue it delicately. Soon Lan Jing's door was knocked. She was very surprised Ian actually didn't die. These words enraged Ian instantly. I'll drag you down even if I die. Where's my master? What did you do to my master? You knew clearly the road into the valley easily makes people lost, yet deliberately didn't remind. But Lan Jing retorted angrily, don't spit blood on people. I turned my head and you two are gone. Originally you threatened me to lead the way. Me leading was already keeping the promise. Don't you push your luck. Lan Ji on the side also revealed a worried look now. Do you really not know Mr. Yubo's whereabouts? Lan Jing indicated very crisply she naturally didn't know. Lan Ji was helpless instantly. You are confused. However, Lan Jing didn't take it seriously. Anyway, he didn't enter the valley. With his skill, what could happen? Helpless, Lan Ji had to suggest to Yun, young master I'll accompany you to find Mr. Yubo. Hearing this, Lan Jing hurriedly dissuaded. You bringing him into the valley is already benevolent and righteous to the utmost. But Lan Ji shook her head. Recently many orthodox sects sneaked into 10,000 Insect Valley. I set many obstacles. Hearing this, Lan Jing's face changed instantly, obviously realizing the seriousness of the matter. And Ian felt Lan Ji's performance was a bit strange. In this demon cult, she is obviously a bit too good. Lan Ji didn't plan to waste time, grabbing Ian's hand directly to walk out. Seeing Lan Ji angry, Lan Jing was stunned instantly. I wasn't doing it on purpose. Meanwhile, Yubo was trapped deep in the obstacles set by Lan Ji. He basically couldn't move an inch. Surroundings were already full of various poisonous bugs. This made him very helpless. Did 10,000 Insect Valley release every kind of bug? Then this humble one has to be sorry to the Valley Master. You all come together. However, just as he prepared to act, several scarlet energy blasts shot fiercely, knocking the goo worms in front of him flying. Yubo looked carefully, surprisingly discovering several human figures. This sudden scene made Yubo somewhat unable to figure out the situation. Xiayan spoke slowly now. What is Sacred Heart sect doing? Why are all those sent trash? Orthodox sects are truly getting worse year by year. Yubo recognized at a glance the goo worm beside Xiayan was little Ding Dong's pet, but he still suppressed his curiosity to ask, are you done with your business? Xiayan didn't answer, asking back instead, where's Yun? Why aren't you together with him? Yubo scratched his head helplessly. Lost him when entering the valley. I searched too, but didn't find him. I've been lost and attacked by various poisonous miasmas. No wonder these bugs were released. Turned out to be guarding against killers sent by Orthodox sects. And Yubo's answer made Xiayan even more nervous, so she turned directly to signal. Meanwhile, Lan Ji was anxiously telling Yun, although I don't worry about Mr. Yubo's ability, there are still miasmas and poisonous bugs in this valley. Just in case, we better find him as soon as possible. Lan Ji's nervous expression made Ian even more puzzled. He finally couldn't help asking, Miss Lan Ji, I have a question pondered for a long time, still decided to ask. I understand I might not get the true answer, but I feel since we are all fellow disciples, no need to hide. You helped me again and again. What exactly is your purpose? Just then, Xiayan brought Yubo breaking through 10,000 Insect Valley's barrier. The moment the fog dispersed, Xiayan saw familiar figures appear in front of her. Looking carefully, she saw Ian pulling and pushing with Lan Ji. Seeing Xiayan's face darken, Yubo knew it was done for, so he hurriedly comforted in a low voice. Presumably this is definitely a misunderstanding. Xiayan suddenly smiled gently. Of course, did you think